Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on your YouTube, join our cult. Ross not happy with that one.
No,
there.
just I was enjoying seeing you do it.
It's
killing the inside.
It's awkward, isn't it? I don't like doing it.
Matthew said a couple of weeks ago that you don't join in with it.
Me?
Both of you.
Yeah, we do.
It's
really.
a moment to shine.
Yeah.
Just give him the floor. How you doing, pal?
Matthew's off this week, but we've got Adam stepping in as well. Adam Pacidi. If,
Not the other one.
What?
Not the other one.
If anyone doesn't know him, it's Adam Pacini from Cultaholic. What a start. And Ross is here as well. How you doing, pal?
I'm bloody wonderful. Yeah, Matthew's been hit by the flu. No doubt if he was sat, he'd be saying, I've been hit harder than a gunter chop.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's off ill, so hope he gets well very soon.
But are you doing all right?
Fine.
Adam?
Yeah, really good. I feel the most caught up on wrestling that I have. Like, 'cause I've had to do 2 of these in the past fortnight. And normally I don't get to watch it. I've been forced to do it. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I've had a nice week.
Excellent.
Yeah, well,
I feel like I was about to dive straight into the news, but I feel like this bit normally lasts a bit longer before the news.
What do we normally do, Joel? Anything? Nothing?
How are you,
Banter.
Joel? You all right,
Yeah.
Joel? You good?
I'm good.
He's got a mic.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've got a mic. I'm good.
Good. Nice.
How is this episode 301 of this like?
Let's talk about what's been going on this week in the wrestling news. This comes courtesy of Aidan Gibbons, who sent me a lovely list of links.
The lesser news ape.
The lesser news ape, Aidan Gibbons. A gibbon is a lesser ape.
Yeah, I got it, yeah.
Right. Yep. This is a Matthew invention. Why Vince McMahon was removed from WWE Creative. It's loading. Allow cookies. Yeah. Come on. What do we do?
It was Ari Emanuel who basically told
was.
Vince McMahon to get out because he made a deal that looked one way before the deal was signed. Then the deal was signed, and Ari Emanuel and TKO have basically done something else, haven't they?
It basically sounds like they've wangled him out.
Yeah,
they've
they've
tricked him.
Whizzle-wazzled,
He's
yeah.
gonna be fuming with that.
It's great though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is really
it's really funny.
Could have had a nicer guy, really, could it?
I think, was it you or was it Tom? Someone was saying that there's that when they announced the merger and everything, the official thing, and Ari Emanuel's there going like, this was never going to work without Vince McMahon.
He's the go-to guy, I think the quote was, and now he's just been, see you later, you're not good at your job anymore. Triple H is now fully in control of all the main roster creative.
And it feels as though, I think they were happy with Triple H's role as creative, so they just went, Vince, you do the other stuff. He's doing like the
TV deals, isn't he?
The deals, yeah,
SmackDown's
yeah.
going back to USA, and Raw, I don't know. But Ari Emanuel mentioned changing Raw's day, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago in the press.
Which
He'd be open to it.
which sent this podcast into a panic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in case it's on like a Saturday or a
Thursday, imagine.
Thursday.
Oh,
just
yeah,
anything.
of course. Yeah.
But I just think it'd be quite sad just for the tradition as well.
yeah,
Monday
it's been
Night
a
Raw.
long time, hasn't it?
Longer than my lifetime. Wait, no, 93?
Yeah.
Okay, nearly longer than my lifetime. But still, it's been such an institution of wrestling. I think it'd be quite sad.
Yeah, it would be sad. They've proven it time and time again. They'll do what is best for business and all that, won't they? So if they can get more money by shifting it to a different day, yeah, it would be sad though. It would.
Elsewhere, WWE considers Tony Khan's tweets a declaration of war. Now, what did we think?
Choice words in this day and age.
Well, yeah. What do we think of Tony Khan's tweets? Because I think it's a bad look. I don't think he's helped himself.
Proper tit. He has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And like, I know some people are just like, oh, he's trying to rile him up. He's trying to get more attention on the product. Sure, maybe people are going to be visiting Tony Khan's personal Twitter feed a little bit more. But does that generate increased viewing figures? Probably not. And Tony Khan, up until this point, for his little quirks and all that, has been fairly likable.
Right.
I think he's a fairly likable guy on TV. He's awkward, and there's something quite cute about that.
As far as billionaires go,
Yeah,
he's one of the
right.
more likable ones, yeah.
And now he's doing this stuff, and I just think he's coming across really poorly.
The one that,
Juvenile.
especially the one where he's talking about how his mum was ill and stuff, obviously really horrible and everything, horrible situation, but he was saying like, and people were trolling me on Twitter while I was caring for her or at her bedside at hospital. And I'm like, that should be the last thing on your mind when that's going on. Don't check your Twitter about your wrestling show. Like, it didn't humanize him very much. And I think it was meant to.
The contract tampering during that
That
period.
was it, sorry,
as
the
if
contract
WWE
tampering, yeah.
knew that situation. If the contract tampering was going on, I don't think it was an intentional thing. It's like, oh,
No,
yeah,
that's why they did it.
right. Kick
I
him
think they
on
just,
down.
I think they just wanted Regal back.
The lads, I was listening to Brian Alvarez, who is a respected, media personality man, and he was saying that Tony Khan does this on purpose because these wacky tweets get lots of impressions. Then he immediately tweets either just before, just after an upcoming match for the next show that's going to happen, and that drives viewers to the product. This is from Brian Alvarez, who definitely doesn't have the metaphorical schlong in his mouth.
Oh, the metaphoric, but you've said metaphorical, so it's okay. Yeah,
Something like 80% of Twitter users aren't delivered tweets in chronological order. They're delivered via an algorithm. So that doesn't really make sense to me unless you go on his page, which they might do, and then scroll and see that, hey, Bandito's in action on Wednesday. No disrespect to Bandito. Do you know what I mean?
Bandito.
I think it's foolish.
Also, I remember obviously the Punk thing. I'm a big fanboy for CM Punk, right?
Still?
But yeah, he's been done dirty, but partly his fault. But they didn't pick him up from the airport. But I'd rather see Punk wrestle than not. And if his crime is being a bit of an arse, wrestlers have done worse and still managed to be beloved and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, but it was when Tony said he feared for his life. Now, the footage hasn't come out of what happened at Wembley, but that's when I started to think, is Tony Khan a bit out of touch with this billionaire man?
He's a little man. He's a puny little man, which is what we've got to remember.
What's happened here?
Well, no, he's in the face of CM Punk, who's deceptively massive, I imagine.
Yeah,
I've never
probably,
seen him in the flesh.
I've never seen him in the
He's a big, thick boy, I imagine. Samoa Joe is there. He's massive. Tony Khan, he's a little man.
That's true.
Pick him up and put him on the shelf.
Maybe we'd have been scared in that situation.
Probably we would have.
Maybe.
Also, back to WWE news. WWE are apparently, reportedly, trying to get Randy Orton back for Survivor Series. I thought we might never see him again.
Yeah, there were reports circulating to that effect, weren't there? It'll be great to have him back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see him do stuff on his own again. Obviously, Riddle's not there anymore. I was a little bit worried that they were going to just throw them back together and start where they left off, and I'm glad that's not happening.
But it was so fun. Hey, Wendy.
I'm trying to think what voice you do. I know it's a Riddle impression, but is it Randy Newman-esque almost?
It's kind of a hybrid, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Randy Newman.
But there was that footage from at the PC with his new boots, wasn't there? All the fans going, "Oh, we caught you, Randy." He was like, "Shoosh."
Yeah, it would be an appropriate pay-per-view for him to come back at because he's the king of Survivor
Have him
Series.
come back in a flaming casket.
Oh.
Harking back to 05, whatever, yeah, 06, 05.
Who's going to be the Randy in the ring going, oh no?
Who is that going to be?
Undertaker.
A heel Drew McIntyre after he wins the title off Rollins.
We'll get to that, but Drew's been a shifty man on Monday Night Raw.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, same.
Layers.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
It's like a novel. I don't know what's going to happen next. Also, AEW schedule. The AEW schedule is apparently causing difficulties for some wrestlers. I'm not too surprised. There's a lot going on. Do they do house shows now still, or have they not done those for a while?
They've done them for a while.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I thought it's a lot easier than WWE schedule. Just travel arrangements.
It's
So
people not picking them up from the airports, isn't it? That's the issue.
I'll read Aiden's. Oh no, this was written by our own Andrew Kelly. I'll read Andrew's words. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer explored why this is happening and what those in AEW have said about it. AEW's schedule is less frequent than most promotions, but this has led to wrestlers getting hurt worse due to their bodies not being in the groove as much.
Ring shape.
Maybe if you've
rust.
taken like a long time off, but surely if you're resting like once a week, is that with?
It's plenty.
We don't. We're not the people that talk. We don't know. There's been a major update as well on the plans for WrestleMania 40, the main event specifically. Cody Rhodes has long been anticipated, says Aiden, as the challenger for Roman Reigns' championship in the main event of WrestleMania 40 ever since the defeat in the main event of WrestleMania 39. Questions arose around a possible rematch after The Rock made his surprise return on the September 15th edition of SmackDown, with the former WWE champion revealing earlier that day a match with Reigns was locked in for WrestleMania 39 and then fell through. This would be The Rock's first match since a 6-second win over Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32. But it might be on the horizon, which would be... Instead of all that Rock stuff, though, Sports Illustrated has now reported that unless there's a drastic change in the coming months, Cody Rhodes will be headlining WrestleMania 40.
That's really encouraging, isn't it? Because up until now, I've always, if I've had to do news about it or whatever, I've been like, well, if Rock's available for WrestleMania, they'll do Rock versus Roman for WrestleMania, obviously.
Surely.
But the fact that they're prioritising the long-time story that never ends I think that's quite encouraging.
I have mixed thoughts because I've been banging the drum for about a year now, since WrestleMania, saying it's going to be Rollins. Rollins is going to be the one who beats Roman. it's looking less and less likely now, and I feel like a fool. But Cody deserves it, I think.
I feel like if Rollins was the man to beat
I don't
Roman,
want it to be Rollins. I just thought it would have
No,
been.
no, sure. But if that was the plan, then they would have never put the world heavyweight title on him either. They'd have kept him away from the world title picture,
Yeah,
maybe.
I suppose so.
This means the Royal Rumble's sewn up, surely, for Cody already.
Do you think?
He's missed out on
chamber. Do it in the chamber.
Missed out on the draft, hasn't he?
Oh.
How do you do that in a baby? Or have him win the chamber match?
Yeah, have a heel in the Rumble, maybe.
yeah.
Or for the other belt, because there's two. Sorry, yeah, you can have someone win the challenge, Rollins or whoever's the champion at the time. Maybe Drew. Maybe it'll be Drew by then.
Yeah.
So that's all. I mean, is that enough news?
Let's do some banter.
That's all the big hits, isn't it?
Come on, let's do a bit of banter.
What pancake toppings do we like the best, guys?
Oh, right. No, this Tom Campbell, because he's a radio DJ, hates Pancake Day because the only thing that anyone ever talks about on the radio on pancake. What do you have on your pancakes?
I'll have a bit of sugar and lemon. Thank you for asking.
He was ranting about this in the office a year or two ago, and Aiden didn't get that every single time Tom would do an impression of someone going, "Ooh, what'd you like on your pancakes?" and you just hear Aiden in the distance just going, "A little bit of Biscoff spread." Me and Fraser were dying. Were you there for that?
I think so.
It was unbelievable.
I've seen it like float about on Slack. I'm a bit of an advocate for pleb conversation. No, that sort of stuff.
If Matthew was here, he'd be like, "Oh, Tory Pagini,
No, like
plebs."
No, just that they're like, "Oh, what do you have on a fry up? What's the best crisp to put in a crisp sandwich?" I think they're really fun to talk about.
Are you referring to small talk? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess so.
Lower brow, not high concept.
No way low.
Because whenever we have banter, me and you, Adam, you like to talk about high abstract metaphysical concepts.
Yeah,
That's why I never talked to you.
But yeah, we can have some pleb banter if you want.
What's the pleb topic? Joel, got any suggestions?
I liked Adams of what crisps to put on a crisp sandwich.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Well, crusts off first and foremost.
Crust
Let's not mess around. You got to get that flattage, haven't you? You got to get that crunch, and that is obstructed by the crust, I find.
Yeah, it could be. So big news in our local Tesco, they've never got those Thai sweet chili McCoys, but they've got them back in now.
Oh, nice.
And you were the one who wanted this.
I wasn't even joking.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
And I think they go really well with like a nice, just simple ham sandwich.
Would you put the whole
Oh, you put ham in as well. Lardy-da.
No, if I've got a ham sandwich from Tesco, I'll just shove it in with the ham. If not, I would have it on its own with no other fillings, yeah.
It's a prawn cocktail for me, Jeff.
Yeah. I don't really like crisp sandwiches.
Butter in.
We didn't have them as kids. I think if you grew up with them,
We
you
didn't
probably
have
really
them as
enjoyed it.
kids.
No, couldn't
You
afford
make
them.
You make them yourself.
That's all I was trusted
carbon
to
carb.
make until I was like 12 years old. Man wouldn't let us use the cooker.
Did you graduate? What did you do? You graduate to the cheese toasty? That's
It was
what I
the cheese toasty maker, then it was the toaster, the microwave, then the oven.
Right. Yeah.
It was the toasty maker was like the stepping stone to the toaster for some reason because it had like a second where it would go boop and like pop off by itself, so you couldn't burn anything. It's been a fantastic conversation.
It's been
Prawn cocktail,
wonderful.
crusts off, butter in, squashed.
Fantastic scenes. That was.
Adam, what's yours?
No, I don't eat them. I genuinely don't. They do nothing
Never.
for
I was
me.
trying
No.
to wrap it up.
I had an idea for a restaurant a while ago. Apparently, it's been done already, but gentrified crisp sandwich store,
Like the cereal
like
one.
the Serial Killer Cafe in London,
Sure
which
did?
I think is
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
down because interest waned to the point. I'm pretty sure it did. They used to get like bricks thrown through the
I
window
know
and
people
spray
like-
painted and
yeah,
stuff because
yeah.
it was gentrified an area. But I think a fancy crisp sandwich cafe, all rustic styled, those hanging Edison bulbs, whatever they're called, I think people would go for that. It's ironic, isn't it?
Is this an idea you've had just now, or have you had this for a while?
No, I've had this for a while, but it turns out it's been done. And it relies entirely on press coverage, doesn't it? For the success of something like that, it's already been done elsewhere. I just assume London.
There's a free unit round the corner. Let's
Yeah,
get it.
should
Let's
we do
do
it?
it. Yeah.
My mum and dad have got an idea for a theme park called Jurassic Park, which is just everything's a giraffe theme.
No dinosaurs.
No.
Just-
No, the dinosaurs aren't real, so there'd be giraffes in there instead.
Oh, real giraffes as well.
I think so, but
Like
also
Diggerland, where you get
Just
to
the
ride
roller
them.
coasters
Yeah.
are just like that, like the neck, and down like that, like the neck. Everything's straight.
I think the merch would be giraffe themed. I think they've thought of the pun first and then pretended to me that it's an idea.
There's a good
Yeah.
toasty place at King's Cross called Giraffe. Would
Is there?
recommend, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a chain.
Oh,
isn't
it's
it?
up
You
on
get those
the-
at the I found out the other day, talking about like chain station cafes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all operated by the same people. You know, like Pumpkin, you only get those in train stations, but also you only get what's the sandwich one? It's
I know what you mean. Like those ones that you only get.
It's all the same business.
That's
all
it.
run by the
Oh,
What
same
about those
people.
people with a big issue?
What?
Directly comparable to that. They're all working together, aren't they? There was a big scandal in my hometown back in the mid-noughties where the big issue people were out there, asking for people to buy the big issue. Then it turns out all like 20 of them who are in around the town centre all lived in the same mansion on the outskirts of
Mansion?
Ponteland. Yeah, they all lived in the same mansion.
No.
Like a 8-bedroom mansion or something.
A lot of Eastern European gangs, apparently, they all arrive in one place in the morning. You'll see them turn up in like a big van or something and then go around, which like undervalues real homelessness.
Oh yeah,
doesn't it?
totally.
Devalues rather.
We've really covered a lot of bases.
Don't
with
trust anyone, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But do give to homeless people.
Yeah.
If they're real.
that
Check
was
for ID.
the week.
And when
no,
you
it
buy a
wasn't
big
the week in
issue-
wrestling. It was just the news.
Yeah, when you ask for a big issue, ask for their address as well.
I feel like Matthew's good at leaning into the chaos, and I'm really not doing well. But that was the wrestling news.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
And now it's time for everybody's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. I'm delighted to report. Well, first of all, I'll read the results in condescending order, which we learned is because Matthew forgets which one it is. It's descending. No, it's not. It's
ascending.
ascending. I've done it myself. I'd like to apologise to Matthew. I'm delighted to report that Grazer Ramon, the winner of the Fat Bear competition, lost 11%.
I think the fat bear phase of the podcast is over.
I feel like every week Matthew nominates a fat animal.
Well, it's born from somebody emailing the mailbag with a video link that I didn't want to open on my personal PC. So I brought it to work and it turned out to be a compilation of fat bears.
The
And it's-
actual bear, yeah.
It spiraled from there, yeah.
But he just like a dog or something. But then when Andrew was on the podcast and he nominated that cat that managed a train station, Matthew wasn't having any of that. Matthew was, it was in Japan. Matthew was like, oh, a cat's got a job. No, it doesn't. That's ridiculous. But if it's a fat bear or something, or a big dog, or a walrus, were you the one who nominated the walrus?
I didn't know the one that had a little on the play on the aye.
Oh, it had a yeah.
That one, that walrus.
Oh, the one that was.
Yeah,
Fucking-
yeah.
that was great, though, wasn't it? And he disrupted the fireworks because he had to lay there and have a big Tommy.
How does that disrupt the fireworks?
No,
Were they waiting for him to finish?
No, that was it. There was a big fireworks display, and because this walrus was on the esplanade, they had to cancel it because he was too busy tossing himself off.
In second place, all people get shoot taken to the wrestling against their will, and it's lovely.
It was lovely.
It's a video that Ross showed us last week of an old couple being treated to the wrestling. They're just a little old couple who just live in. It looked like quite a.
It was an island somewhere.
Rural area.
They watched Raw every week on the TV and then got taken to a house show, yeah.
But
Didn't win them.
that was Ross's pick. I usurped that with my cheap pick of the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, 54%.
Nice.
It was the 300th episode. And I thought it's been a while since I've won, so I'll start then because that's the order that we do things in. I'm delighted to say that I've got like the second half of a mystery that started last week, and I've the story's come full circle. I've finished the story. I was out the other night, and this lad approached called Matty, lovely lad, fan of the channel. He was like, "Oh, hi Jack, nice to meet you. I'm Matty. I work in a bar called Alvino's." Now,
Did flow.
I know where this is going. This could be cut out from the podcast, depending on what you say.
now last week, Ross told a story about him and you were with a friend and then a group
I was
of
with
his
two
friends.
of my friends and then one of his friends who I didn't grow up with. I only know him through other friends.
Yeah.
He had two of his school friends with him.
So you weren't
Yeah.
like best pals with everyone in the group,
Oh, two of them, yeah.
but not all of them.
Not the two who did something.
Now, this lad Matty who works in Alvino's said that, I met Ross. I was the guy who he talked about on the podcast, and Ross said, "Well, what had happened? You went to the bar and he said hello."
No, he came over to our table and was
Right.
like, "Oh, I've got your podcast on right now. I'm
Oh,
working."
right,
I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, good on you." This,
Yeah.
that, and the other. Had a little conversation. Then he just walked away. Then a bit later on, after these two had been to the bar, who I didn't know before that night, the barmaid who was working with Matty
Yeah.
walked over and went, "Your two friends are C words."
Yes.
And I was like, "What have they done?" But she walked off in such a mood, so I didn't get to hear what they'd done.
I've learned what they've done.
Right, fantastic.
You don't know this?
I don't know what happened.
Oh,
No,
right.
I was just at the table with my actual two
It's
friends.
it's not shocking or anything. It's just behavior that would get you told off in a bar. They were messing with the wiring of the outdoor heaters, apparently.
Oh.
Why were they doing that?
Because some people kept turning them on. It was really hot.
Oh, it sounds. Oh, right.
so
There's
they
more.
basically
we were the
more to the story.
We were
here.
the
There's
table
more to the
underneath
story.
the heaters,
Right.
and it was 3 weeks ago, so it was still
Still hot
summer.
then, yeah,
it was
yeah.
still summer, and the people kept turning them on. And we were like, "It's too warm."
Well, like the people around the other end of the table.
Yeah, who weren't even underneath. Like it was
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
we were like underneath.
So
them.
you decided to just dismantle
I
it?
didn't personally.
No,
Them two did. Yeah.
Well, Alvino's didn't take too kindly. So I'm going to nominate. I was going to call him Matty from Alvino's, but I don't want to just reduce him to his job title.
No,
so
give his full name out, dox him.
yeah. So
his address.
Yeah. No. So instead, I'll just boil him down to my selfish personal experience with him, and I'll call him Matty, solver of mysteries. That's my Hall of Fame nomination.
I got told off in a pub.
Okay.
This week.
Oh no. This week?
No, it wasn't bad.
I thought this was
in
gonna be when you were
York
like
at
20.
the weekend with Tim and Ben.
Yeah, I've met Ben.
So we had a.
Hate Tim. No, I've never met Tim.
Excuse me.
Sorry. No, wait, I've met Ben,
Yeah.
the clever one.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
both very clever.
Oh.
Totally out of my depth. With
No,
them.
no pleb conversation.
God, no. We went to a Sam Smith's pub. You ever been to a Sam Smith's pub? I feel like you would have done Durham. There's one on the river's side. They've got some pretty
Swan and
strict
Free?
rules. Yeah, I think
No
it is.
phones.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was just a little joke, but if you get your phone out, they're like, put that away.
That's what happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you know what? It
Someone
was-
messaging you like, Adam, the printer's broken in the office.
Right. This is like 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. The pub's just reopened, so there's hardly anybody in there. And Tim got told off first, and then they went like that to me.
Is it serious?
Yeah, right. I don't know how I feel about it because we were a group of 3. There were probably at most 8 people in the whole pub
Yeah.
because people didn't know that it had reopened.
Right.
$2.20 a pint
Oh.
in York.
I'd put my phone away for that price.
Yeah.
Like.
So good. But right now, like my granddad's just been in hospital. I felt like a child. I felt like I was like got told off for farting in assembly
Yeah.
or something
but
like that.
you were checking an important thing.
Yeah, right. And
You
I
should have
don't
told
wanna-
them.
No, they don't care. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to swear either.
You're not allowed to swear.
If you swear, you're allowed
Oh, yeah.
one swear as long as it's not too serious. But if you get caught a second time, you're out of there.
Well, it's a good job that alcohol doesn't lead to
I know,
a
right?
lowering of inhibitions or anything. What?
I'm struggling to get my head around this concept.
What do you mean, the no phone thing?
The no
Digital
phone, the no
detox.
swearing. What are you supposed to do?
I thought that was just that one in Durham because I assumed it
What are
was
you
to.
supposed to do?
Well, I assumed.
Swearing at your phone.
I assumed it was to stop all the students just sat around because but no, it's every one of those pubs.
It's to promote a decent pub atmosphere that was, I want to say it was Orwell or someone like that described what the perfect pub is. The bloke who runs it's an
Surely-
Humphrey.
But how many great?
Surely that's very Orwellian itself.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like
that's
1984.
the reason that 7, 8 people were in there, right?
Yeah.
How many great conversations start with? Look at this on my phone that I've just seen.
quite a lot.
Chortle.
This podcast would be dead in the water. It wasn't.
know.
That's the very concept of the Hall of Fame segment. Right. Good. Thank you for that.
That's all right, yeah.
Ross, you came second.
I did.
What was your one this week?
I'm going to nominate a national treasure who passed away yesterday.
Okay.
And it's Dave the dog from Gogglebox. Now, I'd never seen Gogglebox.
Oh,
yeah, the
no,
Rottweiler.
he's
Aye, the
gone.
pretty Rottweiler. I'd never seen Gogglebox up until lockdown. And then on your days off, you couldn't do anything. So you sat there watching easy-to-consume TV. And that was Gogglebox for us. And got to know Dave, who was obviously at the start of Gogglebox very young. He was 12 and a half when he passed away. 2 days ago it would have been by the time this goes live. So, yeah, he's a beautiful dog. I don't know if Joe wants to get a picture up so people can see what a beautiful Rottweiler he was.
Because they've got several, haven't they?
Yeah,
But he's
and-
like the star of the show.
He kept headbutting his dad. It was
Yeah.
fantastic television. Every time he was on there he is.
Oh.
So yeah, Big Dave died this week. So so many memories. A beautiful dog, and also showed Rottweilers to be of nice nature as well. Because obviously they're one of the breeds that get a lot of bad press because of the owners that bring them up in a certain way, not necessarily how they are naturally. So
Oh no, you could tell Dave was a gentle dog. He'd
Yeah.
he'd climb on his dad and try and give him affection. But his dad would be like, Dave, stop! No, Dave! It was really. I've made that sound way more terrifying. It was playful. It was all right. It was
It's
fine.
some age, isn't it, for a big dog like that, right?
Is that-
I think that's a good age
Okay.
for a big dog. He's a nice dog, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
lovely
lovely dog.
Passed away.
That is very sad.
And he just got a new puppy friend the other week as well. Kayla was showing me yesterday.
Oh.
I can't remember what the little dog's name was, but there you go.
Do you have any? Do you have a favorite couple or group on Gogglebox?
I don't really know, to be honest with you. They're all right, aren't they?
They're a normal bunch.
They're all right, aren't they?
I really like Giles and Mary.
Giles and Mary.
Hello,
That's
not
strange.
specifically Giles. I think he's a proper winder. He winds her up and she's like, stop it, Giles.
That's just how much he loves her, though, Jack. You can see it in his eyes when he's doing
They
it.
call each other Nutty.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Nutty.
And they've got a cat table in the middle of them, which is one of the most disgusting pieces of furniture I've ever seen in my life.
Table.
Get the Giles and Mary, please, Joel. You'll see this horrible little table in the middle of them.
I've not seen the show. I've never got around to watching
you're
it.
always in your garden.
Top left, there you go, Joel. Table in the middle of them there, if you can zoom in on it.
Oh.
It's horrible. It's a horrendous bit of
When
furniture.
the cat sits on it.
No, it's a cat.
The
Or,
cat-
or maybe a
oh.
dog.
The pet usually sits on her.
Yeah, the little dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Merlin.
Merlin.
Up the Merlin.
What a name.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties,
It
of
really
course.
shows the
yeah.
great diversity in this country that one family's dog's Dave and the other one's Merlin.
But she used to be a model when she was younger, old Mary.
I've seen that picture of her in the 60s. Unbelievable.
Oh, is she really fit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that her there?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
black
yeah.
and white one. Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's her there. That's it. That's both of them. That's how they...
Up one, Joe. Oh.
There you go.
Jesus.
Absolutely disgraceful scenes on the podcast.
I like the hairdressers as well. I think one of them's quite the comedian. I
The
forget what the name
hairdressers,
of it.
which
They
ones
live in
are-
Brighton now in the
Two
flat.
women?
One's got the men got curly hair.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
funny. I
I
like,
forget what his name is.
I like, is it Jenny and Lee? Like
In the caravan,
the
yeah.
older woman and the slightly younger bloke are just
Yeah.
pals. And, oh, they're so funny.
They have a right laugh, don't they?
He looks like Aidan Gibbons.
No, he doesn't.
Can you get Lee from Gogglebox up, please? Adam, look at this.
Oh, he's the one that ate the face cream. They're the only ones
Yeah,
that I've
yeah,
seen.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
seen that.
he looks like an older Aidan.
There he does, yeah. The grey hair.
That's one for
The
everyone.
grey hair and the frown really brings out the Aiden in him.
He's got jet black hair. That's for everyone. No one listening has seen it. No, they might have seen him on one or two videos, maybe. He was on
It's a big,
Secret,
big
he was on
show over
Secret
here,
Santa,
isn't it?
wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
he? Okay. God. So Dave the dog.
Dave
yeah.
the dog, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I've got a game.
Oh,
I've got a game.
oh, no.
I almost went for Aid Edmondson because we're seeing him tonight.
Right.
Me, Owen, and Sam are going to see Aid Edmondson, who's shilling his new book, and you've got to pay 25 quid for the pleasure.
Okay.
So I was going to go for that because I've been watching a lot of Bottom recently, and like, ooh, that's how they get you. There you go, yeah.
God's sake.
But actually, I found a really good thing that I played on stream the other day, and it's Piers described it really well. It's GeoGuessr with time. It's called chronophoto.app.
Oh, yes.
You'll love. We can play around if you want.
All right.
So chronophoto.app is the thing. So you've got to date the photo. Yeah, that's your one. Just press play, and you'll.
How are we doing? Are we taking turns? Or are we all having a guess and see who's
I think we should
closest?
all, yeah, let's all take a guess. So you get there's only 5 pictures per round. So what year's that from?
Who gets to go first? Because that's surely quite specific. and
I'd say
crucial.
1981.
I'm going to go 1978.
Yeah, it's around that time because glam rock got overtaken by punk, right? So
Yeah.
I think 78 is a really good guess. I'll go 79. Wow.
Ross Williams.
86.
Wow.
I'll take the win.
They've tricked us there.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, no, that's not on. Don't like this game.
A lot of visual clues to look out
Okay.
for, but I'm bad with the fashion and the haircuts and stuff.
2020.
Zoom in a touch, you can scroll on the pictures, read some of these signs. Compulsory vaccination, general, down with compulsion. Wow.
Yeah.
2020. Stop the slaughter of the innocents, protest about compulsory vaccination.
When would
When
this
would
have
that have
been?
Would this have been polio? Would this have been, what was that, late 50s?
I don't know. I think you've given me too much of a clue there, so I might step
Yeah, I
out of
wasn't
this
watching when
round.
polio was about. That was my time away from the
I'll
vaccines.
take, I can't remember off the top of my head polio. I'll go 50. Yeah, 57 works for me. Oh my God.
Oh, Ross
nowhere
again. He's a
near.
natural.
I was thinking it was a lot earlier. Like, it
Was
must
it
be
the
the old
clothes?
Spanish flu or whatever it was back in the day, yeah. It looks a lot later than 1919, if
You do
fair.
history at school?
No.
Oh,
That was one of the DOS classes, that, for me.
right.
I live in the present.
man.
Tubman in Japan.
It's North Korea. No, it's not. It's China. It's China. That's Mao, isn't it?
Mao.
Yeah. Oh, no.
At least it wasn't just me.
We got there eventually. All the Far Eastern countries will land on it. I'll say 1960. Leave it where it is.
I've got no idea when Mr. Mao was around.
Long time, I think. Quite a long reign. I don't think he ever got ousted in an election, funnily enough.
Basing on the quality of the photo, I think it's a touch early. I'll go 1950. No. See, it's a good way to look like a fool, this. I did this on stream, and it's terrifying because if you've not got the historical knowledge, you look like
That's
a
going to be like 2021, isn't it?
Oh,
75.
wow.
Okay, well. Right.
Not bad.
Number 4 of 5. Right.
Oh,
Let's-
this will be.
Clinton and
That is an old-looking Clinton.
that is an old-looking
Obama's
Clinton.
there.
I'd say that's post 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trump's not there. But would they invite him?
Might be form. Is it form? Who are these two lads at the front?
That's Nixon, isn't it?
2014 is what I had. I'm
And
going to
then
go
that's
2014.
probably some other old president. Yeah, 2014 is a good show.
Oh.
Okay.
Last one.
Oh,
Oh, what
okay.
fight's this? Is that David
Tyson
Hay?
Holyfield. Oh. Is that
Oh.
not Tyson?
It could be Tyson. I can't
Look
recognise
at
him
that
from.
bloke giving the thumbs down.
Try to look who else is in there. Buffer's got grey hair, but that's been the same since the 90s.
Budweiser logo. I
Is
don't
it-
think it's changed that much over the years.
Is it Lennox Lewis?
it might be
Can you
Lennox
look
with
at
a
it?
haircut,
Joel,
yeah.
Zoom in on the back of his shorts.
Or the back
Lennox.
of the back of his corner.
Yeah. Fury?
Fuel.
Oh.
Fuely.
No, we're never going to.
I've got no idea. Yeah, well, 99, I think. Or was it 01 when they had that?
I was going to say 01 in my head. But
Yeah.
Did they have 2? I don't know. They just
Can't
had the
remember.
1.
Was it 01 when they had the big one?
Lennox won, didn't he?
Yeah.
England.
Rule Britannia.
Yeah.
01.
Not a clue on this. Nice.
Oh, we've done
well
all right
done.
there. Hey, that was fun.
Yeah, it's really good,
Good.
fun, isn't it? I had a really good round on stream, which didn't make me look like a fool, as I've
good.
just done there, and I got like over 4,000 points. Maximum per round is 1,000.
We need to do a wrestling version of this.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
You know how the chat are like really mean in that. I bet they were pretending they were experts and stuff.
Well, it's a hive mind thing, isn't it? I'm up against however many people are watching, a few hundred people watching, and obviously, collectively, they've got way more knowledge than me.
Yeah.
So,
But then they act like you're stupid for not having that level of
yeah, I
knowledge.
do it all the time.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I wouldn't be able to hack it. I'd be so sad.
It's hard work.
People are
isn't
like
it?
trying to change mine and own's tactics on Football Manager and stuff. Do this, do that. We're slipping into relegation. We had a bad one yesterday.
Just block them all. All the fans.
Hey, that was this week's Hall of Fame segment. I nominated Matty, Solver of Mysteries.
Grass. I nominated Dave the Dog from Gogglebox.
And chronophoto.app if you want to play at home.
And you can, and what does Matthew say? These are yours and yours alone. If you want to vote for them at patreon.com/cultaholic.
This week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
I'm doing his thing.
Ah.
This week in wrestling. I've neglected to do any funny puns.
Why? It's the only reason people watch.
Can't be arsed. It's so it never gets the respect it deserves. Matthew will just read it in a withering tone.
But you get to read it in your own tone today.
But I'm not bothered. So there.
Fine.
I know.
When I did it a couple of weeks ago, I just copied and pasted it all from WWE.com for like the NXT stuff.
That's a very
Right.
2018 move for this podcast, that, yeah.
It's easy though, isn't it? And it's all so dramatic as well.
Shockingly, the challenger ran to the rescue and
With a blistering punch that knocked her off. Yeah.
SmackDown, which always feels ages ago when it gets to the next week's podcast. John Cena opens the show, but is interrupted by Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Roman says he's the greatest of all time, not John Cena. Cena says WWE is an unpredictable place and brings out LA Knight. Yeah. Knight tells Roman things have changed since he's been away, and now he's the fastest rising star in SmackDown history. Jimmy Uso attacks from behind but gets thrown out of the ring, so Roman decides to leave, instructing Solo to forget about Cena and take care of LA Knight, so Solo challenges Knight to a match tonight. Ooh, a little rhyme at the end.
Yeah.
Delightful.
I've described Paul Heyman's hair going back to black as storytelling of the highest order.
It is.
So that says a lot about me, I guess. Fair play to John Cena for saying he hasn't earned his title shot. I hope Goldberg is watching the dick from back in the day. And I guess we saw the past of the torch moment. Next year's WrestleMania main eventer was signed, sealed, and delivered on this segment of SmackDown because John Cena handed the torch or the microphone to a certain The Rock in the ring. So we'll see LA Knight in the main event at WrestleMania next year.
I felt sorry for Roman Reigns in this segment because LA Knight was really bullying him.
Good.
He went, pissed your pants yet? That's a nasty thing to say.
No, that's what you would say.
Oh, I wouldn't say that to Roman Reigns.
If you had the Cavalca of LA Knight, you'd say it. But we don't have that here.
I despise John Cena's selfless babyface acting when he's like, this guy, because he wants all the attention on himself still, and he's very like. But
he's doing it while giving like the onus to everybody else in the ring at the same time. It's
this
conflicting.
Segment, he was fine in this. Yeah,
it's conflicting from John.
Right. Yeah,
It worries me that this is coming at the wrong time for LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because it can't really go that far, can it? Like, they'll have a match, and that's main event, bloody LA Knight. Fantastic. Crown jewel, you would assume. That's great, but
what after that?
Then he drops down.
Then he'll commence with his title reign that he's won.
Right,
Yeah. I also really enjoyed Cena's acting when he tried to warn LA Knight that Jimmy Uso was behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't say anything, just went, oh.
This is why it confirmed there that Jimmy does think he is the tribal chief, though.
You the quarterback?
Aye.
You the quarterback, Jim?
Aye. And also, The Rock, just to see how good he is, this is LA Knight.
Rock's LA Knight,
Because he is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. He had a basic thugonomics reference in his promo when he was speaking about Roman, like saying to Roman, that's a good way to be referred to in the past tense.
Yeah.
I saw this on Twitter. I didn't know off the top of my own head.
I
need
saw
to,
it on Twitter as well. That's a lyric from Basic Thugonomics.
I'm not that sad to know that. Oh, do you know that, do you?
It's on my Spotify.
You're down.
2023.
In Pretty Deadly's return match against the Brawling Brutes, Eldon Prince fakes a leg injury before rolling up Ridge Holland for the win.
Loved
Excellent.
it. So good. I feel the same way about this Pretty Deadly stuff as how I felt as a young lad watching Hardy's, Edge and Christian and the Dudleys, right? Not in the quality of the matches. No, stick with me here. I find it the most entertaining part of the show. That's what I always look forward to. More so than like Rock Austin, for example. I think they got the opportunity to do something really special. It's just a joy to watch, isn't it? It's so
They're
fun.
so funny, yeah.
So really entertaining.
It's the bit where they say the doctors feared he'd never walk again when it was his shoulder that was injured. It's classic stuff. But I thought Booch was the main man here.
Oh.
He was wrestling
Not
just
Ellie?
like... just Booch. It was
Okay.
all about Booch, wasn't it? He was wrestling like Pete, but he's still called Booch, but he is just Pete now.
They can just call him Pete
Just
Dunnigan
call him
now.
Pete, yeah.
Come on, it's been too long.
But yeah, the Elton Strong moment where he pulled Kit up onto the apron for no reason whatsoever, just to show his shoulder was fine. That was spine tingling. And then
Spine tingling.
obviously shades of Ric Flair for the finish of the match as well, pretend to be injured.
Yeah, it wasn't like they could have. I think production could have maybe hidden it a bit better because they really zoomed in on him going, "Oh no!" But yeah, it was good. How high can Pretty Deadly get? How far can they go?
Oh, they can reach the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll bag the tag titles hopefully in the next year, you'd hope. As long as they're just consistently on TV, don't get hurt again, I'm happy. I feel like I've probably laid it on too thick with that Edge and Christian, Hardy's, Dudley's thing.
But the
I really do
potential-
feel,
I
really do feel that that's the thing that I look forward to. But now they're back anyway on the shows. That's the thing that I would be tuning in for if I didn't have to.
Bobby Lashley interrupts Carlito's backstage interview, but it's all a distraction for the Street Profits to attack from behind. They beat him down until Adam Pearce and road agents break it up. Jason Jordan was there, I believe. Bayley turns up and asks why everyone's throwing Carlito a pity party while he's lying there injured. Zelina Vega argues with her, so Pearce books a match between them later on.
Carlito is so full of the roids. It is. He was stood. Allegedly, he was stood next to Bobby Lashley, and
No
he was
euphemism.
he
No
was the
hiding it.
same width as Bobby.
Yeah, he's
this
a
is
body-
Carlito Caribbean cool
He's
we're
a body
talking about
guy.
here.
Yeah, he's the body guy.
That allegedly, when it's you that's alleging it, is so good.
It's not. It's just me. I get distracted every time I see him these
Massive.
days. He's
He's
huge.
Oh, God.
I love Bayley turning up, just being a nuisance, the worst possible time.
Yeah,
Make it all
yeah.
about her. I think it's great stuff.
Carlito's got the apple back.
He has, yeah. And he said in the press some sort of press over the last 7 days that he didn't want the theme to be changed, but they said, we're changing it. What do you want? And he's like, he wants a bit more drums, a bit more bass, and that's what they gave
Yeah,
him.
but why change that
I
thing?
don't know.
Weird. It's when he ran out at the pay-per-view at Fastlane, and it's like ding diddly ding ding diddly. Well, it wasn't that.
Well, they got the opening line wrong as well, didn't they?
What was it?
Like, it used to be, I spit in the face
Yeah.
of people who don't want to be cool. And then all of a sudden it's like, you think you know the cool? No. Just like Edge, obviously. I don't know what it was, but it was different.
I don't know what to make of the "you think you know him." I don't. It jars me a bit when they say.
It gets drowned out, the him bit, I think.
Yeah,
By the
by
crowd.
the crowd. Yeah.
All 10 people going, wow, he's here.
We head next to the Bloodlines locker room. Jimmy is explaining his failed attack on LA Knight. Roman asks Jimmy if he was the leader, what would be his next move? Jimmy says he'd get Jay, but Roman says Jay is old news. He just happens to be holding the tag team titles with Cody, which they want back, but he doesn't care about Jay personally anymore.
I was annoyed by this segment.
Why?
We've waited all this time for Roman to come back. Jimmy pretending he's the tribal chief and doing stuff he shouldn't be doing, just for Roman to go, I'm in charge, you know.
And Jimmy just to go, yeah. Do you not think it'll lead somewhere?
I don't know, but it was just I was expecting the first time they come together for like a bit more. I don't know. I was just a bit disappointed by this segment.
That whole thing at SummerSlam when Jimmy cost Jay and rejoined the Bloodline for some reason, even though he was the first one to leave, has never been paid off. It's never made sense.
No. It never will do.
No, I don't think it ever will either.
Well, I didn't get it right. Maybe I've missed something here. They want the tag titles.
Yeah.
So fast forward a bit, and I know we'll talk about it in a minute. They're now in the hands of the Judgment Day again. Was that any better?
Oh yeah, they helped them.
They're working in cahoots, aren't they?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, they had a little meeting last week, didn't they?
But yeah, why does it help them? Is it because Cody and Jay are so strong? I don't know.
They work together, therefore they know their weaknesses.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly what they'll say on TV.
Next up was the match between Bayley and Zelina Vega. Bayley wins after a distraction from Io Sky. They beat Vega down until that lovable babyface Charlotte Flair makes the save.
Nice to see Bayley get a win. Doesn't happen that often anymore.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Charlotte, I can't cheer her.
Even when she's running in heels like that, you normally the first one to pick up on that sort of behaviour from her.
What, running?
Yeah, her shoe, whether the shoe's on or the shoe's off.
Someone definitely had a foot fetish with Charlotte Flair. She used to kick her shoes off and be like, oh, yeah, then it was weird. No one else remember this?
She ran down to the ring like a gazelle this week with those heels on.
There was definitely a point in time for a span of about maybe 2 months or something where for some reason she'd get into all sorts of brawls barefoot. And I was like, someone's doing this on purpose. No?
Who's just left creative?
Yeah, maybe.
Tony Atlas. Oh.
Yeah.
I've written down in my notes that Bayley versus Zelina was like Rey Mysterio versus the Great Khali from back in the day, which is odd from me.
Way?
I don't know, just a little person versus a big person sort of thing, I guess.
Bayley's surely not a big person.
There was a nice 3, let me get this right, a nice 3 0.5, 4.5 from Zelina Vega, who did a 619 but in the bottom row.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's half of it. Yeah. And that was it for the match. It set up the title match for next week, I guess, which is fine, but...
Zelina Vega is so small. Was it Sam or Fraser who interviewed her? Whichever one it was.
Oh, we
she
had
was
the picture
tiny.
next to her. She was like...
Oh, was it you?
There on me. I was stood... Fraser interviewed her.
Fraser interviewed her, right. Why have I thought Sam... Sam interviewed Rhea Ripley and was taller than her, and it shattered my...
Was he? Was he taller?
Yeah, Matthew was devastated. He was like, oh, it's just ruined everything. Because he wanted to be this...
She could still pick Matthew up.
Oh, she pick any of us up. Yeah, easily.
I don't know about any of us. I think she struggled with me.
Definitely not. She's a very strong lady. Triple H arrives for his big announcement. I was listening to My Time the other day, and I was like,
does anybody know who's sleeping with who?
That's really late in the song, and it's just weird that it's the thing that's stuck. And it's just more nostalgic for me than... I know that the game's the better song and everything, but My Time was...
My Time's a banger.
Oh,
it goes My Time, the game, then way down to the King of Kings. It's not really a song, is it?
Evolution
I like King of
above or
Kings.
behind the game?
I think Evolution's the best one.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Remember we did an intro back in the day, didn't we?
I remember that.
What, Evolution?
The Evolution song.
Yeah, you did like an acapella.
Hopping
Ricky
into-
Dicky Dicky
Oh,
Dicky.
Ricky!
That was Ross's.
Hopping into Richard Tubman's little polo. What a video.
In
Anyway.
slow motion. Triple H arrives for his big announcement. He says that Adam Pearce has done a great job running both shows, but now he's being promoted to general manager of Just Raw. Is that...
This ties into the new TV deal, I reckon, because
Okay.
they're leaving Fox or SmackDown, or SmackDown's leaving Fox, and it's
Yeah.
going back to the USA Network, which is where Raw is anyway. So I assume Raw is going to be the A show once again. Because what he said in his promo, based off the last 3 years of life, made no sense. But
What
the
do you
next
mean?
6, well, because SmackDown was on Fox, it was the money show.
Yeah, okay,
It was the
yeah,
A
yeah,
show,
yeah.
but now it's going back to the USA, so hopefully, yeah.
I can't believe it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Where's that gone?
4 years? Shut up, Ross. 4 years?
Is it actually 4?
2019, was it? Was when AEW was starting. SmackDown went to Fox, wasn't it?
No, sorry. I meant Adam Pearce's involvement.
Oh, right.
Oh,
That
that
must be
kind of...
it.
It's hard to tell when that started because he was kind of phased in slowly
Yeah.
as Vince got worse on camera. Really bad.
I can't remember the top of my head. Did they ever properly, formally introduce him? Like, as
I
this is
don't
his
know,
role?
you
He
know.
just sort of started doing
They
stuff as far
never
as I
mentioned
remember.
that he's like a 5-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
No.
or anything like that.
Triple H hinted at it in that promo.
Yeah, in here, yeah.
Triple H would. I was saying to Fraser the other day, I bet Triple H wishes he was an ex-NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He would love that. Maybe he's going to try and have a match with...
he probably could. He's the right age.
Yeah, true.
Oh, he couldn't with his heart.
Well, not now, yeah, that's true. Dominic Mysterio interrupts this and complains to Pierce about his pals losing the tag team titles. His complaint made no sense. It felt like it was a workaround. Like he was saying, well, there shouldn't be a tag match tonight when my lads have got their match on Monday. I'm like, well, that'll help. It'll tie whoever wins out. It was weird.
It was great, though, the reveal of Dom making everybody think that he was the new general manager. It's so funny.
That was good. I think that the weird complaint was to set up the line, well, you shouldn't complain to the GM of Raw. You should complain to this guy. Triple H says he's complaining to the wrong person and introduces the new SmackDown GM, another former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Aldis. Aldis arrives in a stunning blue suit, by the way.
Terribly done, though.
Yeah, no
He was
pop.
stood at ringside. He was stood there for flipping, 2 or 3 minutes probably. They could have even if he just come out to the SmackDown
Just
theme.
give him any theme,
Just
yeah.
anything.
Give him some old British music or something.
Yeah.
Give him his actual theme, that one where he had it all in. The kings of Norfolk had a child. And
What
he
is this?
Came out of the womb.
I don't remember this.
As a gladiator of the squared circle. Do you remember he had that little speech at the start when he's walking out with
No, I don't remember that.
Jeff Jarrett and there was some
Tim Storm was there.
what's his face? Dexter Loomis before he was Dexter Loomis was in the entourage as well.
Sam
wasn't he?
Glacier was with either Cody or...
I think it was
Nick
a Cody,
Aldis.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
In DDP.
Weird.
Yeah, but he had that weird thing with the sons of Norfolk. Oh, I
don't remember.
Yes.
Anyway, it was badly done. He was there. What's that? I don't remember this at all. I
Go back and watch his All In
I can't
entrance,
get it out of
yeah.
my head, all right?
He's a mystical character, is Nick Aldis.
There was no pop and no chance for a pop either, as you're saying, Adam. Like, it was badly done. He arrives and introduces himself to Dom. I thought Matthew was going to be reading these out, so I put this in to make him laugh, but now it just makes me sound sad. Aldis arrives and introduces him to Dom, saying he's a big fan of his dad. And then I've put, just like the lasses at school used to say to me, sad face.
Oh.
Which, yeah, Graham was popular with my girl mates from school.
He's a good-looking bloke.
Yeah.
I don't think I met your dad.
No, you haven't.
Get a
But you
picture.
both love a car boot sale.
Is
so
that
you have
right?
that in common. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is he still handsome? Like?
Yeah, he's aging a bit, but like probably. I'm fuming. I'm really cross.
Oh, you're a good.
Ah, stop it, you. He's handsome in a different way, like manly.
Right. Yeah, you've not got that.
No, not at all. Not negative manliness from me. Aldis prepares to bring out the Raw superstar who was traded to SmackDown in exchange for Jey Uso. Dom says he doesn't care who it is. It's Kevin Owens who comes out and stuns him.
I was shook.
Are you annoyed it's Kevin?
No, because I think it sets up a very interesting plot point.
Okay.
That if they go this way, will make things interesting on Raw. What if Kevin's the one who was like, I'm sick of this crap on Raw. Get me to SmackDown now. And it wasn't actually Cody who sorted out the draft picks between the two brands.
What, sick of tagging with Sammy?
Yeah, because Sammy's aligned with Jay and all that stuff with a bloodline because they whistle wazzled Owens.
I never thought of that.
Oh, they could go two different ways with this one.
Okay. I'd be maybe a bit surprised. I thought they'd sorted out all their issues, Kevin, Sammy, and Jay.
He did on the last one. He gave him a hug, didn't he?
The very last one,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Oh, and then it would set up Kevin and Sammy.
Potentially. Again, why
I
not?
mean, why- it's always
Well,
good.
Kevin and Jay, because Sammy would get annoyed. Because who blamed? Who did Sammy blame for Kevin leaving on Raw? I've gone blank.
Jay.
It was Jay.
Yeah, and then he apologized to him.
Could set up Sammy and Jay. Yeah.
Gave him a hug.
I think if that's the way that they're going with it, I like that because it's just a bit more inspired than Kevin turning on Sammy. I like the fact that they've split them up because it felt like they'd done everything they could do.
True,
really. Yeah, they
yeah,
could go after
true.
the tag belts again and maybe be successful, maybe not. I think
Maybe
the
they're
timing's quite
too
nice.
good to be in a tag team for too long
Yeah.
individually.
They were spinning their wheels a bit, and it makes things less. Well, at the time, it made things less predictable for Cody as well.
Yeah, I'm just not particularly. I'm not too keen on like another Roman Kevin match because there's been quite a few, and Owens never wins. But we'll have to see what happens, I suppose. In the Bloodline locker room, Roman asks why Jimmy is still here after being given orders. Jimmy leaves with Solo to take care of it. Just a short segment here, just to get more Roman on the show, I think.
Yeah, just confirm everything we already knew without developing anything any further.
Yeah.
We've waited weeks for Roman to come back, Adam, and that's what we got. Stuff we already knew.
You're not the quarterback. And then I think Jimmy said second string, which I understand means like the sub quarterback, the second choice quarterback.
That's fair of him, I guess, if Roman's not there.
I mean, yeah.
I guess he's a phone call away, though.
Call Roman. Anyway, I needed a burp, sorry. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven complained to Aldis about the cursed tag belts, which is real now, apparently. The witches have cursed the tag belts. Chelsea has a solution, new belts on fancy Italian leather. Charlotte turns up and Aldis just pies them off completely. He's like, speaking of class and sophistication. And I went, I don't like him straight away. That's the GM.
Oh, it's Nick Aldis, isn't it? That's what he's all about. He's one of the sons of the kings of Norfolk. I might have made up that bit, but it was definitely like, sort of like...
You might have made up that bit.
there was definitely like a whimsical, like,
Yeah. Old England.
mythical, yeah. He was born by Stonehenge and off he came to wrestle.
Charlotte turns up. Aldis talks to her instead, telling her that she has a title shot against Io Sky next week. Charlotte turns to leave, but runs into Jade Cargill and Triple H. They have a tense stare down with Triple H in the middle, which has prompted people online to think this is one of the main events of WrestleMania.
It probably will be, won't it?
Yeah.
But also Triple H. I've been paying a lot of attention to the size and girth of the men this week. At 6'4" he was billed at during his career. He was shorter than both of them. Incroyable.
You get smaller as you get older, don't you? Maybe not. What's Triple H, mid-50s or something?
Yeah. Early mid-50s, yeah.
Yeah, probably not yet. I like the fact that we've now got a new GM who is just as willing to give Charlotte title shots.
I know. For no reason.
Yeah.
Hi, Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah,
You get a
sure.
title shot next week.
Why not?
A lot of
Same
people's
old.
been making stuff about the way they've used Jade so far as well compared to the splash she made in AEW.
Just walking around.
Yeah, she's just walking around saying hello to people in WWE, whereas in AEW she got the debut calling out Cody.
Yeah.
And there was the stuff with Shaq. Then there was the unbeaten streak.
Yeah.
I think AEW did a lot better job personally to weigh in on debate.
Although they had her ready-made because she's got an incredible look and everything, but no one knew her then.
No.
So they built that as well a bit.
Yeah.
It's all down to one question, right? Is where is she going to go?
It's a bit to keep us guessing on the brands.
Yeah, that's quite effective. But we're seeing a lot of her.
Yeah.
An
Without her
awful
doing
lot of her.
anything.
But we got the answer on Raw, but then she rocked up with NXT as well. So God knows what we're doing.
On the screen, we'll get to
Yeah.
that.
Just on that women's
Yes.
title stuff as well. I know it's probably just a throwaway line about new belts, Italian leather, all that stuff. I don't hate that idea. Give them a fresh start, or just get rid of them. Well, no, because they've been bad.
But the witches haven't won them yet.
This is the first storyline they've had since Sasha and Bailey, I think. That isn't just
story.
The champions defend them every week like Shayna and Nia did way back when.
Oh, the Shayna and Nia.
Oh, it was
reign.
every show.
They were on every brand.
During they were the lockdown.
Yeah.
The lockdown?
MVP.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
looking
just
for.
wish they introduced a women's mid-card title over the tag straps.
Right, yeah,
That would've
that's
been
probably
so
more
much
effective
better.
use. After accepting an open challenge on Twitter, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory take on Cody and Jay for the tag team titles. The champions retain, but the Bloodline come out for a stare down on the ramp afterwards. Cody and Roman have a tense standoff, but Nick Aldis keeps them apart. They weren't going to fight anyway, but he's just making sure, he's just like, whoa, careful. Yeah.
Nice. Something good for a video package in the future. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Cody's going to break his neck soon.
Why?
Off to give it its full title, the Cody 1D Cody Cutter, as the
Yeah.
commentators like to call it.
Oh, it's,
The Cody 1D Cody Cutter. He keeps landing really high on his neck and shoulders, and it
does.
happened on the Raw before this SmackDown, and it happened on this SmackDown as well. So I was about to say, hopefully they stop doing it, but I guess are they still going to be a tag team going forward? Who knows?
well, we'll get to that match, but it's already been kicked out of. What?
Yeah, it's strange.
That's silly.
Yeah.
What do you make of the Grayson Waller Austin Theory team? Quite like it.
They're using Theory, who's a lot better than. Sorry, they're using Waller, who's a lot better than Theory, to get Theory more TV time and maybe better himself.
Yeah.
Because it should be all about Waller, just in terms of who's better.
Although I think it was Theory who took the pinfall here. I can't remember now.
I can't remember either.
I totally agree. Like Waller is leaps and bounds ahead of Theory at the moment, and they're just pressing on with the Theory stuff, aren't they? I like them
I
together,
don't mind,
but Waller shines, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
and
great.
everything that Theory's been given, all of these legends that he's been wrestling, some he's beaten, some he hasn't. But they've pushed him so hard, and it's just not clicking at all.
Nah.
And
But Waller is.
and Waller's theme's great. Love it.
Waller's theme's really good.
It's interesting though, because it feels like they're giving Theory purposefully crap stuff to say on, like when he's doing guest commentary, when he's doing promos. It's all just, this is my era. I'm the best one of all the
It
wrestlers.
reminds me a bit of when they were trying to push Baron Corbin as the next big thing. And Corbin can be quite funny when he's given a bit more free reign. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Bless thy.
But yeah, I totally agree as well. We've all agreed there. Lovely. Jimmy Uso interferes in the main event between LA Knight and Solo.
I am shocked that happened.
Gets taken out by John Cena. Solo then lays Cena out, but gets hit with the BFT, and LA Knight beats Solo. Is that a shock?
It's still a big deal, isn't it?
Big win.
It's the Rock.
It shows how quickly and how well they've built up Solo. That even though it wasn't a properly clean finish, like people getting involved here and there, it's still, to me, it felt like a big deal.
Oh, it's a prize scalp to beat Solo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why I had to say like that.
Kings of North would be proud of that scalp as well.
Roman spears LA Knight during his celebration to end the show. I'm excited for, and I don't know if I'm just a fool to do so because he's getting on a bit now, but for Cena versus Solo, which they seem to be building towards.
He was being very selfless in that, where Cena interferes to get rid of Solo. He was being very selfless in that bit as well because he lets Solo get the better of him. So if it is shades of Umanga versus Cena from back in the day, I'm all it's gonna be good.
Yeah, see that news story about Rikishi that we put out.
Where he
bum
gets little
Yeah,
people.
what was that about?
He doesn't want to give a stink face to little people. Not like that.
Small-headed.
He's fine with that. Yeah, because he's worried that I think his buttocks will swallow that person's head.
Eat their head.
Yeah.
It's those sort of news stories that always do well. Not the
Yeah.
real news. I once wrote one called Tommaso Ciampa gives Tommaso Ciampa match 5 stars because he tweeted that was a 5-star match and it did really well apparently, which is stupid. Anyway,
How big is Rikishi's arse then?
it's
If
got to
he's-
be massive, hasn't it?
Because you think about the walls of the inside of the cheeks, if so to speak. How deep are they if he's worried? You know what I mean?
It's got to be 2 foot across, hasn't it?
The buttresses.
The buttresses,
Come
yes.
Come on.
Nice.
I met him, and I think he was taller than me, which was a bit of a shock because you don't really think about Pachidi and anything. Rikishi, that's a bit of a tall guy. It's got to be massive, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't ask
What was he
him to see.
wearing?
Joel, no, it doesn't matter. But it's
Not the
quite,
thong.
It's quite an interesting picture because they're all around me, and one of them's Solo, and
Right.
there's like Tonga kids there and stuff as well.
That's cool.
I wanted to just interview Rikishi, and he went, "I'll give you a special treat. I'll get my whole family in," and I was like, "Nice one, pal." But one of them turned out to be Solo Sikoa, so there we go.
I had one of those horrible dreams about Rikishi once. Do you remember when the sort of dream where you try to just do something very simple, but you can't do it, and you keep trying and trying and trying, and then the moment passes and you've not done it? I was interviewing him on a beach in this dream, and I was trying to set up like a director's chair in the sand, and it kept falling over, and he was just like, "Oh, come on, man. You gotta hurry up." And I just kept putting this director's chair up over and over again. And then he left. He had to go.
Me and Adam had that for real on the bus when I was interviewing Cain Velasquez because you were trying to set up the tripod on a moving bus.
State of it. No, it was the Andrade Charlotte one that was more difficult,
downstairs
wasn't it?
in the bus, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you can do it on the way to whatever press engagement they've got next. Literally bombing about London on a double-decker bus. There with a tripod. Miserable, that, wasn't it?
That was meant to be on the top deck, but one of the press women said, "Oh yeah, it'll mess with their hair," and I was like, "Okay."
Is that what it was?
Do you mention Jack with a tripod on a bus? Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. I still get that to this day, and that's your fault. I think.
How is it my fault? What?
It was in a reactions video. Yes,
You
I
said it.
mentioned
What?
it. No, it's just like at uni, like you and your pals. Oh, did you get a bus boat today? Which was our shortened term for bus boat.
Yeah, no, I remember, yeah.
Because it would vibrate quite hard going up there.
You'd have to explain yourself again.
Then it would develop to like one of my mates would be like, "Oh, I got such a lecture bow the other day."
Lecture?
Joel loves it. Joel loves this banter. I was once walking past one of the student accommodations outside with Joel.
Oh, steady now.
And there was some lads in there playing pool. And it was maybe after a pay-per-view or something. It was like a weird time of day and they were just playing pool and that. Joel just went, "That's the dream, that." Remember back at uni, just playing pool? Sorry for the impression.
This seedy guy behind the camera over there. what pool hall is it again in the centre of town?
Spot White.
Spot White.
I'm
There's
sick
a
of the
certain type of
disrespect.
person goes there. We on your own?
Nah. No.
Oh,
you don't
thank
go Spot White.
goodness
Spot
for that.
White's quite a like...
It's a great place.
It's like a... What's the Star Wars? It's like a hive of scum and villainy. That's like Spot White.
Right.
It's where all the creatures of the night come out to play. Because after the nightclubs close, that's where everyone goes.
So I went to Hustlers once, and I thought that was a bit rough around the edges.
Oh, that's just a working man's pool hall. Like,
So what's
What of
Spotlight?
emos
Spot White's more of like an industry one. It's like...
Spot White's.
A lot of emos in Hustlers.
Oh, yeah, he was good
yeah.
because it's right next to Trillions.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, it's where the goths come out, yeah.
Spot White's open till like 8 a.m.
Spot White's
Oh,
crazy.
right.
and it's got no windows, so you don't know what time it is. So you walk out and then it's light.
It's
and you're like,
scary. I've been
what a
some of the
night.
drunkest in my life in Spot White just thinking, well, I shouldn't be here.
So it's a choice between that and the casino after somewhere closes.
Yeah, but you don't end up spending as much money in Spot White. It's
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Unless you get hustled.
Yeah. Whoa.
It's also opposite a casino.
It's also opposite a casino.
Where is it in town?
Near in Chinatown, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Around the back of Aspers.
Gotcha.
Geography of Newcastle for everyone. AEW Collision. Adam Copeland opens the show, but is interrupted by Christian Cage, along with Nick Wayne, Luchasaurus, and a team of private security. Christian says the security are here to protect Adam from him, and also announces that the Blackpool Combat Club have been removed from the building, so his match with Bryan Danielson can be a fair one. Bryan arrives and says that's fair enough, because he's managed to get Luchasaurus and Wayne banned from ringside as well. Ricky Starks and Big Bill interrupt, and Ricky cuts a promo on everyone for being old, but then he kind of goes, but I respect Christian, though. Christian's all right. So he stands in his corner. Copeland said, Edge was a dick.
He got legitimately annoyed, I think, at Ricky Starks.
He was a dick to him.
Yeah.
So I've just paraphrased it here, but we'll talk about it in more detail after I've finished reading the segment. But Copeland says that Ricky Starks took his star from The Rock. Starks wants to fight right now, but FTR arrive and say they're still the best tag team on the planet. Yes. They don't care that they haven't been handed a rematch because they're happy to work their way back up to the top. Everything breaks down into a brawl, and the bad guys run away, so the babyfaces beat up Christian's security team.
It was the comment from Starks where it's just Copeland, and who was the other side of Copeland? Danielson in the ring at the time. And he's like, I'm not speaking to you, buggy eyes or something. I'm speaking to Danielson. And that set Edge off.
Was that the turning point?
And that's where Edge started going, it's all yours, just knock off Rock.
I don't even have the buggy eyes.
You've got satin pants on, you freak. What's wrong with you? Something like that.
And then Starks would say a comeback, and he'd go, dude. It's when he went, dude.
Yeah, he's like, it's like you've lost your edge or something. A comment like that. He's like, dude.
To be fair, it wasn't the best comeback, but it was quick. On the fly,
Yeah.
you've lost your edge. I think that's fine.
I think
No,
he got
wasn't it? It was that really sent me over the edge.
That was
I think
the
is
one.
what he said. It's crap.
He's gonna.
He's not bringing up something that Adam Copeland is ashamed of. Like, what's the... he used to be called Edge. Yeah, that's why we're watching.
But he's a guy they're pushing, and Copeland's put him on the back foot deliberately. And I thought Edge was really unprofessional in this.
I just think you don't have to mention the buggy eyes when you're around Copeland now. Just that's the way you get to him.
Why
Has he got buggy eyes?
I don't know.
never really thought
He's
that.
he's not got the Miz kind of buggy eyes.
I just thought it was a throwaway heel line. Just say anything to to insult someone, and he's obviously gone, oh no, he's mentioned my buggy eyes.
I don't think he needs to be self-conscious about that.
He's a handsome man, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You're all right, Adam Copeland.
But yeah, the segment wasn't really going anywhere. Well, to be fair, Christian might have dropped Shane McMahon's arrival in AEW going to happen when he called himself the best wrestler in the world. Because obviously Shane's the only guy who does that. He's seen Shane's son, by the way.
Yeah, he's like a jock.
Vince McMahon again.
He does look like Vince.
Young Vince McMahon and Shane. But whatever. Anyway, but it didn't really get going until Stark said the buggy eye thing.
I was about to be like, he'll inherit the company one day. He won't. Vince has put a stop to that.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. What a selfish man. It's mad, isn't it? The buggy eyes thing must have been what sent Edge. He was genuinely annoyed.
He was.
It was really weird. Hope he's all right.
This is how it starts, isn't it? It's like Hangman again and Punk.
Oh,
We're going to rinse and repeat here.
Workers' rights. We see a video package of MJF at an anti-Semitism event. It's just a serious segment about what it is, but it also explains why MJF isn't. They use it to go, MJF's not here tonight, so we'll see what happens with that later on. Samoa Joe successfully defends the Ring of Honor TV title against Willie Mack, who I was pleased to see.
Big
in
Willie
AEW.
Mack fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have to do that?
What? Oh,
Big
Big
Willie
Willie.
Mack fan.
No, I think he's class, isn't he? I think he'd be a good fit because like AEW. One thing that they do really well is big meaty matches.
Yeah.
And Willie Mack would fit in really, really. All right, come on. Rename him, obviously. Like Big Bill, Big Willie.
Throbbing Mack. Yeah.
Big throbbing Mack.
Penis Mac.
No, it was good, wasn't it? And he had a good match with it. Oh, come on.
Hey, he did it. He did a shoot enziguri kick on the run, which was astonishing agility
he
for a
did,
man
yeah.
of his size.
Yeah,
it was Samoa Joe. You know how I didn't like Chris Jericho putting over Hobbs the way he did last week. You
didn't like it,
He
did
kicked
you?
out 2 or 3 too many times for me for it to be really like, you know. I appreciate what he did, but I thought there was 1 or 2 many kickouts in there. This is how you put someone over, like Willie Mack did here for Samoa Joe, because he battered Samoa Joe for the large part. Then it was one muscle buster for the win, basically. Put him over very strong.
Yes, and Willie Mack, you're right, they should sign him because I've enjoyed him wherever I've seen him at Impact and Lucha Underground as well. He was in Lucha Underground.
Is it MLW he's at now?
I
Because he left
think
Impact last
so.
year.
Right. I think
but he's really good.
He's
isn't he?
good. I can't believe he's never gone further.
I kind of like the way they protected the finish because he does the frog splash, but he wasn't able to hit it because he got hoisted into the muscle buster.
Yeah.
And that's your lot. And maybe that was intentional, maybe not. But I really enjoyed it. It's good to see him. I hope they use him moving forward. Rather.
Yes. The hot and flexible CJ Perry is interviewed backstage and says she's here to make her future clients into champions and stars. Action Andretti comes along and says he's just a phone call away. And she goes, oh, I'm looking forward to that phone call. And I was like, no, you've got to phone him. She's not understood.
Yeah. If there's one guy who needs her, though, it's him.
It might not be happening from what happens later on, but yeah.
But it was weird to see her going like, oh, I'm here to have people, like, help people who are sat on the side who aren't getting the spot because I know how that feels. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
When you were wrestling, there was tens of more better wrestlers than you.
But Miro's talked about it before, although he is biased because it's his wife. But he says that in the Performance Center on NXT house shows and stuff, when she wasn't getting a chance, she'd be like, I'll do anything. I'm game for anything. She'd go out in the intermission and entertain the fans in the ring and stuff.
That's
I don't know
really
what she was doing, like
Yeah,
juggling or something, but...
There's no doubt she got better like as time went on,
Yeah.
but you were watching, you were thinking like, oh, there's people on the sidelines here who...
I missed the Russian accent.
Do you?
Yeah, I just think it helped make her more sinister in that.
Yeah.
More like now she's just an American woman. And there's loads of them in wrestling. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether that Action Andretti thing was just a 1 week storyline or whether it carries on. We see a Danhausen vignette implying that he'll be back soon.
Sing along, everybody!
Very evil, very nice. Very nice. That's very nice. Very evil.
Danhausen.
Timing's handy, isn't it, for Halloween?
You
Yeah,
can't buy
Say
it.
about it.
yeah.
Are you a fan? It sounds like you're not. I've never spoken to you about Danhausen before.
I was a fan.
Okay.
I found it funny but weird that he was just best mates with CM Punk as well.
Yeah.
And then, I won't name them, but a member of our team said that their friend had met Danhausen and he wasn't. He was a bit of a dick.
Really?
Ooh.
He seems like behind the paint.
Or
He'd be a lovely
he'd
fella.
contacted them to say, stop selling that. That's knockoff merch of me or something like that.
That's where his money comes from.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
at
I
that
get
time,
it,
I
I
assume
get
it
it.
was. Was this pre-AEW?
I don't know, actually. I'd have to ask
Right.
them.
Well, he was a very nice guy when I interviewed him. Very self-deprecating.
Well, maybe it's I can't name who it is. Maybe it's the person that we work with's fault instead,
Right.
Or his friend's fault. Oh no, I've revealed it's a man.
Down, didn't it?
Juice Robinson beats Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels in a singles match. He was there.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Jay White gives Juice a diamond ring, which he uses to knock Daniels out. Juice gets on the mic and says anyone can wear a ring, and he bought this one for $25. Jay says after Juice has taken the Dynamite diamond ring, Jay will take MJF's title. This was meant to be the roll of quarters, wasn't
I'm
it?
glad they replaced it, yeah.
Yeah, it was
and
iffy.
Juice made it work with like the TK Maxx line and whatever
Yeah.
substance it was made from. I forget what it was off the
Should
top
have
of my
been
head.
cheaper than $25 even.
Probably should, yeah. But as for the match, it was a match that happened for the large part until this DVD from Christopher Daniels nearly beheads Juice Robinson, which was a fantastic move. And then, I'm glad they just changed the prop in the story.
I'm very fond of Christopher Daniels because he was unbelievable in Impact, like, amazing in Impact. And do you remember when he saved one of the WCPW shows just by getting a last minute flight to
Oh,
wrestle?
damn it, why did he do
He
that?
was Ring of Honor champion at the time, wasn't he? And he
it
came
was-
over and defended the
It
belt
was
against.
meant to be.
I can't remember who it was.
It was so Adam Cole was there,
Right.
and it was meant to be Cody, but Cody couldn't make that show.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, but we've got a replacement. Who's it going to be? And it was Daniels. And everyone and the crowd were like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be Nottingham or one of the. Can't remember where it was, but yeah.
I think I was on the pyro that night. I had to press the buttons for the party. It was awesome.
Was it
Yeah,
good?
really
I never got to
great.
do that.
Yeah, smoke. They had the flames and all that.
Were
Brilliant.
you ever the timekeeper?
No.
I was. It was pressure. It's a horrible.
Did you ever
job.
ring the bell?
You ring the bell?
I rang the bell.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, timekeeper.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Right, yeah, it's all
But I didn't like it. I thought it was.
bell
I
ringing
thought it was a horrible job.
A lot of pressure. Like, I had to
Oh.
pick up the microphone, turn the microphone on,
Yeah.
hold the microphone, ding, ding, ding.
And that
Yeah.
bell was crap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It didn't sound like a good. Didn't they end up just playing like some dodgy
Yeah,
version off
maybe.
YouTube? Or
If
something?
you managed to hit it all right, it would make a bit of a noise, but you could easily just clunk it. And
Yeah.
there's more to it than it.
Oh, you had to be a great marksman to work the bell well.
Yeah. We're like children, aren't we? Just, you can ring the bell if you want. Ooh, I'm one of the wrestlers. We see Dustin Rhodes' video package where he announces that he's coming back. He vows to win the Battle Royal and the AEW. Yeah, of course. Vince McMahon.
I thought it was a great little promo. I thought it was really good.
He's quality, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I think I've told this story before, but I was a late appreciator of Dustin Rhodes and how good he is. Mm-hmm. And then we were watching him versus Cody at Double or Nothing, and he did that senton he does off the apron on like a front flip.
Yeah.
Runs along the apron, flips off. And I remember, and I brought this up to Ross a different time, and he was like, I don't remember this. But Ross gave like a round of applause when he did it. But it was like, if you watch a tiny piece of defensive play at a football match, and you're like, oh, they've worked their way out of trouble there. So Ross applauded him, and it gave me the impression that like, it impressed...
I could do that.
No, it impressed Ross, but it's just what Dustin does. It's just another day for him. Yeah, he's done that thing that he does. And I was like, oh, I've not watched enough Dustin Rhodes matches, because I was like, oh, he's flipped off the apron, and Ross like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Standard Dustin.
When did he lose a ton of weight? Ever since then, he's been
After
doing all
Impact.
yeah, all the flips, hasn't he?
Fair enough.
All the flips.
He's not going to win. Well, he doesn't. Spoiler, he doesn't win that Battle Royal.
I like the fact that you say, like, I can't remember the wording. It's like, oh, it's still my dream to win the AEW World Title.
Yeah.
I think that could be quite fun down the line. Maybe that's his retirement match.
He's very believable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love a retirement match where he tries to win the
loses,
title. Yeah, that'd be great. He really deserves it. He's just quality. And
Yeah,
I don't know whether he deserves time off, if he's just taken time off. I don't know if he's been injured or whatever. In a backstage interview, Nick Wayne learns that he'll have a sit-down interview with his mum. And
Can't wait to talk about that later.
it was good.
She was astonishing.
In what way?
The acting chops of that lady, top tier.
We'll get to it.
Top
later
tier.
on.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I don't think he's being serious. Kyle Fletcher wins a singles match against Boulder of the Iron Savages.
Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm sick of these Boulder men. These
Why?
Iron Savages.
Why?
Well, all the bloody dudes. Come on, man, I can do that. Do something else. You're on television for international television, and you go.
Teaming up with Penis Mac. But Kyle Fletcher wins though,
Good.
and he's good as well.
Because Bronson, the ass eater, that's the commentary team acknowledge that's what they do. He looked very good in the early on. He was like the showmanship of like showing his nips. Like it's very Otis, but it's sinister, and I don't like it. Like when Otis does something similar, when he gyrates and jiggles and all that sort of stuff, it's endearing. But when Bronson does it. No, Boulder. Boulder, when he does it, it's not right.
Where I'm trying to work out where your line is. So playfully showing the nips. That's
No,
all
he did
fair
it
game.
seductively. Whereas Otis is very like, yeah.
It's got to be the intention behind it. Yeah. Otis is really cute.
He is cute
he's
for a big
man.
boy.
Yeah.
But I like Dragon Sleeper being Kyle's.
Otis is cute. I'd say he's the cutest wrestler in WWE currently.
Okay, sure.
I can't think of a cuter one. That's the big question at the end of the podcast. We'll talk about who's the cutest wrestler.
If anyone's watching wants to submit a mailbag thing where we do like a big tournament again of the cutest, because we did the
handsome one,
the most handsome
and
wrestler.
It was intense, and I think Roman Reigns won it in the end, which is a foregone conclusion.
It was in him and Finn.
Him and Cole. There was a WWE bracket.
Really handsome,
there was a WWE bracket and an AEW bracket, and then they had the super final.
So we need anywhere between 24 and an even number of 24 and 32 names.
There was someone who
cutest wrestler.
There was someone who Matthew kept pushing through the brackets or trying to, and we were like, really, this person? I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember either.
No.
He loves them all though, doesn't he, Matthew?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the Dragon Sleeper being Kyle's finisher now after the match with Danielson.
Yes, he's learned it.
Continuity, that is.
Boulder's not that big.
Yeah, he is.
He's massive.
He's a big man.
Bronson's the
that
smaller one, the dirty bulk.
No, I saw Boulder here. He's not that big. When other people on the show are way bigger than him.
Not big enough to be.
Joe's bigger than him.
known
Willie Mack's
as-
bigger than
Not
him.
big enough for his gimmick to be bolder.
Yeah, when he
Big
was
man,
sort of jumping around the ring a little bit, just hopping up and down, I was just like, oh, you're not that massive. He's
I'd
not.
batter you.
But he lost, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he lost.
He eats ass though.
He does eat
It's
ass.
really good, that.
It is. Oh, but when the Acclaimed do it, where's Sesame Daddy ass and all that, that's fine.
I'm nonplussed by the scissoring personally.
Was it the lack of, what's he called, their pal, the Iron Savages
The
mate?
bald fella.
What's his name?
I can't remember. You got Dirty Bulk Bronson, and you
Yeah.
got Boulder,
Yeah.
and you got the third guy who
What's
does
it
the Max
called?
Caster
Is it-
promo down the ramp.
It's not Action Andretti, but it's a name like that. It's like a name with a verb in it or something.
Meaty Morris.
Aye, Meaty Morris. Later on, Kyle calls out Kenny Omega and gets a pop for calling him out as well. The crowd go, woo.
Tony Khan fancies Kyle Fletcher, I reckon.
I think we all do. to be honest.
I reckon Tony Khan fancies him, though, you know.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Fancies him.
Really? You think?
Yeah. Just these matches he's getting ever since Mark Davis went away.
It's class.
Mark
Love
must
it.
be
Well, I think
at
he's...
6s and 7s in bed
I'm
at the minute.
guessing he's like dealing with it. Is he injured?
Yeah, he
he's
broke
hurt,
his
yeah.
arm, didn't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, in the pay-per-view match.
yeah.
He's away for a while. I love the fact that they're still using Fletcher.
Yeah.
But it sort of, I agree about the Mark Davis thing because he's going to come back and Kyle Fletcher's going to be in the fans' eyes miles ahead
I
of him.
think I'd worry more if it was the other way around, just because Mark Davis is a big bloke and can just always get a pop for hammering someone. I
Yeah.
suppose maybe
Bigger than
Might be.
Boulder.
Well, yeah, he's big. Do you remember when he was at some of our shows and his thing at the time was he'd come out and give high fives to the crowd really hard,
Hurt them,
I remember
yeah.
thinking we're going to get sued here.
Somebody could snap their arm because
Yeah,
they're clean off.
easily.
You never know what's...
He was laying them in.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it, and everyone was loving it as well. Everyone was like, "Yeah, do me."
Health and safety gone mad.
Absolutely. Renee interviews the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, or just Daddy Ass. I keep on. It's just Daddy Ass.
It's
now.
Daddy Ass, yeah, that's his name.
Why not Billy Gunn? Max is confronted by the others about his aggressive pursuit, I've called it here, of MJF. They get him to practice his conversation skills on Renee, and he fails terribly. The former JAS arrive, that's Matt Menard, Cool Hand Ange, and Danny Garcia. And they challenge the Acclaimed to a trios title shot.
I don't like this infatuation with MJF thing. It does nothing for me. I don't get it. What's it? What's it about?
stems from Twitter, where Max Caster's been going after MJF in a romantic kind of way
No, I
for the
saw
longest
it.
time.
I just don't find it very entertaining.
Me neither.
I think Max Caster comes across as just a weird little gimp,
Creep.
doesn't he? I'm not sure what it's meant to do for anyone.
It's not even that big.
Yeah, because
No, I
they're
know
treating
you.
it like it could be a real thing, because they're saying like, oh, your relationship skills are absolutely rotten, and that's why MJF doesn't like you. So they're treating it like it could become a thing down the line. We're getting teased with a relationship between these two.
Like, I think it's surely to just delay until the 8-man tag when hopefully MJF will be like, yeah, you can team with me, and they'll have all kinds of babyface fun.
What a weird way to get there.
Yeah.
It is. It feels like it was their idea. This will be funny, won't it? They find it funny. Funnier than the audience do.
This'll pop the boys.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
most of AEW stuff is at the minute. Oh, let's keep Adam Cole hostage and have him make sandwiches. I know he's injured, but come on.
That is weird,
There's a better way to
yeah.
use Adam Cole than that, for example.
Emo Sky Blue looks unbelievable. She loses a TBS. Sorry, what? No.
Who said who?
What?
I didn't give any kind of reaction. You went, what? Oh. It was very David Brent.
It was to
that.
try. Yeah. I'll be honest. I pre-planned that. This will be a funny segment when I do this.
He's loving it.
So,
It's garageous woman.
if OSW can get away with it, is it because I'm not a cheeky Irish chappie? Is that why?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it every time. Who is it? This
Jade
week?
Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
Gorgeous. She looks unbelievable.
It feels like it's written in their contracts to go, garageous woman.
Oh, lads. I love OSW.
So do I.
Yeah.
I don't even know them. I shouldn't probably be joking. They probably hate
Oh,
me.
man. Jack Atkins and Luke got to meet them in London. I was gutted. Yeah, I just had to bloody do a video.
They run away when you would come along.
I thought you had something with them in an elevator or something.
So a guy came out of a lift in the hotel wearing a Watt Bar t-shirt. And I thought, he looks like V1 from OSW. And we made eye contact. And then as he walked away, I was like, I mean, there's every chance it could have been V1 from OSW. If it's a bloke who looks a bit like him wearing that t-shirt. But I never knew. I did a tweet kind of saying, I think I saw V1. And he never...
Snub.
I think so.
Didn't say hello.
We just both looked at each other, but obviously, like, we're all well famous, so everyone was making eye contact. At the wrestling. Oh, it doesn't matter.
It's a nice level of fame, though, isn't it?
Because it turns off. It's just now and then.
Yeah,
It's
if you're in the wrong place.
I even don't want to call it fame. It's like selective being recognized.
Superstardom.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've always, since we've gone to like wrestling events and stuff, I've always thought it's lovely, like when everyone says hello and that, but I'm so glad it's not every day of my life. It must be crazy.
Imagine
being
if you're
a
like
celebrity.
Adam Sandler, just getting
Must be
bothered
unreal.
all the time.
You wouldn't have a
I
normal
met Adam Sandler. I have no idea.
He was the biggest star on the planet.
Katy Perry or someone. Dua Lipa. Contemporary pop stars.
Yeah.
Right, the eye makeup on Sky Blue is getting bigger. Because she's been misted by the Julia Hart, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's emo sky blue.
I she's just getting infected.
Yeah, she's gonna. You were right. You called that, didn't you?
Yes,
early on?
I did. And with Willow. Willow's the next one.
Emo Sky Blue loses a TBS title match to Chris Statlander. The champion tries to help her up afterwards, but Willow Nightingale comes out and goes, "No, get away."
But she's also infected with the mist.
Did she get misted too?
Oh, yes. It's coming.
If they turn these two lasses heel, I don't know what they're doing because they're two of the most natural baby faces on the roster.
They're making your heartstrings be tugged. That's what they're doing. They're making you feel through the art that is professional wrestling.
I'm just going to be less entertained not having babyface Willow Nightingale on my screen. She comes out all...
She can still do that, but it's like a rock, gothy...
Her entrances are... I'm like, I want you to win the match from her entrance, and that's what a babyface should be. Anyway.
I'll tell you what, though. Chris Statlander could be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and or Power Ranger. She did this sequence in this match where she was like, block, swipe kick, somersault plancha. And I was like, whoa, you're proper
Was
menu.
that the closing stretch?
Yeah.
There's really good
She did it like a
stretch,
Power Ranger,
wasn't
like
it?
block, swipe kick. Swipe
kick.
Swipe kick.
You were a Power Rangers kid, weren't you?
Yeah, red one. Up
Red
the red
one.
Up the red one.
Raphael.
No, Power Rangers.
Oh, sorry.
Tommy?
Yeah,
I don't
Tommy
even
sounds
know.
right.
The red one?
Was
Just
in a
one.
relationship with Kimberly.
Don't know. It was slightly too early. I never really... Red one for Turtles for me.
I
though.
enjoyed the toys more than
Raphael.
watching the program, mate. Just had all the toys throwing them about, yeah.
Fair
I like the
enough.
film with
I've not-
Ivan Ooze, I think it was in that.
Yeah.
That was good.
I've
and they
seen
introduced
clips.
a White Ranger as well in that, I think. Is that right?
Played by Adam Sandler, yeah.
Where are we? We get a video package of Roosh teaching his mates how to be Ingobernable. They drive around in a car and wear suits. Now, ages ago now, Roosh kidnapped the members of his own stable and took them. He was like, "Oh yeah, come and meet me in Mexico." And they got kidnapped from the airport by him. And he went, "I'm going to teach you how to be actually good." And it's been ages now, and they're still in Mexico, just learning how to be ungovernable. I don't understand.
This was like a debut promo that hadn't had stuff happen before for me.
Yeah,
Because they locked them in the room and they were like waterboarding them and
you're going to be hard.
whipping them with whips and that and other stuff like that. But yeah, it feels like they're going to actually try and make something of Roosh and the Dog Man and the Drag Man, as I like to call them.
Just to go in El
Pedo Podway, big
Preston Vance.
Big Preston Vance, yeah.
Yeah.
El Perro, what's he? El Perro Peligroso.
I think, is it the dangerous dog or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
a Danger Dog Man.
Yeah.
So it feels like they're going to actually do something with them now, because that felt like the genesis of a storyline. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's becoming, I feel like I'm being a bit harsh in AEW, but it feels like a thing where they do something to make someone and then they don't follow through.
Oh, totally. It's like Wardlow syndrome. He's the ultimate example of that.
Like,
Like after that MJF feud, he feuded with the 20 lawyers.
Yeah.
And it was
But I'm
weird.
intrigued to see, like, Hobbs is the example to keep your eye on now. Like, they've given him the big win over Jericho, very good. He's had the promo on Dynamite, that's all right. What's next?
Yeah.
What we're going to be saying in a month's time about Hobbs?
I don't know. But I hope it's... I totally agree. It's not always... Sometimes they nail the top of the card stuff in the big matches, but it's the people just underneath that. Keith Lee squashes my new favourite wrestler, Turbo Floyd.
Brilliant name.
I thought it was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. While Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty watch on backstage because they're feuding with Keith Lee. I don't want to talk about Keith Lee. This is all about
Turbo Fly. He looks like a proper 90s jobber, doesn't he?
He is
brilliant. No disrespect to Hulk Hogan.
He is the most wrestler man I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He looks so much like a wrestler. Just a carny man.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Great gimmick.
Great name, Turbo Floyd. I love him.
Yeah, it's really good.
So Fraser and Aiden, when I mentioned him, I was watching Collision and I was like, "This Turbo Floyd," and they were like, "Oh, he's in a tag team on Dark, I think."
Right.
And they did a promo once where they called themselves "We are the youngest men in the world." It's absolute genius. It's so good.
He's like a poorer man's Johnny Swinger, isn't he?
Yeah,
But it really works.
Really good. Push Turbo Floyd to the moon. You got any thoughts on the match?
There was a hell of a Batista bomb.
Oh yes.
Joel, what's happened?
Do you know who his tag partner's called?
Who's his tag partner?
Truth Magnum.
Truth Magnum.
That's good.
What if he doesn't look like Scott Hall, like NWA Scott Hall?
Oh, can we find
Tom Selleck, that kind of vibe.
What's their tag team name? What's the name?
Turbo Truth, it could
Oh, these. Oh, I know them now. Yes. Look at the stage.
It's like that, you know, the WCW jobber, Randy Hogan. Like,
Yeah.
it's that, isn't it?
Joel, zoom in on that picture of Turbo Floyd,
What's
will
the name
you?
there? Sorry. They have the tag name on... Oh, the Outrunners, it's... Okay, the Outrunners.
The
that's not
Outrunners,
good.
yeah.
No, it's not as funny, but...
They could literally be called Turbo Truth. There's cocaine pulsating through those veins. Like that.
And they're posing. And if you scroll down, tag record, no one's... I love them so much.
That fella in the middle bloody loves him. He's turned pink.
I have as well, man. Oh, they're so good. Oh, I love them so much. If I had met Matty from Alvino's, I was going to nominate Turbo for the whole thing. Yeah. Hey, man. Well, that's... Cheers, Joel. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I need to know how they unwired the heater. Come to think of it, how do you do that?
I don't know.
Isn't it just a switch on the wall?
He said that his colleague said that they were messing with the wires.
Messing with the wires? What?
They've not. You'd have to take the fuse out of the plug.
Yeah,
or
you would.
something,
You have to
surely.
have a
They
screwdriver.
just unplugged it. That's all they've done is unplugged it. They've not.
Okay, yeah, probably. Right.
Imagine if they just had screwdrivers.
I can't get over the Outrunners now. They're the best. The youngest men in the world. In a video package, we learned that Miro has immediately battered Action Andretti.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't want anything to do with his wife, but now he's getting really jealous.
This is an interesting storyline, Jack.
Mene. Bloody hell. Sorry.
He's going to destroy anyone who comes close to being managed by his wife in order to protect his wife from the stuff that makes her evil. That's the storyline.
This story they're doing, and you know they had that dual interview as well where they're both basically saying poems to each other. It's all too abstract. I need concrete information. What's
It makes
going
you
on?
think, Jack. It's the art of professional wrestling, once again, dragging you in a different
It's
direction.
too abstract, and I need some crisps and sandwiches chat to earth it a bit.
He doesn't want it to be a materialistic lady, wanting all the glitz and the glamour.
What does he want?
He wants the flexible and hot CJ Perry to go home and have a nice life with him. He's wrestled 8 matches in 2 years. I saw the other day. Yeah. 8 matches in 2 years.
I found this a bit weird because the production style of the thing, he pops up and I was like, okay, so this is a pre-record, fine. I was like, this must have been done way earlier in the night. And then he's choking out action.
Yeah.
I felt like it would have been a bit better had it just been a backstage interview with Renee or something like that. I found it sort of weird.
I thought he'd taken him to hell. I thought it was like an apocalyptic landscape.
He didn't do that much to him. He just sort of chucked him down.
He'd already beaten him up. Yeah.
He's took him to purgatory because that's where he lives, isn't it, Miro?
Oh yeah, in that white space. Although this was more like an apocalyptic landscape. Maybe he's gone to hell now. Maybe he's out there. Christian Cage retains the TNT. Still, like, wish Miro was used more, but maybe it's good for him. Maybe he doesn't want to wrestle that much.
Yeah.
Christian Cage retains the TNT title against Bryan Danielson after interference from Ricky Starks and Big Bill because he got Christian's pals banned from ringside, but not these two. They beat him down afterwards, so FTR run out for the brawl. Adam Copeland arrives to help clear the ring with his eyes.
There's a fantastic start of this match where Jim Ross appears. And I thought Jim Ross was good by and large in the match, but immediately goes, oh, Christian's there, being in his James Bond villain phase, which now he's had to go, you stealing Edge's line, pal. You hadn't seen Dynamite, had he, Jim? Bless him.
Oh, I thought he was referencing it deliberately.
Oh, no, I think he just nicked it.
Oh, okay.
Nigel. Oh.
What's he like?
I want everyone to watch the collar and elbow tie-up. You can feel the struggle of both athletes. It's palpable.
Because
Palpable.
it's good. They're both. The footwork must have been unbelievable. in
Oh,
this
yeah,
match.
yeah. It's Christian. He's the innovator of footwork.
He invented footwork in wrestling. Yeah. It's just when Christian debuted in AEW, we noticed that like all these wrestlers came out and were like, he's the best wrestler ever. His footwork's unbelievable. Which is something that muggles like us just don't notice. Unless you really watch for it.
It was clear that, like, because they didn't do anything truly spectacular, just a couple of pros going at it.
Just a couple of
Just that was it, wasn't it, though? It was great. I bet they loved it.
Yeah, they probably had a great
Got
time.
backstage out of whale, yeah.
Oh, Christian working the arm. Oh, that was making me a bit hot and sweating with the collar. That was the hammerlock slam on the apron was lovely.
If you're a wrestler and you're like a really good one, it must be a real pleasure to wrestle another really good wrestler. You know what I mean? Oh, you've matched me, I see.
And I reckon Christian taught Kurt Angle the art of the late kick-out because his kick-outs towards the end of the end with a boop psycho nerve written down here for some reason. It was as late as Kurt Angle ever did. So I assume that Christian taught him that as well because he's the best.
Not as late, because did Angle ever leave it too late? And you're like,
He was the best though, wasn't he? It was always as late could be.
Yeah, he wasn't. I can't imagine it. Was he one for looking at the referee much as well?
No.
No, he didn't. He just timed it.
It's these kids today that do that, isn't it?
Aye. Not Turbo Floyd, though.
He's not a kid, is he? He's 75.
He's the youngest man in the world. We'll get on to Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn opens the show and mentions Kevin Owens being traded to SmackDown. He says it feels weird being here by himself, but he's excited for his best pal. Sami says he wants to prove that he's a World Heavyweight Champion level superstar. But the Judgment Day interrupt, and Rhea Ripley says they're here to eliminate him permanently. They're here to kill him.
They're going to kill him, yeah.
now in the ring. But Jey Uso makes the save, so that's good.
This is the start of Sami Zayn becoming the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania.
Don't do this.
It is. He mentioned that he's going to be a World Heavyweight Champion. Drew McIntyre later in the night, as we'll get on to, was saying, "You're not material, pal. You're not World Champion material."
Takes it off Drew.
It could happen.
Yeah, Drew versus
In
Sami
fact,
at WrestleMania.
it should happen.
It
That
should,
should be what they do.
That's really good, isn't it? I sort of thought, it's just going to be Kevin and Sami somehow at WrestleMania, but I prefer that.
I thought Sami and Jay, but that could be like a bump in the road.
Yeah.
Oh, Sami needs to win the Rumble. Sami's going to win the Rumble.
Yeah,
You've
Sami.
heard it here.
Where's Cody Elimination Chamber? Yeah.
Yeah.
It writes
We've
itself.
done it. We've booked it.
Jey Uso once again proved he's a very nice man because Sami was like, "Oh, it's because of Jey that Kev's gone," but Jey was out there being nice to Sami.
Yes.
Even though that could have gone either way.
Well, we go backstage where Sami tells Jay that it should have been Owens having his back out there, and the fact he isn't here is all Jay's fault. Jay walks off, but Sami chases after him and apologizes.
Sami should be having to go Cody, shouldn't he? This is all Cody's fault. Cody's the one who made this trade a thing.
Yeah, it is Cody's fault.
And then it's backfired on Cody because he's not been traded to SmackDown to get it Roman.
No. Oh, that makes me still worry that it's not going to be him at... Oh, but they can always change stuff on the road to WrestleMania, can't they?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it showed that Sami, although a babyface, has human flaws. Yeah, okay. Shinsuke Nakamura says he's going to crush Ricochet like a bug in their match tonight, and it's happening right now. Nakamura wins.
Read it as you've written it.
Shinsuke Nakamura says he's going to crush Ricochet like a bug in their match tonight, and it's happening right now.
We need to fire someone who's writing these scripts on Raw because between that line there, the bug on the dirty floor, and Damian Priest calling Cody and Jay the undisputed tag team idiots in the opening segment.
The undisputed tag team
It's
idiot.
not the most inspired stuff for the minute is on Raw.
No, that's true. Get Freddie back in. Get that woman back in who brought her award. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, right.
Or was he a... No, he was a writer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Nakamura wins. He beats Ricochet in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Ricochet does a big jump out of the crowd.
Beautiful stuff.
There was a George Mizanin lookalike helping Trevor do the spot, holds his hand. So big ups to George Mizanin's bastard son.
That's not who you want to be compared to, is it? That man's a fan of this. I don't like George Miz.
Why not?
He is quite cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he gave birth to the Miz. Well, he helped in the process, didn't he?
The Miz is so handsome. I'll just leave the sentence there. I'll just end it
I
there.
think in his younger days, George Miz might have been a good-looking guy.
reckon he
The
might have been-
moustache doesn't do
Joel,
any favours, does it?
See if there's a picture of young George Mizanin, because I reckon
I don't know if you saw
he
that
could look like
on
Turbo
camera.
Floyd.
But when Joel opened the browser there, the last picture was just Turbo Floyd sticking his tongue out going... the Miz dad. George Mizanin, young. You know what, actually? I can see what you... Oh my God.
One along, please, Joel, from the one you've selected. So we're seeing Daddy George. Oh! Groovy. Oh, there's the Miz's mom. Is this the Miz? Oh, it is the Miz.
That is unbelievable.
Ding dong.
It's a bit...
Look at the cat.
It's a bit Dharma, isn't it?
Dharma.
Do you not think?
It's a bit Arn Anderson.
It's the most shagadelic photo I've ever seen. He looks unbelievable.
He is a good-looking guy,
Oh
isn't
my
he?
God! They're the most 60s couple.
What the hell happened to George?
But Miz isn't that old. So this wasn't the 60s
Miz must
at
have been
all.
70s born, surely.
I'll find out.
Late 70s, I reckon.
What an album this is. Oh yeah, go for it.
Has he got a Wikipedia article? He's not big enough for a Wikipedia article.
No, George Miz.
Yeah.
No.
65 to 70, apparently. There's still 24 pictures to go, Joel.
That cake said, "Happy first birthday, Michael. Love Mummy and Daddy." Oh.
Look at George. That's where he's forming into his true self there.
He must have had a rough few years.
Oh my God, he looks like he looks now. The Miz.
And George?
George looks like Ron Jeremy.
Who's that?
Who's that woman?
What happened to George?
Look at the pin and tail on the George.
Oh, God.
I like how that would be a family thing, and it is pin the tail on the George.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
the
wait,
dad of the
go back one. I didn't know the Miz met Edge.
It's Dog the Bounty Hunter, isn't it?
It was Buggy Eye. Oh,
Oh,
they're
that
a
is
wholesome.
nice.
They're a lovely family, aren't
Yeah, they are.
I can't believe Shane McMahon punched his dad.
It's proper all-American stuff, isn't it?
is. I bet. 'Cause
The Miz is disgusted in that
I
picture.
think. I think Miz is like. I think he was like a star, like baseball pitcher at high school, and that. It's just the American dream, isn't it?
It is white picket fences and all that.
Yeah, Marion Maurice, the American Dream.
Right then.
What were we talking about? Ricochet and
Unbelievable.
Nakamura.
Oh,
Yeah, he did a big flip, didn't he?
Nakamura's-
Ricochet's finished, didn't he? Because Nakamura lost like he did to Rollins, and now Ricochet's lost to Nakamura.
That demonstrates why the Miz has such longevity, but it's never quite worked for Ricochet in WWE. 'Cause we've spent ages there talking about the Miz and then going, "Oh, Ricochet did a flip." A big flip. Oh.
Nakamura's done, isn't he? Another main event push in 2026,
I
maybe?
thought he was going to win. I guaranteed to you. I was like, yeah, Nakamura's going to win that last man standing match. I was wrong. And because I thought my logic was, because the only way there is down for him now. And it is.
Now Trevor's even further down than
'Cause-
Nakamura.
Yeah, Nakamura won. as well.
Nakamura won.
But he did a cool like wall walk flip, easy for me to say. So that was good for him. Yeah.
Ricochet had to slightly chuck himself through the table, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that like blatant.
Do you see the line he said when he went past the hurricane backstage?
No.
Trevor, he went stand back.
Hey!
There's a hurricane.
Bit of a gag in a last
Yeah.
man standing, not a last
Wonderful.
man standing match.
Falls
Count
count, innit?
anywhere match. I got quite excited because I love it when they go backstage. And it's like, oh, this is great. This is going to be like SmackDown 2 or something. They're going to go all over the shop. But all they did, they went there and then almost immediately came back out.
Well,
Michael Hayes in the corner with a belt round his arm.
Jesus.
That was a bit dark.
Wow.
Go watch the Iron Claw.
Yeah. Tegan Knox is hanging out with the Cowie girls backstage while Nikki Cross lurks in the background. They're interrupted by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Chelsea calls Tegan Knox a naive rookie who's been manipulated by Natalya. Tegan says Becky Lynch taught her never to let anyone disrespect her, and the heels back off.
It was classic from Chelsea Green this segment, claiming she took Piper in when that's just not true at all. Asking Tegan, is it Tegan? Is it? I don't know what your name is. Classic stuff. It's all about Chelsea still, but yeah, Tegan was also there. And then she said she's going to slap her in the face or something.
Yeah. She wasn't scared. She was very Scott Hall. She did a bit of that. Yeah.
And then Nikki Cross was there being weird in the background.
They don't know what to do with her, do they?
No.
Not a clue.
She was just hanging out with them before they shot it, and they were like, "Do you want to get in on it?"
That's the first time she's been on Raw in ages, as far as I can recall.
She needs the sassy Southern music back. That was a weird time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they need to do something with her because she's
Pretty good.
different and good, yeah. Piper Niven beats Natalya in a singles match. Chelsea joins for the beatdown, but Tegan runs out to help fight them off. So, yeah.
I'm asking Drew McIntyre to stand up here and be counted because they have a view of Scotland. Do you see Piper's new attire? No. She's got like I don't know how it's like I don't know how to pronounce describe it. Sorry, like it looked like armor. It had like leather things dripping off it. You know, Drew comes with his leather kilt on.
They think it's all Game of Thrones.
He's got a sword. Yeah, we've got the witches. They need to change their opinion of Scotland. Everyone apart from Joe Coffey is of the same strand.
Oh, aye, the Gallus boys are they're pints and that.
Yeah, but even Wolfie has his hair done like a Viking.
That's just his choice.
Yeah, but Joe Coffey, the raging alcoholic's the only one who isn't that particular kind of Scot, apparently.
You missed last week, Adam. Joe Coffey lost a match because he stopped to go to the announce desk and get a pint glass and just have it. It was a bar brawl, man. It was a bar brawl.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
Yeah, but every time he's on camera, he's got a stein. He's got a real problem with Joe Coffey.
Oh,
Pints, pub.
I feel like the kind of not part of the segment itself, but like the little pre-banter when Tegan's hanging out with the Cowie girls. I'm pretty sure they were talking about going for a pint.
The Cowie girls.
And then out to Tegan, and then after that, once the heels have like gone away and they've resumed their conversation, I'm pretty sure it was like, oh yeah, about that pint anyway. I don't know, just hearing things.
Oh.
The Cowie girls aren't about that.
It would fit. No, I reckon they are. I reckon that's what they build
To
up
start
to.
the night, yeah.
And then they get the disco biscuits out and
Yeah.
party hard all night long.
They're mad, them.
They are really crazy.
The Judgment Day are chatting backstage when Rhea Ripley arrives late. They ask where she's been, and she's a bit vague about it. None of your business. Dom asks Rhea if he needs him in a corner for her. Dom asks Rhea if she needs him in her corner for her match tonight, but she says she'll be fine. Which would prove her undoing.
Yes. Is this where Priest says he felt sorry for JD after getting beaten up last week or not? Is that a different segment?
Maybe.
Yeah. I thought that was a weird turnabout from Priest.
He's the last person to say that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very strange.
Because it is funny how he's obsessed with Drew, even though he had a big, at this point, tag team title match coming at the end of the night. So you're thinking, oh no, it's going to blow up in his face, isn't it?
Who's Rhea been chatting to? We might get a clue in the next segment. Seth Rollins arrives and talks about Drew letting the Judgment Day attack him last week, which I think's a little bitch move from Seth Rollins. Oh, it's a bit harsh there.
I
but-
thought it was brilliant from Triple H, this. Because I didn't spot those two last week.
No, same.
God,
This
it
is
was
the
a shock.
best Triple H one of them that I've ever seen.
Because it was actually subtle.
Drew arrives and says Seth can take care of his own business. Seth implies that maybe Drew has enlisted the Judgment Day and shows footage of Drew chatting to Rhea Ripley in the background of a segment in the distance last week. Drew says Rhea approached him, not the other way around, and it's none of Seth's business. Seth brings up Drew's failings in the past, which was really mean. Brought up Clash at the Castle. Didn't need to do that. Too far. And says that at Crown Jewel, Drew will have no one to blame but himself.
He also, Drew McIntyre, labelled Jey Uso a thirsty creep.
Still hates him.
My
Which
God.
is good continuity. Just
It
because
is.
they're both faces doesn't mean, well, Drew's going to be a
They
heel.
got history, haven't they? They got history. I thought it was a really, this is going to sound strange and weird. It was a really real sounding promo from both of them.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It did feel really, really natural. You say that Drew's going to turn heel. You're right. He will do. I'm really liking this. I don't even know if he's even a tweener at this
But that-
point.
yeah, that's sort of-
There is depth there, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's just justified and
It
everything.
is, yeah.
isn't it?
Everything he's
Yeah.
saying he's right about, but then he's going to do something nasty.
But I'm going to be on his side. Come
yeah,
on.
you're going to cheer him still.
Yeah, I think
cool
so.
heel.
Yeah, cool. Unless it's
Not a
against
cool
Sammy,
heel.
and then
Yeah.
We recap Logan Paul calling out Rey Mysterio after his boxing match. Did anyone see any of the boxing?
No.
Why would you waste your time watching that?
I found some dodgy highlights just to see what it was like. Real legitimate ones. And the Logan Paul match, the other bloke, Dylan, just does that the whole match. Doesn't try.
right.
Swings an occasional punch, but he's not even trying. He knows he's not going to win. Gets to right to near the end of the fight, of the last round, and he just tries to take him down. And the ref's like, "What are you doing?" And then he does it again and gets DQ'd.
Oh, is it a DQ? I haven't
which
followed
must
it at all.
which must have messed with so many betting slips.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that. And then the KSI one, apparently I didn't see any highlights of that one, but apparently the ref was just letting KSI clinch way too much, and Tommy Fury was, I don't know. It's just
What was the drama with the scorecard?
Dunno.
Somebody photographed the scorecard. I think it was in the KSI
Oh, they added it up
match,
wrong.
And
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
they. No idea.
Just
Doesn't
watch
interest
real
me.
boxing.
Yeah. This is-
Even though that's not in the best place as well at the moment. But
apparently not all. Usually on these cards, they've got real pro boxers building up to the YouTuber main event or whatever.
Yeah.
But this one was all influencers or all YouTubers or whatever. And I knew Luke was watching it down south. He was watching it with some of his mates, and I messaged him like, "How's the boxing going?" And he said, "Yeah, there's a tag team boxing match on at the minute." And then he put like sports entertainment, and it was real. I thought he was joking.
You got
but-
tag in and out?
I thought he was joking,
Or
but I'm-
tornado rules?
no tagging and out.
Tornado would be more fun, wouldn't it? That'd be chaos
Well,
all
yeah.
over this shot.
No, but it was real. But I don't know if you just did one round in, one round out, or if you actually had to go over to your corner. Do you cut off the ring and dive for like the hot tag?
Proper boxing fans must be livid.
Yeah. Bro, you're quite a boxing
yeah,
fan.
what we're waiting for is just bloody Anthony Joshua to get smashed by Fury and then real boxing can come back.
Right.
I wish he'd stop running away.
Well, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight Tyson. Although for that amount of money,
If you're Anthony Joshua, though, you got to.
yeah, he's not gonna harm him that much.
Well, it'd be the end, wouldn't it, at the top level for
The end
him.
of his career.
Yeah.
But he get a big payday.
He would.
Boxing analysis.
Yes.
Where are we up to?
Ludwig
Oh,
versus Gargano.
Ludwig Kaiser beats Johnny Gargano after interference from Giovanni Vinci. That's how the ring announcer says it, so it's allowed.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to do that.
As is Piper
Yeah.
Niven.
And Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
She's good, isn't she?
She is wonderful.
Yeah, really good.
My not wrestler award winner.
Yeah, half yeah.
I follow her on Instagram and I watch those videos go up.
When she's ringing
When
out.
she's ring announcing, and I think she's the best they've had. I think she has the potential to be the best they've had
Yeah.
maybe ever. I think she's that good. She's so good. She's properly passionate about it all.
Really good.
Really into
And
it.
I like how she changes it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Fink. and
She's
all
one
that.
of those annoying people though. Like she can also like sing and like play instruments, and she's just a really talented person all around.
Yeah.
You can sing
Disgraceful. I can't sing.
and dance.
I certainly can't dance. That was more. I'll take the singer.
Ludwig was doing a lot more like little character things in between the moves I noticed in this match, which is very worrying for Giovanni Vinci.
Sneering a lot.
Yeah, well,
he's
like
getting the push.
He got that promo package last week, didn't he, out of nowhere, and now he's doing more stuff here. We're going to the back. There was not much else to say about the match. I thought it was just a thing that sort of happened. I was shocked that maybe Gargano got pinned so early in his return.
Yeah, I found that a bit. Maybe Ciampa's out for longer than we thought.
Yeah. But yeah, it just feels like he's going nowhere again on the main roster, which is they've gone down the weird humor route with him a little while ago, which didn't work because it wasn't funny, and now they're going down. I don't know what route they're going down this time.
Just the Johnny Gargano route. Yeah. I thought Vinci did a great job, but we'll keep a hold of that bit of information for later on.
Yes.
I thought he did his job perfectly.
He did. He directly influenced the match finish, didn't he?
Yeah. Backstage, Indy Hartwell asks Becky Lynch, hey, when am I getting a title shot? I don't remember the last match she wrestled.
Indy Hartwell?
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
Seeing as she never seeing as she never lost the title.
She went to NXT recently, didn't she, for that multi-woman match?
She was yeah, you're right.
Can't remember who else was in the match.
Becky agrees and heads to Adam Pearce's office to make it official, but bumps into Rhea Ripley. They have a tense stare down. Everyone's gunning for Becky. Everyone wants her belt.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. The camera almost cut off Becky saying Becky 2 belts at the very end of the segment, so I'm going to guess it's Survivor Series. It'll be Rhea who retains, maybe.
Yeah.
At Crown Jewel versus Becky Lynch for both titles or something. I don't know.
One little detail that I didn't enjoy. I thought it would have been good if they'd actually addressed it. Is that Candice LeRae was in this segment with Indy and didn't look at all upset that her husband had just been battered.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And it didn't ruin the show or anything, but I would have thought, oh, that's really good if they,
Yeah.
Because they've done it before with like Seth and Becky and stuff.
Maybe that's the way to get people caring. Just heard like, I want a divorce.
Oh my God.
I don't care.
I was already, no.
I'll take the ween with me.
What about the kid and the dog?
Yeah, I'll take the ween with her.
Padme, the dog. That's the name of their dog.
And the son's called Qui-Gon.
Neither of you are Star Wars
Qui-Gon?
people.
Not Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon Jinn. It's Liam Neeson in Star Wars. Neither of them have seen Star Wars.
I've seen
Star
episode
Wars.
1.
What? I thought
I've
you
seen the
never...
first one. The number 3. Is
Four.
that? 4.
Yeah, like Luke Skywalker and that. Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
You've seen one,
Episode 1.
and you've seen the first one made for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them all.
You've not seen them all.
But you're film man, Joel.
Yeah, you're
Not
film boy.
bothered about Star Wars.
No, Joe
Oh.
likes cinema, not film. But I've not seen like the last two.
Last Jedi's the
Yeah, I've
best.
not seen that one.
That's the best one.
Of all of the Star Wars.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
How
Look
do you
how
know?
smug he is there, because he's given a controversial take. Yep, that's right.
How do you know
Everyone-
though if you've not seen them all?
No, it's probably not. It's my favourite though, but everyone hates it.
Is that the bloke who directed Knives Out? Is that his
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
When that video went up, that short of you going, I didn't realise that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. Which I'm not being a dick.
Darth Vader's Anakin,
Right.
and
I had no
he
idea
is
either.
Luke's dad. The line, I am your father.
That's Anakin, the little boy from the
Yeah,
pod
he's
racing
Darth Vader.
game.
He
Yeah.
grows up to be, from the pod racing game,
I had no idea
on the
either.
PS1. He grows up to be Darth Vader. Yeah.
Have you Nelson Mandela that line like everyone does? Is that right?
The line is, no, I am your father. But everyone goes, Luke, I am your father. But Luke's just asked him a question. Or he says, like, you killed my father. And he goes, no, I am your father. And then the music swells.
Harry Enfield is a good Nelson Mandela impersonation.
I'm not even that big a Star Wars fan, I think. Harry Enfield.
Do you know that's like
Famous impressionist Harry Enfield does a goodness.
that show he had in the mid-noughties?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he had a Nelson Mandela character on, like he was Nelson Mandela. It was very inappropriate.
Where have we... Oh, because the Mandela effect. Yes, okay.
Yeah. But I've never taken to Star Wars. Or Harry Potter, which is allegedly, I saw on Instagram Reels the other day, essentially Star Wars but with wizards.
Not true.
Well, this lad
Voldemort's not Harry's dad.
This lad put it out step by step of every single thing that's the same in
You
Star
can do
Wars
that
and
with
Harry
any
Potter.
story in Western media. I don't know.
People say that about Avatar, it's just Pocahontas.
I can see that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they go and colonize another planet, and like, but then he falls in with the local, like the aliens on the planet.
Gotcha.
It's just that, but with a different.
What
community.
are they, aliens?
I've never seen it,
Oh, right.
but have you seen Avatar?
The first one, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's 2 now, isn't there? Hasn't he signed a contract for like 5?
Yeah.
He's going to be dead by the time.
Too many.
Yeah, that's mad.
I don't know what they're
Film
called.
podcast now.
Just blue people. I don't know.
Smurfs.
Just blues.
No, they are called something. I can't remember.
I got a question right about Avatar at the pub quiz last
What
week.
was it?
It was, what's the land called or something? What's the planet called? And it was the guy on the quiz mic. He goes, "To give you a clue, it's very posh jewellery." And I was like, "Oh, it must be Pandora then, obviously."
I was thinking brooch.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Never go to the Hard Rock Cafe quiz, though. Never go.
Good.
It's a pencil and paper affair, which is never legitimate. There's booths at the side there, and we were watching people. We finished 4th. It was admirable.
Yeah, it is admirable.
Because we didn't cheat.
You probably finished higher.
We were the real winners, yeah.
Didn't you say the main team's score was like outrageous?
Out of
The win-
60, they were getting 55s and 57s.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come off it. We got 46 for the record and finished
not
4th.
bad.
Very good.
For a shoot score, it was good.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre meets with Sami Zayn and tells him that he respects him for turning things around after leaving the Bloodline. I like that Drew's still hanging on to this grudge a little bit because the Bloodline cost him the title.
But also, he's not giving Jay the chance.
Yeah, but
know
Jay
why I
was
said that
more.
like that.
Sammy's proven himself now.
But he's not giving Jay the time.
Well, he hates
Jay can't fast forward time.
No, you're right. Yeah.
If he approached Sammy in the corridor a few months ago, no doubt Drew would be saying the same thing to Sammy.
Possibly.
Dickhead.
However, he doesn't think Sammy will ever become world champion if he continues to be so trusting.
There it is. The line for the WrestleMania promo.
Sammy says if Drew doubts him, how about a match next week? Just a friendly match. Drew agrees. I'm excited. Good storyline.
It is really
Yes.
great.
I don't really have any more to add.
No?
Rhea Ripley cuts a promo in the ring and says the women's division will always be hers. She has a match against Shayna Baszler, but Nia Jax tries to interfere, only to be intercepted by Raquel Rodriguez. Then Zoe Stark joins in too, and the brawl eventually spills into the ring. The match is thrown out, and it's Zoe who stands tall. I think she last knocks Nia out of Nia's already getting out of the ring, and she sort of kicks her a bit.
Good.
Yeah. Aye. This was a bit crap, I thought.
I thought the match between Rhea and Shayna it had its highlights.
I think
Like
that's why I thought it was crap, because I was enjoying the match. Yeah.
Rhea took a bump on her shoulder, which could have gone very wrong. I thought very easily off the arm drag kind of thing. And there was a reversal out the riptide into an arm bar, then a deadlift riptide from that arm bar. This was wrestling action.
That is wrestling action.
That happened, yeah.
I'm loving the idea of the 5-way. I think it's a really good way to get around the fact that the depth isn't there at Rhea's level.
Yeah.
So throw them all in together
Yeah.
and then still have Rhea win.
If she still wins, if that, which I think she will.
Yeah, I don't think they'll take
It'll
the
be
belt
her
off
or
her yet.
Nia, but surely not.
Oh, they would do.
They would, but not. Oh, they would. They totally would.
Oh,
because they just put the
oh,
belt.
I've realised it. What?
Nia
busted Becky's nose around Survivor Series, didn't she?
Oh, don't go back to that.
Oh,
though.
Becky versus Nia.
Becky
No,
versus
they
Nia.
just-
I made you the man that you are.
Yeah.
They just put the tag straps back on Judgment Day. They've got Dom with the North American
Yeah, they've all got the
title.
belts, yeah.
And they'll want that all the way to War Games. She's not losing that. She might lose it after.
Oh yeah, it's going to be War Games, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw a post on Reddit recently that I agreed with. It was like I kind of missed the 5-on-5.
Yeah.
I'd like maybe if there was one War Games and one normal.
What are the classic Survivor Series elimination tag
Yeah.
matches?
There was one year when one of the early years when we were first doing like YouTube reactions and stuff, maybe 2016, which was an unbelievable match. It was the one with like
Shane McMahon and Jericho.
it was
When Roman spears Shane and knocks him out.
all three of the Shield are in it, but on different teams. But all team up to do a Shield bomb, and everyone goes mad.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
James Ellsworth gets Strowman counted out because he grabs his leg from outside the ring, under the ring.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, aged really well. But it was a funny moment at the time. AJ Styles was in it as well. But yes, this is this. I do agree that I didn't really like this segment very much, but I am excited. I think it's a clever match to have at Crown Jewel. Rhea later complains to Pierce about the interruptions. He books this 5-way title match at Crown Jewel. She storms off, and then Indus Sher turn up with Jinder.
I was...
Mr. Pierce, let's talk.
Yeah.
And he's willing, he's receptive. Yes, let's talk.
What about, though?
Star Wars.
No, what was it from earlier on? Gimp chat or something? Said a small talk?
Pleb
chat or
Gimp
something.
chat. That sounds like a fetish chat room. Like, welcome to Gimp chat.
Yeah, don't Google Gimp chat, whatever you do.
Unless you're into that and of age, and do what you want. Listen, like, I'm the admin of Gimp chat. I wanted to get some clicks now.
Do you reckon on the podcast, if it's like a chat roulette sort of situation, we could go on gimpchat.com, which I assume is a thing. Just have a quick little chat with...
Joel's cursor moved towards the Google Chrome. Oh,
I want to know the other half live, you know?
other browsers are available. Oh man.
Yeah, but
other browsers are available. Like Gimple, I wanted to say. It's like Google for Gimps. What's that?
I'll look on my phone.
Yeah.
the intrigue's there, isn't it?
It's a real website.
It's on there.
Hey.
What happens on the homepage, Joel?
Oh.
Gimp chat.
Gimp chat.
Image
Gimpchat.com.
manipulation. Oh, is it AI?
Oh, it's Gimp, the photo editing software. That's a shame.
Hey, that's an old school forum layout.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
PHPBB, I think that is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or V Bulletin, actually.
Gimp chat, where imagination meets innovation.
Is it still active?
Yeah,
it is.
What? But look at the state
nice.
of the header. Oh, that's awful. All right then.
That was a shame.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a wee. I can power through until the end of Raw. How are you guys doing for a break? Should we have a break
Fantastic,
after
yeah.
the end of Raw?
If you'd like to.
I would like to. Adam Pearce agrees to Becky's request for a match against Indy next week, as long as Shawn Michaels is okay with it, because presumably he's the sanctioning body of that title. Xia Li turns up and accuses Becky of ducking her before saying she'll challenge her in her own time, which I've put here makes no sense, really. You could argue that Nakamura did the same, but his was a deliberate mind game, whereas Xia's gone, "You're avoiding me," and Becky's gone, "Okay then," and she's gone, "Oh no, wait." Jade Cargill turns up as well, but Becky tells her to get in line.
Which is what Becky would say.
Yeah, she's the man.
But AEW did better earlier on.
Yeah, I think so.
I know you shouldn't make it a contest, but that's what people do these days.
love it,
So I'm going to feed into that.
That's fair enough. I can't work out. Becky's got a hectic schedule coming up, all these challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Rue, eh? She's going to end up like Brian Pillman Jr.
Rue hangs out with them sometimes backstage, doesn't she? Hangs out with them. They take care of Rue as her parents.
And then also Piers is the segment where he goes, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw," and then Wade on commentary after the segment goes, "The women's division getting stronger." Blah. So about Jade. So
it seems like it might be Raw then.
yeah.
Jay plays down the early attention with Sammy in a backstage interview, and Cody's just so excited to defend his tag team titles. He's really, he was buzzing.
about it.
Yeah.
He's a great politician, Cody.
Oh,
He will be a great politician because he waffled there for like a minute and said "nout."
Yeah. But I thought it was quite foreboding, knowing then what happens next. Shouldn't have taken a drink when I was about to speak. That was silly. Gunther beats Bronson Reed in a big boy IC title match. Really nice stuff. Later on, Gunther congratulates Ludwig Kaiser for beating Gargano, but criticizes Vinci for not essentially injuring Gargano, is what I took from it.
Yeah, I think that was it, wasn't it? Like, he played his role perfectly.
And the other bloke was the one in the match with him. It's deliberate, isn't it? It's favoritism. Yeah. The match was fun.
I thought it was amazing. The thing, all these Gunther matches, and they're always like the highlight of Raw. I can't think of many examples of people who have gone up against Gunther and come out the other end looking any worse. It's elevated everyone.
The only one I can think that was a bit disappointing was maybe the Riddle match.
Oh yeah.
And it was still a good match.
It hasn't harmed anyone. Like
No,
everybody who's
yeah.
been in there with, they're just so good. That powerbomb at the end.
Yes.
I enjoyed how
Fantastic stuff.
desperate Gunter looked at large parts because very consistent with how Bronson's been used recently. She's been squashing folk, and Gunter was also struggling. Looked like he really hurt his meaty clackers after Bronson did the Bam Bam bump, like Tarzan Bam Bam.
Yep.
Meaty clackers was squashed there. DVD from Bronson. Again, the DVDs this week between Christopher Daniels and this one.
Yes.
Ooh! As I say, yeah, the final spot was a
probably the best match on this week's Raw. Yeah, surely. It's got to be.
Yeah. And also
the main event was all right.
The respect shown by Gunter at the end there, it meant a lot.
It does mean a lot when he does that.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't do it often.
No, I know he doesn't.
So it meant a lot to me personally.
Your delivery was really
Shed a tear for Bronson when it happened.
And I don't mind the heel versus heel clash. It seems like something that Triple H is a bit less afraid of than Vince maybe would have been.
Because Triple H is evil.
Because he loves heels. There's too many heels though. They're everywhere.
People love seeing Gunther wrestle. So yeah, he's a heel. But
He wrestle anyone.
Yeah.
In a backstage interview, The Miz complains about not appearing until this late on the show. He says that Pierce should be fired and Nick Aldis should be the GM of both shows. Nia Jax interrupts and says she's still standing after the brawl earlier. She says, "I'm still pretty. I've not been punched up." She says she does the squashing on Monday Night Raw. She leaves and Miz tries to carry on his interview, but they're out of time.
They're Baron Corbining him.
He can get away with it. He can survive it.
That
He's
gimmick.
The Miz.
Yeah. I'm glad that The Miz brought up Kevin and Sammy being rivals because everyone seems to have forgotten about that, but he's the only one who hasn't on screen. And then Nia, The way she just walked in, said her promo, then walked off, I was just a bit confused. Like, why was it happening then? What was it achieving? Who was it for?
I enjoyed the Miz's he was kind of outraged and amused. Like, oh, another person's interrupting me. Okay, then. I quite enjoyed that. But yeah, the Nia thing was a bit weird. What's Miz going to do now?
I don't even know. Probably fight Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you remember when she was going to get with Enzo Amore?
Yep.
That was a weird storyline.
That only ended because he got sacked, right?
Yeah,
They were
guess so,
actually.
yeah,
I think it was
time.
just starting. Yeah.
Remember when Bliss was going to get with Braun Strowman?
What, after the mixed match?
Yeah, they were
challenge
like
stuff?
they went in for a kiss once, but then
Oh yeah.
yeah, you sounded really intrigued.
Oh,
How would that work?
That looked really nice.
He's up there. She's down there.
Right, Alpha Academy are doing Pilates with Akira Tozawa. The New Day.
No. Have you been watching that thing on BBC One recent, The Reckoning?
No.
Because Akira Tozawa was very much vibes of that for me
What
in
is
this
it?
segment. It's about James Savile.
Oh,
And I regret bringing it up on the podcast, but that's all I thought about. And I'm a kind of guy who, when I think something, I just say it.
what you've done is you've compared Akira Tozawa to.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it the attire?
It was the attire and the workout he was doing.
He was always doing fun runs and that, wasn't he? He was in
Yeah.
sports gear.
Because there wasn't much. It was all
was
round
like,
there,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Oh, creepy old man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Akira's been watching The Reckoning with Steve Coogan?
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Sam's watched it.
I've watched it
Is
as
it
well.
good?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it was a tough one for Steve to take on, but he knocked out the park.
It's not a role I would have been if I was as big as Steve Coogan is. I would have stayed well clear of that. I'd have no desire to.
Yeah, his performance is. I mean, it's going to win a BAFTA, isn't it?
Right.
I,
Okay.
I found it quite uneasy throughout, but there was one bit, especially in the 4th episode, that I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. You know, when all of his victims are watching on TV and being super uncomfortable with seeing him. I think it was in the Celebrity Big Brother house.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, you've just made a program bringing all this up again. I found that really
Oh yeah,
difficult.
that is true.
And
They
I
are.
was like,
Yeah.
Well, I saw an interview with Coogan where he said that's the point of doing the show is to bring it all back and get the victim's point of view across. Apparently that was the reason.
Sam said that it did a good job because I was worried that it would really give a human side to him. Like if you're doing a biopic on someone, it's hard not to humanize them almost. But Sam was like, no, it does the job. It does the great. Yeah. Right, a bit serious there.
Yeah, the Yorkshire Ripper one's on ITV now as well.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it's all great.
All happy.
So if next week Tozawa's doing something weird like that, then we'll know that he's a fan of
driving a truck.
Yeah.
The curly
Next week we have the New Day versus Alpha Academy.
Sorry, New Day Interrupt. The New Day Interrupt setting up someone take Tozawa's iPlayer subscription off him. The New Day Interrupt setting up a tag match for next week. Everybody then dances with him. The New Day are really into it. They're like, oh, don't do it to him, Akira.
Yeah, we're going to find out who next week between the New Day and American Alpha Academy have the best hips in the business.
This was a weird segment.
Didn't
And
like this.
Weird that it was followed up immediately with a very heartwarming video of Kofi Kingston going to Ghana to open a library for children.
It's bothered me that they've done this, and I know Gable wasn't as involved in the comedic side of things as other people in the promo.
Yeah.
But he's just come off this Gunter stuff. He's still talking about getting the IC title shot. I don't want to see
I
him
get
doing the
it.
silly stuff right now.
I get it, but he's never lost that little silly streak he's got. Shush, please.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
Owen's
you're right.
favourite wrestler.
But this was the opportunity to push him and
Yeah,
get
you're
him
right.
doing the
Turn him
stuff
into a
which
bit
will
of-
be better. I love him right now.
Turn him
He's
into a bit of a
great,
Sami
but-
Zayn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's just on the back burner, hopefully for now, and that eventually he will be the one to beat Gunter. But you never know who it's going to be.
Do you think they're going that way?
I don't know, but that would be my preferred thing, I think. What about Raw?
Yeah, I think they might have missed the boat now.
Really?
I think many more weeks of this kind of stuff, unless it's going to be a kind of like Kofi Mania journey where he is just that entertaining for so long
Yeah.
that everyone does just get on board with him. Then when his moment comes, it'll be amazing. But
I hope it does.
yeah.
But yeah. And in the main event, Jimmy Uso, and you never believe it, Jimmy Uso interferes to have the Judgment Day win the titles back from Cody and Jay. And this caused ructions online. Everyone was like, but they did that funny press conference. And they were all like, laughing.
I get that because
Yeah, I
like
get
it was
it.
they were so fun
was
together,
a
and
breath
we've
of
not
fresh
seen
air.
any of it. Have we?
Yeah, no,
They've just taken
that's
it
it.
away like that.
Yeah.
Even just 2 more weeks would have been nice. But hey, maybe we're meant to be annoyed, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess that is true. But it's the whole X-Pac heat versus real heat discussion is always a weird one because I think there's a difference to me in hating a heel because you don't want to watch them. You can have a heel be hateable and still entertaining. And this decision to me, well, the more entertaining thing to do would have been to at least give them a bit more of a run.
Yeah.
But yeah, But maybe it's like what Ross said. They want Judgment Day to have all the belts for
I think
Survivor.
that's
Oh, no, that's what
probably
you
it.
said.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Matthew does that all the time, and I get furious, but it's so easy to do.
What, taking somebody's
Like,
analysis away from them?
I'll make like a blinding 10 out of 10 joke early on in the podcast.
Nice
and then
one, Ross.
Matthew, sometimes he's done it the second after I've said it.
He does it on purpose, I think.
Well, I do get wound up by it. Yeah. I'm like Vinci, and Ross is Ludwig Kaiser, and he's Gunther.
That's not the first time you compare to Ludwig Kaiser.
Who?
Me?
You?
Yeah.
What did I say?
No. You said I'm like Ludwig Kaiser. I'm saying that's not the first time I've been compared to him.
Oh, you? All right.
Me and him cut from the same cloth.
I thought you said that's not the first time I've compared you to Ludwig. I'm always like, all right, Ludwig.
I was just going to say, like, it was a good result for me after Kevin Owens getting drafted on SmackDown last week, because it was more of a shock than it would have been.
Yes.
It seemed quite formulated that Cody would have dropped the tag team title, then have gone to SmackDown, but no, that's not going to happen
That's
now.
true.
But yeah, maybe it's just a chance of like to completely give it a new paint of coat, as Bruce Pritchard might say, on the tag team title scene on the on Raw, because it feels like we've been doing Judgment Day versus Cody and or Jay and or Sammy and or Kevin for months now, which we probably have been doing.
I'm just generally a bit, and I like them all individually, and I find them generally quite entertaining. But especially when Roman's been gone, the Judgment Day have been everywhere and in every match and every segment, and interferences all the time. Now that the Bloodline now Roman's back with the Bloodline, there's going to be 2 loads of that going on, and I'm just worried that it's going to be too much faction bollocks. I don't know.
This is the time of year for faction bollocks, though.
Oh, it very much is the time of year for faction bollocks. I need a wee. Right, let's talk about the best brand in all of WWE.
Why did you stutter?
I knew it was a lie. NXT. First sentence sums it up. The show opens with the Bada Bing Bada Boom Battle Royal.
Cody Rhodes' invention, by the way.
It was a Cody invention. The final 3 teams are Chase U, the Creeds, and Garza and Carrillo. Have they got a name?
The fornicating cousins, I believe, is what they're called. They dream of each other at night and then wistfully go around to each other's apartments half naked.
Yes. Julius Creed eliminates Carrillo, but the referees are all busy stopping a brawl on the other side of the ring, so he gets back in and helps Garza eliminate the brothers. The Creeds interfere, though, in the final fall to help Chase U win the match and become #1 tag team contenders.
I thought it was a real shock to see Drew and Damien get eliminated straight away when they are, as we all know, 2 masters of their craft in that squared
What's
circle.
the deal with them?
That's
gimmick?
they're shooters.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
They got Charlie Dempsey, who's Regal's son.
Yeah.
They try to whizzle-wazzle a deaf man, but it didn't quite pay off.
Yeah.
You're going to have to explain that.
There's a trainee.
Miles Bourne.
Miles Bourne is there. He is deaf. He's really deaf, but he's it just kind of unintentionally made what they're doing more cruel.
Right, okay.
But they're not. It's not been over the top or anything. But he was a face for like a week and then rejoined them.
With you.
But they're being like harsh to him in training and stuff. They're like, "You're not good enough."
Yeah. I thought Wolfie had a world-class elimination. I want to have a party now because Wolfie... His elimination of BJ when he was battling on the apron with someone, Wolfie was, and he pulled the top rope down to send BJ flying.
Yes,
Fantastic elimination.
very good from Brooks Jensen, which we never call him anymore because
It's always BJ and JB.
JB and BJ.
Reggie.
son of Bull Buchanan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Familiar. I thought you were going to learn that and be like, "Oh no way."
No.
Oh, okay.
Reggie put his foot in it, didn't he, with his elimination?
What was he doing?
He got his own mud boys out there and the Brawling Brutes. What they called? OM.
I can't remember. OTM.
Out the mud.
Out the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're back in the mud because Reggie overzealously tried to help them by eliminating them both.
And I thought the ending of the match was majestic. The referees' backs were turned, dealing with the Brawling Brutes and the Mudmen on the rampway, having a brawl, by which point, they got whizzle-wazzled, didn't they?
You can't take Andre Chase lightly. He does have a pinfall victory over Carmelo Hayes.
Yes, he
which
does.
is still one of the most baffling
While wearing slacks.
decisions in NXT history.
I love Andre.
So do I.
I love
great.
Duke Hudson.
Yeah, Duke's funny, isn't he? Though?
I'm on side with Duke now.
Yeah, you
Were you not a
are.
fan?
Yeah, well,
Ross
no, I
was
didn't trust
suspicious of him for the longest time.
Didn't trust him.
It looked like he was trying to take over the university. But no, he's just...
No, he's just the MVP.
Oh, it's the MVP, Duke Hudson.
I'm not into Umberto and Angel.
Oh, the cousins.
Why have they got the Monster Energy logo on their chest?
So there was some vignettes where they had an argument because they're like, "Oh, we're just being shaggers, and that's not helpful for wrestling." So they're going to be serious now. Yeah. There was a series of vignettes in their respective apartments, which are identical, where they'd ring each other and be like, "I just had a dream about our grandfather. Yes, he would be disappointed in our legacy. Like, we're disrespecting his legacy. We need to be greater." And they both woke up one day and both had this claw mark on their chest. And they were like, "Oh, it's a sign. But now it's a tattoo Because someone went, "What's that tattoo about?" And he went, "Oh yeah, it's my granddad."
Yeah, they woke up with scratches. It's like my dermatitis on my hand. I scratched that at night time as well.
That's a great gimmick too.
Yeah.
I feel like they've never felt like more that they're suited to NXT. They don't like they come from the main roster, and I know they didn't do that much on the main roster.
Yeah.
But they've come down, and they're just they fit in NXT. They feel like indie guys.
And it's Korea's great, but I think Garza's potential is unreal. He's like the next Eddie Guerrero. Everyone was
Yeah, he
saying
is.
for a while. Yeah, it's just Blair Davenport cuts a promo on Gigi Dolan and wants to have a rematch with her at Halloween Havoc. There's more on that later on.
Who's writing her scripts, by the way? Another line was in there this week. She was like, she's speaking directly to Gigi Dolan, where she's like, if you want to prove that you are tenacious and resilient, then face me at Halloween Havoc.
Nick Aldis is
Who's making
it all
her
in.
talk like that?
Yeah.
Every week it is.
We get another Lexus King vignette. That's Pillman Jr. He talks about all the praise legends of the business have heaped on his dad, but he didn't know his dad, who was always on the road in hotel rooms. So how can he be expected to love him like everyone else does? Now he's going to make his name bigger than his dad's name ever was.
It's a fantastic gimmick.
Yeah.
I love the fact, and it's maybe one of the first times they've done it. They've got a proper, or they've given a proper reason to take somebody's name away. It works so well, and his delivery is amazing as well. I always felt he was a bit wasted in AEW, the stuff that they were doing with him, and I enjoyed the stuff they did in AEW, but I think he's got massive potential.
I was shocked last week because Matthew was convinced as well, and he hates Brian Pillman Jr. Yeah.
But the only questionable thing is his chin strap. That's as far as I can see.
Oh.
He's got a weird jet black chin strap.
It looks weird, doesn't it? Very
Very
80s.
strange, yeah.
Very odd. Carmella Hayes talks about sharing a ring with John Cena and Undertaker last week. Baron Corbin comes out and calls him a fanboy.
Yes.
You little mark. Maybe if he concentrated more on being a superstar rather than a fan, he'd still have his title. He also said, why don't you belong on that side of the guardrail? It was just really funny.
We've Tom'd the table.
Oh, the table takes a battering when Tom's on the podcast.
Does he get excited?
Just leans, doesn't he?
Oh, right.
But he also, when he gets excited, not like that. Dijak interrupts and says they should stop arguing because he's going to beat both of them anyway.
He got mugged off here, Dijak.
Yeah.
You wear sunglasses indoors, you stupid man, said Corbin to him.
Ilya Dragunov appears on the Tron and reveals that Cody Rhodes made one last change as last week's GM. He didn't, but they're retconning it, I think. Tonight's number one contenders match will have one extra entrant, Trick Willie.
There's a chance that Trick Willie. What's wrong with that?
I went for it and I immediately regretted it.
Why?
I'm not that guy. I'm just not that sassy.
Well, I think Trick Willie might be ever so slightly more popular.
I see what you did it. You went for it.
Well, he might be more popular than Carmelo at the moment, based off the pop.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm excited for both of their futures. No, I am.
Said that like Ringo Starr.
Both of their futures. I got that Trick Willie thing from the last pre-show. The Fastlane one was the best one in ages because Wade Barrett was on it, just taking the piss. And him and Booker had a competition where I don't know. You might have just been talking on the stream when this happened, but they had to both have a turn commentating over Trick Williams' latest entrance. And Booker went for it, but then Barrett yeah, Trick Willie. It was really, really funny. He enhanced the pre-show so much.
What was it? MC Bullhammer. That was the one.
Yeah. Rosenberg was fuming because he wasn't one of the cool kids with Booker and Wade.
Can't keep up.
Couldn't keep up. He's just at the other table going, obviously this match is going to be really good.
Oh, he's
Get
not,
on board,
not
Rosenberg.
paid enough money to be a cool kid, has he?
No.
No.
So Trick Williams is going to be in the match. Trick arrives, he comes out and joins the argument, which escalates into a brawl. The faces clear the ring, but Carmelo just really briefly starts to take his shirt off to attack him.
Do you notice what that shirt looked like?
No.
It looked like the leather jacket that a certain sexy boy wore in a barber shop.
Of course.
Shawn Michaels loves to shoehorn in references to his own career.
Yeah, he does.
He's done it a few times since he's taken the reins NXT, and this was the latest one. He had the leather jacket on, he went like that, but then put it back on.
The whole...
What was the triangular
Yeah,
things on?
proper,
I didn't notice
proper
that.
90s, yeah.
That's the most.
It's like 80s,
That's subtle for Sean because they're normally very. The whole breakup of Gigi and JC was.
Yeah, that was the barbershop as well.
That was the barbershop. There was also Roxanne Perez had a post-match collapse as well. Yeah, he loves himself.
He does.
Fallon Henley is talking to the.
To be fair, go back to Corbin. He's right saying the Trick did go behind Mello's back.
Oh, yeah.
And this is all John Cena's fault because last week Trick went off with John Cena to have a little chat. When's it time to go on your own, I think he says. And then John Cena's obviously told him, but then Trick hasn't told Mello. And now it's the time to go on his own.
Well, maybe he's interpreted John's advice wrong. We don't know that John told him. No, it does seem like Cena's done that.
Yeah, but I was wondering last week why Dijak was brought into the fold when he'd just been beaten by Eddie Thorpe. I know he beat up Eddie Thorpe in his tree, but he lost the match.
I think they needed someone to take the... Did he
Exactly.
take the fall?
I think he did, yeah.
You don't get intertwining storylines anywhere else in wrestling.
You don't.
NXT. Fallon Henley is talking to the women's breakout tournament entrants in the locker room. Tiffany Stratton turns up and brags about beating Fallon in the last edition of the tournament. It was a semi-final. Tiffany didn't win the tournament, but she's bragging that she eliminated Fallon from it, which is good petty heel stuff. I've just put Fallon as cross.
Fallon was called Fallon Huntley by Tiffany Stratton.
Got her name wrong.
Which is, I can see why Gigi Dolan now was pissed off that her name suggestion wasn't accepted because that's the second killer reference in NXT currently. I forget what Gigi...
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. They weren't. For any UK
They've been on
listeners,
Channel 4 and seen the documentary about Ian.
Awful.
What was Gigi's suggestion again? Began with a D. I can't remember what it was.
Don't.
It wasn't Dharma. But
Dennis Nielsen?
She wanted to be called Gigi something, but apparently they said no because of the serial killer implications when
I can't remember who it
Why
was.
is Gacy all
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
though?
That's literally what we said. Yeah.
And now Ian's there
And
as well.
Gigi, I assume, is after Gigi Allen.
Yeah.
Who wasn't a serial killer, but was a nutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Darby's is as well, isn't it?
Darby Allin,
that's-
Gigi Dolan,
that's
yeah.
spelling.
And they used to be married. Right. Okay, I've tried to do a little summary of these new lasses for the first round of the tournament. Carmen Petrovic has a sword and is a third-degree black belt. Jada Parker's agility is so slick it glides, and her athleticism is so smooth it slides.
I like the fact that
Carmen
Carmen's
wins, Carmen beats her.
has got the gimmick, and then Jada's got sass.
I like Jada more.
No, I don't know. Carmen's got 23 years of combat experience, she said as well, which I
She's
thought was
about
interesting.
23.
I know.
Flying out of the womb. What's going on?
Must be. But I thought this match was... This was a reminder, with all due respect, that this NXT is a developmental brand.
Yeah.
I wrote down I don't think either of these lasses will go far in the tournament. Obviously, Petrovic got through, but I don't think she'll get through another round. And I guess you could tell they were really new, but at least Carmen's man was there to cheer her on, which was nice to see.
The promo made me think that Jada was winning. And then
Really?
we got back to commentary, and I think Vic said to Booker, like, oh, you've already picked Carmen then, Booker? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well...
Booker just fancies them all, doesn't he? Biscotti! That's what he shouts at women.
Biscotti.
Biscotti, and I don't know what it's in reference to. Every week.
All I can think of is the Gym Class Heroes song Cookie Jar, where there's a breakdown where he compares different ethnicities of women to different biscuits. I've got a
How's it go, Jack?
I've got a thing for Milano Biscotti Italianos, and I'll never turn down some Oreos if you've got those. But a pecan Puerto Rican and them oatmeal raisin Asians.
That's a lot sexier than I thought it'd be.
Hazelnut Brazilians, macadamia, Caucasians, double stuff or thin mint. It don't matter.
That's quite good because
Double stuff or thin
immediately
mint.
my head went to like rich teas and digestives and stuff. I was like, how's that going to be?
Custard cream.
Custard cream.
Ginger nuts. Oh, we need a British version of that song. Double stuff or thin mint, it don't matter, you're getting it. Bit aggressive. But I've got a sweet tooth that'll never come loose, and the truth of the matter is, and then the chorus kicks in. Really good verse. One of the best rap verses of all time.
About biscuits.
Yeah, about biscuits. Natalia surprises Tegan Knox in the locker room. I'd be like, leave me alone.
Well, no, because Natalia sees big things in Tegan. Therefore, she had to go all the way to Orlando to be on the telly.
Tegan's been built up as, she's this plucky new prospect for about 5 years now. Get her to the next level.
Because her knee keeps giving way. Bless her.
The injuries have
Bless
not
her
helped,
cotton
yeah.
socks.
She's starting to look more different now. She's dressed a bit like sort of Jeff Hardy almost, I thought, especially on Raw.
She's got the hair dye, hasn't
The
she?
hair, she had the baggy, ripped jeans and that.
Wonder what
Yeah.
era Shawn Michaels that is.
Natalia says she wanted to be there for her during her match, which is right now. Tegan loses to Lyra Valkyria, who cuts a promo on Becky Lynch afterwards, saying she's going to take the title. Becky appears on the Tron and says she's been watching Lyra for... I've condensed this, but there was a lot of like shared history. Like, I remember watching you when you were coming up. We know the same trainers and stuff. But she says she's been watching Lyra for years. She knows she's going to be great, but Becky's better. And to even stand a chance against Becky, Lyra will have to make herself despise her.
I think the match itself, I think World of Sport would have been proud to house that match. the technicality on show. This is what Tegan needs to happen on Raw more often than NXT, and with some promo time as well for people to actually give a toss about it, because I still think on Raw, nobody really knows it yet, do they? So they don't really react to what she does. But this was like, she got all the maneuvers in here. It was a very good ding-dong battle. It was a bit of a weird finish because Lyra does the roundhouse kick and then seems to forget it's the finish because she sort of runs off for a second, then goes back for the pinfall. But it was a good match. And I think, Tegan needs this to happen more on Raw than NXT.
Yeah, definitely.
Longer matches. But I guess that now Natalya and Tegan, because the women's tag team champions came out, didn't they? I guess they're an official tag team now, and that's the feud.
Yes. And that's fair enough, I suppose.
Natalya doing a Jericho and tacking herself on to the hip-hop and happening thing of the day.
In the locker room, Carmelo complains to Trick about him breaking their agreement to go after the belts that they respectively lost. I was going to go after the main one, you were going after the North American one. Trick says that's not true. He's gaslighting him. Like, we never agreed on that. And Cena advised him, well, I've said to aim high. That's not exactly what he said. It was something vague, though. He's like, Cena told me my time is now.
Yeah, Trick asked him, like, well, how do you know when your time is?
Yeah.
Now, John didn't say your time is now.
But he basically encouraged him to go for it. Trick apologizes and they make up, but Carmelo gives Trick a suspicious look as he leaves.
Yeah, why was he pulling that face at the end after Trick was being the bigger man and just saying, soz, pal?
At this point, I was buzzing for that main event because I thought Carmelo's going to screw Trick and it's going to make them both more popular. And then Trick just wasn't in the main event.
He did screw Trick, though, right?
We don't know.
It is him, though, right?
Sure.
I don't follow it closely enough.
It's
got
to be.
It could be Nikita Lyons. It could be Blair Davenport.
It could be NXT Anonymous, whoever that. We still don't know. It's still going on.
Is that still going on?
No, we don't know.
Still don't know.
We don't know.
It's almost like they don't know. Backstage, Gigi Dolan spins the wheel and makes the deal for her match against Blair Davenport at Halloween Havoc, which is a 2-week event, just to remind everybody. So it's in 2 parts. This lands on a lights out match, which I thought meant unsanctioned, so therefore not a stipulation that could be on a wheel. But I'm worried it's going to be like the dark, spooky.
I'm sure
They did one last week, wasn't it, with that Wendy Chu?
Oh, the whimsical one.
It's just like, it was purple lighting, I think, last year. It's a no DQ match. Weapons, I think, encouraged. They used the Lego in it, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
It was her and Tiffany, I think.
Yeah.
All the stipulations on the wheel are just no DQ.
Yeah, they are.
And then there's
another one later as well, isn't there? Yeah.
And it lands on it, they go, oh.
Booker loved it, obviously. Yeah, he went mental.
But who gave GG control of the wheel? That's what I want to know.
Oh, she does what she wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Roxanne has to ask for permission later on, yeah.
Off the masters, or the mistress of ceremonies, I guess we could call her. Shotzi Blackheart.
I thought Scarlett Bordeaux was going to be involved.
She is.
Oh, she is.
Well, she got promoted last week, unless something's happened.
Okay.
In the last 7 days.
We get a heartbreaking update on Von Wagner's injury.
God. This is peak NXT right here. This was it.
He's finding it tough, but Robert Stone is there to encourage him every step of the way and says when he's back to please. I know that as soon as I finish this sentence, he's going to jump in with his Von Wagner impression and I'm scared.
No, I'm not.
Robert Stone is there to encourage him and says when he's back to 100%, he's going to finish the job.
I don't have an impersonation this week. Because I was left with a tear in my eye once again. That after, I like to call him Terry Spunk because of Come Tuesday. Hardcore Von Wagner is Terry Spunk. After Terry Spunk was put through the wall and also had the chairs bashed off his head by Bron Breakker, he was learning to walk again. And he's lost all the strength. He's lost all the strength in his arms.
Can't even pull the band.
The acting. We might talk about acting chops a bit later on in the podcast with Nick Wayne's mother, but this was of that same quality for me.
No, better than that.
No, Terry's acting was not very good here.
Rob Stone's, he can do all right.
He's a very earnest man, is Rob Stone, with his children and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Terry's facials here were absolutely fantastic.
I think I really enjoyed it because it's like the NXT that I don't get to see a lot.
Yeah.
And the whole head injury gimmick is so perfect for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the legitimate thing, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it is. It does work, yeah.
What is his deal? Can you explain it to me?
Von Wagner?
Yeah.
So basically, he was... I think they saw him as a proper main eventer at the start of NXT 2.0. So they pushed him very hard at the start.
He was immediately in the main event of that first show of NXT.
But he was wrestling fine, but he was cutting these promos that showed he can't do it. At that point in time, he couldn't cut the promos. Yeah. speaking about come Tuesday, this is going to happen to people, and then it became a
Come
meme.
Tuesday, yeah.
Thanks to us and nobody else.
We definitely originated.
Yeah, big time. We were first on the ball there. So yeah, over time, it's just become a big joke because of that promo and also the stuff that I've been doing. Like him and Kyle, very early on in
Kyle
NXT,
O'Reilly, yeah.
they had a lads' day out like we all do. We all go down to the local forest and caber toss and ride our bicycles.
They were learning to be a tag team together.
This is where the Cool Kyle era, right?
Yeah.
It was tongue in cheek though. This right?
What?
No, I think this is.
No,
I
this
think
is a hard.
This is serious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
So just to fill you in, Von
I
Wagner.
thought it was a joke.
No,
To give him
no.
his real, I think his real name is Carl Bloom, is it? To give him his
Carl
real
Bloom,
name. When he was a child, he had some sort of thing. What was it? Meant he had his head was split open.
Yeah,
from
when
ear
he
to ear.
was, from surgery, he's got like this scar.
So yeah, they've played on that with heart-tugging, emotional promos
That
over
went
recent
nowhere.
weeks. Then they had a bit of a joke segment where what was he doing? Because that all these heart.
Oh, the doctor, whoever she was.
Was that after that?
Von's trying to. He's got all these anger issues, and Robert Stone keeps on like, "What's this photo of you as a baby with a scar around your head?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it, Bob." And then he takes him to like therapy or something, and they're in the waiting room, and Von's like, "Oh, I don't want to be here. This is boring." And the therapist opens the door, and it's like a sexy woman, and he's like, "Hold my jacket," or like it's implied that he.
It's like a
got
porn.
with
It's a
the-
porn
yeah,
opening. What it is.
Right. Okay.
So that was 1 week. Back to the serious stuff immediately after
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, on this real life stuff, by the way, don't forget about that. And yeah, they've played on that with the stuff with Bron Breakker caving his head in with a set of steel steps.
Yeah.
But this is after Terry got the best catchphrase in wrestling currently, which is "You've been tabled."
You've been tabled.
He likes to book. He likes to book reservations for his opponents. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna go for a meal later
Because-
I booked you a table for one."
I assume they've given up on him as a main eventer now.
No,
right?
this is
This
it.
is the rise.
Yeah.
This is the start of it back. to
They've
where
knocked
he
him
was.
down, and now we're building them back. Literally building them back up
it's
again.
working,
I
by the
genuinely
way.
thought it was a joke.
No,
I
we're
thought they were
desperate
in
for
a
him to get
wind-up.
there. No,
This was meant to make you feel bad for him.
Oh,
This is
I thought it was like
When
the
he comes
PB&J
back-
stuff from AEW.
No, when he comes back and he beats Bron Breakker, which he won't, then it's going to be amazing.
he's
Yeah.
gonna have to now.
Well, he's got to, yeah, but he's not. But they're pushing Bron.
So Bron batters Robert Stone.
Oh, he will do. Sure,
Yeah, and then
Cum will
Von
come
Wagner-
back, yeah.
Cum will come back. Yeah.
yes.
So it won't be Terry Spunk because it's not a hardcore. Oh, well, it might be.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
He's like Foley. We'll never know who's going to turn up. Kiana James tries to use her loaded bag. It's got a brick in it in her match against
It
Shotzi.
doesn't like that. Wasn't a brick.
Did it had a brick?
That wasn't a
What
brick.
would you describe it as?
When have you ever seen a brick look like that?
Well, I'm wearing a different country.
These props of NXT need to change.
Yeah, who's in charge of the production? Kiana James tries to use a loaded bag in a match against Shotzi, but Roxanne Perez puts a stop to it, so Shotzi wins. Later backstage, Shotzi and Roxanne spin the wheel to decide Perez's stipulation against Kiana James, and you'll never guess what, it's going to be a Devil's Playground match.
I hope Roxanne gets eaten alive in there.
I like Roxanne.
bored
I
of
know
her.
he said I love Roxanne. She's amazing.
Like Booker T.
it is his daughter.
He's boring. She's boring. Sorry, it's
she's not.
She is
She's not,
boring.
she's a pure babyface.
She's boring.
No.
She's a damp squib of a human being.
Oh, she's an
but a
excellent-
fantastic wrestler.
Excellent wrestler, and she's
Yeah.
not. She smiles.
And
Wrestle.
Shotzi Blackheart in that match with Kiana James was like Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31. The way
What?
that she was,
What's going
the way
on?
that she was enjoying that beatdown early
Oh.
on, she was smiling like Roman.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but then she fought back, and there was a nice Turan. I've called it. It was half a tarantula because she didn't hook the legs in the rope, so I've called it a Turan.
okay.
And the rest of the match just kind of chugged along.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, and then the fake brick questions got to be asked about that. Not happy about that.
I don't know why you put it in a puffy bag.
To disguise it.
Here.
You
like a
never
dram-
suspect that. Look at how soft that bag looks. Oh, there's a brick inside.
Yeah, but if the ref sees you hit it with it, and it's still foreign.
Yeah, you're right. It is true. Lash Legend and Ormenta are on speakerphone with Noam Dar, who's at the hospital with Jakara Jackson.
Stay with us, Jackie.
The arm's gonna-
go to the lights.
The arm's going to have to come off. Jakara has been taken out of the breakout tournament, we learn, with an injury. Dar insists that she'll have to get her arm amputated. Akira Tozawa interrupts, very serious now, to tell Legend and Mensah to let Dar know that he's looking for him. And they kind of brush him off, but Akira Tozawa's going to batter Noam Dar. That's what I got from this.
I don't know. I think Noam will escape. Because Noam, when he wrestles the matches, is still good at the wrestling. Isn't he?
Yeah,
He's not
he is, yeah.
He's not a full chicken poo heel, is he?
This is the best Dar's been for so long.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
It's a shame about Jackie as well, Miss Jackson.
Yeah.
Because I assume that's a legitimate injury they're playing off there.
They got that I'm sorry, Miss Jackson joke in way too early in the metaphors. They shouldn't have done it for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Do you remember that Jakara and Lash Legend started out hating Dar?
Yeah, he was
you're
pathetic,
you're a
wasn't
little dweeby.
he?
Now there is like minions. Fair enough. Elsewhere backstage, Trick Williams has been attacked by a mystery assailant. He'll no longer be able to compete in the main event, and we don't know who did it either.
This was the other Shawn Michaels reference.
Oh?
Because this has the building, or the genesis of Shawn Michaels and Triple H's build to SummerSlam 2002.
You're like an expert on the career of Shawn Michaels.
I know I am.
Wow.
I'm obsessed with the sexy boy. Well, he gives me my favourite wrestling show. I study him every day when I go home.
Yeah.
But remember when in the build to SummerSlam 02 where Triple H attacked Shawn Michaels in the car park, but it's all blurry CCTV footage, and then Shawn Michaels somehow is able to give it to somebody who changes it to HD.
Oh my
and
God.
They unpixelate it, and it's clearly Triple H who attacked him in the car park.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll do something similar here with someone else. They'll make it look like it's someone else, and it'll be Carmella who attacked him. Yeah.
Who was the... Oh, it was Blair Davenport in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were beating down all the women in the car park.
The blonde lady who
wasn't blonde.
wasn't blonde.
Well,
She had a wig.
Yeah.
Look what I wrote down there, Adam.
Trick Willie has
Don't read
been
it out.
jumped.
You can't say that.
No, I can't.
That's awful. Nathan Fraser's the biggest heel in the business.
He's an arsehole, isn't he?
Everyone on a night out has been confronted by someone in this way, like Nathan Fraser does. Nathan Fraser confronts Dominic Mysterio backstage and beats him down to the ring while the locker room cheer him on. Yay! He hits Dom with an enziguri and heads up top, but Rhea pulls Dom to safety. But I want to talk about the initial shove. No restaurant now, are they? I hated him so much.
Yeah, he's pathetic, isn't
He's
he?
awful. We hate Nathan Fraser.
Okay. Is he always like this?
He's a lad who claimed he could have been a Premier League footballer if he
could have
wanted
made
to.
the EPL.
Could have made the EPL.
But I love wrestling.
Not a big deal, is it?
Is this real life or is this NXT?
This is his character. We don't hate the man himself. This is the
Right,
character.
okay. I can never... yeah.
But I think that's based off
But
real life.
I feel. Oh yeah, he was. But he showed footage of himself playing football when he was younger, and it's like Sunday league.
All right.
It's not like I'm from Jersey. Just hang out at the beach, play football.
But then it's the way he talks to people. Like last week, he was having a go at Dom, and he had his friend Axiom behind him, and he's like, "Oh, Dom, you're a dick," or whatever he says to me. He turns and goes, "Yeah, that's a hard-hitting home truth, isn't it?" Because his gimmick used to be
catchphrase.
own catchphrase. Yeah.
His catchphrase was, "That's a hard."
He used to have a vignette segment called "Hard Hitting Home Truths," which was basically when John Oliver was doing the Vince McMahon stuff. You know, like his like segments, and clearly someone's seen that and gone, "He's British." And he would just like say things about members of the roster and be like, "Well, it turns out that this has happened." But it wasn't funny. It was written by a robot. It was weird. It was very bizarre. Okay. Then he got Dragon Lee in as his co-host. He would say like 2 words. He'd be like, "Isn't that right, Dragon?" He'd be like, "Sí, mi amigo." It was weird. It was really bizarre. Don't hate Nathan Fraser the man. Although it's the kind of promo sort of stuff.
I don't think he can fake that
I
kind
feel like
of
he's
Kavorka.
channeling a lot of himself into this character, yeah.
You can imagine him going down the shops and an old woman sees her apple fall off the edge of the till, and he's like, "Whoa! There you go, ma'am.
It's a very...
I've caught that for
you.
You
do hate the man himself.
Yeah, I hate the man.
It's a very... No, this is his character. It's a very learned charisma. You meet someone and you're like, are they trying to like play mind games with me? Like,
you think he's turned up to 11?
Like the bloke who tried to sneak backstage at WCPW pretending he was a magician.
What?
I'd rather you didn't tell people about that.
I was just at the bit of Gorilla, or like the bit. It was one of the shows with like a visible. I think it was in.
Why would they let a magician backstage? You can pretend to be a wrestler or a medical personnel or something.
So,
oh god, we've been missing a magician.
We got backstage. Let anyone back.
Yeah, that's true. I think he actually maybe was a magician and thought I can use this. But basically. No, but I thought this bloke's trying to mess with my head. And it was sinister when I realized what had happened, because I was like, oh. So earlier in the night, I'd seen him like at the bar or whatever. And he'd gone, "Jack, we met the other week, or like a while ago, but you were off your face. I don't know if you remember." And I was like, "Oh, sorry, mate. Like, fair enough," and all that. And then later on, he comes up to me and I'm stood. It was one of the ones with like a visible gorilla position, like production bit. So he could have just got past that curtain. Anyone could have. So I was stood there and he came over and said hello again and was like, "I've heard they need a magician backstage." And I was like, "I'll go and check," because you never know at a wrestling show.
Yeah, sure.
So I went and found like the promoter and went, "Magician?" He went, "No, no chance." Yeah.
I heard they need a magician backstage.
unless he'd been wound up by his mate who'd gone, they need you backstage. Mate.
Oh,
Maybe it could have been that.
For like a backstage promo or something. We need somebody who could.
Maybe.
Straws here.
But it was the way he'd like won my trust earlier in the night by like pretending that we met and I was drunk.
So you hadn't even met.
I I mean, it could well have happened, but I really don't think I'd ever met him before. Anyway, if you're watching this, nice try. Yeah, that was a weird time. Ariana Grace is dressed as a beauty queen and is because that was a gimmick, or she was a model or something.
Yeah, she's the daughter of Santino Marella.
She is.
So I was like, she's dressed like Santina with a tiara on.
Ariana Grace is dressed as a beauty queen and is heartbroken that Jakara Jackson was taken out of the tournament, but she gracefully accepts her bye into the next round. Instead, no, she's interrupted by her new opponent, Brinley Reese.
Now, Brinley Reese might have one of the worst catchphrases in wrestling.
I've written a bit.
Yeah.
So I think this is what she says verbatim. When you stay active.
Do you want to sing it together just to see if we both got it right? Because I thought I misheard it as well. Are you ready? When you stay active and Bryn active, you don't have to get ready, you stay ready. What the bollocks does that mean?
I've got a slightly different one. When you stay active and Bryn active, we both heard that bit.
Bryn active.
There's no preparing to get ready, you stay ready. There's no preparing to get ready. And then she goes, this tournament is about to get big with Bryn. And then she loses to Ariana
Is that the
Grace.
catchphrase, big with Bryn?
Well, what's
or is
Bryn-
the Bryn,
what's
Bryn
Bryn
active?
active?
Is that like bullfit?
I think
I reckon it's exactly the same.
I've got no issues with the match. It was a short one. But just Bryn active. Is she trying to say, Americans, oh yeah, I've been doing that. I've been active. Is she trying to say I'm Bryn active? Or is she saying she's inactive? I'm Bryn active.
It was a confusing one. I really enjoyed Ariana Grace's promo. I think she's a good heel, saying she's gracefully accepting her bye into the semi-finals. And she also basically has a hip toss as a finisher, which makes her a fantastic heel as well.
Long live those days when the DDT was a finisher.
Yeah.
Or a hip toss.
It's like she bends over and then like sort of hooks them over her back and they do a flip onto their face, and that's a finisher.
That's good.
It's a hip toss. What a heel.
Yeah. Bryn active.
Bryn active though.
Oh, Robert Stone interrupts an interview. Unless you want to say anything more about Bryn.
I don't have anything else to say about Bryn. I just want to know what Bryn active is a put off. That's all I want to know.
I know. Robert Stone interrupts an interview with Bron Breakker. Bron laughs about Von Wagner's injury, which provokes Stone into challenging him to a match at Halloween Havoc. Not against Von Wagner, against himself, Robert Stone.
My kids ask me every day if Von is going to be okay.
Stone was brilliant here. I thought Stone was so good.
It reminded me of when Regal stood up for Eugene and lost his composure. Just like that. Yeah. But like, he's going to get destroyed. Yeah, badly.
Which would be brilliant.
Yeah, it will.
It'll be so good.
Brilliant.
Will Von Wagner, I don't know how close he is to coming back. Will he come back on the night?
Surely.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
He'll come out, I reckon, in a wheelchair or something. Then he'll Willy Wonka it down the ramp, whap off the bandage, and then he'll attack Bron Breakker.
That might be the match I'm most looking forward to. It is at Halloween Havoc. It 100% is. Carmella Hayes in the main event beats Corbin and Dijak to become the number one contender, but again, it was only a triple threat because Trick was taken out.
Yeah.
Good match.
Yeah, well, I liked the start of it where the two big lads were ganging up on the little lad. There was a hell of a chokeslam backbreaker from Dijak, who needs to stop talking. Just let him wrestle. Just stop the talking.
What, because of the silly voice?
He's not got a silly voice.
Yeah,
It's just, it's like an 8-year-old. We used to say this on the podcast. His entire gimmick is like an 8-year-old's imagination of what they would be as a professional
Oh,
wrestler.
I'm cool. I wear sunglasses and I'm really tough.
And like when he talks, it's that same like, I'm big and cool and tough. Not like Wade Barrett. I've made that sound like Wade Barrett, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know. Good wrestler. Like.
He is a really good wrestler. But my move of the week, Joel.
Oh my. Oh, baby.
Is the way Carmelo Hayes springboarded backwards into a double DDT spot. It's as smooth as Von Wagner dribbling off a gold tooth. I'm having a stroke here today. Bloody hell, can't talk.
And you say it's smooth, and when I can't find it. And when your agility is so slick it glides, your athleticism is so smooth it slides.
It's almost like her.
It is almost like
I've forgotten her name. Jada Parker, that was the one.
Are we being mean?
No.
These are really new wrestlers.
They are, but they're in the big time now, and they've got to earn our respect.
Oh my God.
We are industry professionals.
No.
We are well-respected journalists of this great game that we call professional wrestling. I love the Tower of Doom spot where Corbin threw Dijak, a man who's like 6'7" or whatever he is, backwards like Like a Von Wagner rag I've written down here. I'll try to make lots of, yeah. But then the finish, I love the finish as well, where Corbin hits the end of days on Dijak, and then Mello hits the leg drop on Corbin, and then pushes Corbin out, and then steals the win.
Yes, all good stuff.
Yes.
And I'm pleased that it was Mello who won, because it furthers this potential Trick Williams story.
Especially stealing the pin as well.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Backstage, we get a little cold close to the, like, you know what I mean, like a post-match. Backstage, Lara Valkyria rips up a photo of herself and Becky Lynch. She walks off and Jade Cargill appears on the monitor next to her and taps her wrist.
What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
This is the point I thought, oh, okay, it's getting a bit much with the Cargo stuff. Is that the first time she's been on NXT?
No,
She was there in the car
there.
last week, yeah.
She came along. She met Shawn Michaels last week, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's already been there, yeah.
Keep you guessing, eh?
I guess so. AEW Dynamite. Jay White opens the show beating Penta after a distraction from the Guns and interference from Juice Robinson. After the match, Jay says MJF isn't here tonight, so he'll lead by example instead. Juice says that he's going to win the main event battle royal. Oh, and there was a hot start to the match as well. They jumped each other. Penta attacked before the bell, which was good.
I like the chop spot this week with Penta, where he took his t-shirt, vest thingy off to further that bit. But I've seen a lot of people. I think Andrew's one of the people in this office who hates Bryce, the referee. Is it Andrew?
Owen.
Is it Owen?
Owen hates Bryce.
This is the week where I realised I might hate him as well. Because obviously we have the sort of like the sneak attack in the background that he shouldn't know anything about. But the way he reacts before he does the pinfall, he reacts like he's seen it, but he hasn't seen it because he's looking the other way. And I've realised what people label
what
at
does he
Bryce
do?
now. He sort of goes, oh! And then counts to 1, 2, 3. But if he hadn't seen it, you haven't got eyes in the back of your head, pal.
So he's like, I know something's happened, but
Yeah.
I can't do it. Well, no one cares.
Yeah, you're the referee. Just stop making it about yourself, Bryce. That's the first time I've seen it, personally.
I've noticed it when he has a go to heel, really fearlessly in their face. No, you listen to me.
Yeah.
And I'll just hear Owen sigh from his monitor when we're doing when we're doing what happened out. He'll just go.
Sorry, go on.
There's one, and I'm not having to go at Aubrey or Bryce particularly. I think they're both good refs, but like there used to be a vignette which was very cruel online. It got taken down, or like a compilation of Aubrey stealing the spotlight. And there's one where and I can't find the footage anywhere, but it was so funny. It's all like her like getting in frame and stuff that's not that bad. This person clearly had an agenda against her, but there's one where there's a brawl on the outside. And the refs are trying to separate whoever it is and Jade Cargill. And Aubrey, by herself, just ties up Jade Cargill. And Cargill's actually struggling to get out. And she's like, make me look good, let go now. And Aubrey's like holding her back properly. And Cargill's furious. Like, yeah.
Understandable.
Oh, yeah.
Good match, though.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to say someone in this office finds so-and-so annoying. I thought, because Fraser finds Penta annoying.
I don't care for, first and foremost, Alex Abrahantes, who once again was out there this week.
Well, he's their cool
He's
manager.
not. He doesn't fit though, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He's like a little child jumping about, like too many sweets.
Yeah.
He's just not cool at all, is he?
He's very Tony Khan. If Tony Khan was a manager, he would be like him.
I guess he would be. Yeah.
That was the cringiest bit of Wembley for me. Red Penta came back.
Oh yeah. Well, he earned his money that night, didn't he?
Well,
came out and did one move, went backstage and got changed. Came out, did one more move, and went home.
Fair, what a worker.
Yeah, but yeah, the promos after the match as well. I thought Juice completely walked all over Jay White's promo again. Jay White's just a series of catchphrases that I think he thinks are quite cool. And he tries to say them cool. Yeah, do you think them cool? There's that much substance to what he says, though, isn't there?
I'm reluctant to backtrack on Jay White because me and Richard Tubman were big defenders of him. Me and Matthew were like, don't get it.
I still don't. I think he's a fantastic wrestler, but the promos I just don't get.
I think the audience are coming around to him.
Yeah,
in recent weeks.
He's helped by his guys.
Yeah, I think it's all of them,
which,
isn't it?
Which was under threat because MJF pointed it out in a promo. He said that Jay White was like tofu and they're the seasoning and you need it to make it taste of something. And it was too on the nose. Like it was too true and it harmed him, I think.
Yeah.
MJF is interviewed backstage. Oh, I guess because he's not there. It was a previous...
No, he was here for Dynamite. It was Collision he was missing for.
Sorry, yes, right. So MJF is interviewed backstage and says he's too smart to run out there. Oh yeah, he was on commentary with them. And says he's too smart to run out there and be outnumbered by the Bang Bang Gang. He says he hopes Juice wins the Battle Royal because he'll beat him. He wants to face him one-on-one next week and beat him. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn show up and MJF again turns them down for the 8-man tag team match. Caster tries to hit on him and it doesn't work.
Yeah, he's going to have to put a ring on it, he says. And then, but he's my scumbag. He defends his infatuation with MJF. I'm wondering what the payoff is here. Like, where's this going?
I'm wondering, since Wembley, and I know that there was meant to be something, like Cole's injury was badly timed and everything, but MJF's been in too many comedic lower card. He doesn't main event the shows anymore.
No.
Why?
I think he's trying to get away from it though, because what he's doing isn't comedic now. After his promo 2 weeks ago, which he accepted, didn't land like he thought it might have done.
Yeah.
But he is involved with other comedic wrestlers, which I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go outside of them, like MJF and the Acclaimed teaming together.
Yeah.
Because you could get there differently to how they're choosing to get there. So I'm wondering if there is going to be something different along the way.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I'm a little bit dissatisfied with it. I just kind of want MJF to get this Jay White feud out of the way because he is going to win.
Hopefully.
There's no danger that Jay White's going to win.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
Who's he? Is it Omega? Because they had the little promo this week, maybe for MJF. Is that the next one?
They'll at least have like a TV match, maybe to try and for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hinted at that, didn't they?
We need Punk back. That's what we need. Because his stuff with MJF
That's what I've been
was
saying.
top tier.
And then it was a week when Punk got fired, podcast was split. I was a bit more, let's just keep him around. And then I think you were quite he deserves it when he got fired.
No, I was like, it's the right call.
Right.
But I said time will tell on Collision.
Aye.
And then
And
that
then
first week after was awful.
There was a promo where the Young Bucks are there doing
Hit the red button,
Brandon hit the red button, and Matt Jackson's got like a muscle stimulating sort of massage thing, and he's like, "Do my arms look big?" And Ross went, "Is this what we've been left with then? Now the Punk's gone." And it's kind of what's happened.
The sacrifice Punk for self.
Punk didn't die for this. In this match, Adam Pacitti corrected me because I thought this was a title match, but it was a title eliminator match. But it doesn't matter because Shida beats Emi Sakura anyway.
They did the same spot as the last match. I brought it up on the last podcast that I was on. They do the stand-up, throw chops at each other, no selling. See it too much anyway. It always drives me mad. I don't think it's entertaining because they do it all the time, but it literally happened in the previous match.
Yeah.
They desperately need... I don't know like how the matches are produced.
Who's like the head
AEW,
road agent? Yeah.
but how can that happen?
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 minutes before.
Sometimes I think that they don't care.
Do you reckon?
I don't know.
People pop for it anyway, don't they?
There's been pay-per-views definitely in AEW, maybe just because they're so long, where there's like very similar stuff.
Oh man, sometimes that specifically, that chopping bollocks, you sometimes see 3 or 4 times during a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's fighting spirit. It's all Japan.
Yeah, it's great.
From the history of...
And then they'll shake each other's hands at the end because they've got respect for one another.
Oh, he's fuming.
I tell you what, I never once thought Emmy was going to win, but I thought it was a very entertaining match.
It was
That's
a good
the
match.
best
I liked the
AEW
bit where
Emmy
they
Sakura
threw
match I've
chops
seen.
at each other. No.
There was a bit where there was a powerbomb that produced a near fall, and then there was like a pinning combo that did the same, where it was like near kickouts by Shida. They even mentioned the fact that Emmy was a trainer before the match.
I was going to say, was that Riho or was that Shida? But it was Shida who was
Yeah, it
trained
was
by Emmy.
yeah.
Maybe both. I don't know.
But yeah, because they had the pay-per-view match a couple of years ago, didn't they? They
Yes.
just didn't mention it, did they, until Commentary did.
I wish she was
during the match.
Freddie Mercury again. But it was a good match.
No, I prefer her like this weird woman that she is.
True.
That's-
I think she's the woman behind that Gato Move promotion that I slagged off and got really abused on Twitter for not liking.
Do you want to repeat what you said?
Yeah, I just said it was stupid bollocks.
What was the deal?
Like, white people get really defensive over Japanese things. Like, don't insult this promotion. You just don't get it. And the promotion's held in like a small room under like a subway station or something, and there's a bit of a window. People are rating it like 10 out of 10 on Cage Match and stuff.
And is it all comedy wrestling?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, okay.
There was one last man standing match they did. But they're jumping through a little window, and
You're allowed to not like stuff.
I'm allowed to not like stuff.
Yeah.
But people were really nasty to me.
Oh, I'm sorry that
Matthew
happened
was
to
like,
you.
"Oh no, you've annoyed Puro Twitter," and I was like, "Oh no, they're coming for me." Yeah, not Japanese people though, Westerners.
Sad accent.
Renee interviews Adam Copeland. Adam says he wants to come. He wanted to come to AEW to finish his career alongside Christian Cage.
What do we have to Google to see the results of what you've just said there? Sorry, Twitter search to get a full. Next week, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen.
I don't know, but we can find the visual of the arena it's held in to show you how stupid it is. What am I doing?
No, I just meant the Twitter reaction to what you said.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to relive that. Can you type in Gato, Gatoh, space, move, and then try and find like an image of, like that. The fourth one along, on the top row is the arena that it's held in. Come on, man.
That's all right.
Pathetic, isn't it?
I can't really tell what's going on.
They're all in submissions.
Oh, right.
That is Emmy
That's
Sakura in the
that's
middle,
three
yeah.
anaconda. That's three abdominal stretches.
What?
There's Chris
He's not
Brooks.
that tall, is he?
Well, she's probably tiny, man. But yeah, he is that. He
He's
is very
massive,
tall.
yeah.
Yep, that's...
Is there a ring?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
Fuming.
Looks like a laugh, doesn't it?
It looks like a laugh.
Table's gone again.
Jesus.
Had a heart attack there.
Right. Enough
Adam
of it.
Copeland.
Anyway, some people really love that promotion. But Emi Sakura is the woman behind it, and I think she's really good. So I don't want to like slag her off.
This was her best AEW
Just her
match, I think.
work. Yeah. Oh no, she's had better pay-per-view matches, surely.
I don't think she has. She hasn't had many pay-per-view matches.
No, maybe not. Renee interviews Adam Copeland. Adam says he wanted to come to AEW to finish his career alongside Christian Cage, but that seems to have backfired. He truly believes Christian is the most underrated talent in wrestling, but also he goes over the history of their friendship and wonders if Christian would have ever made it if Copeland didn't blaze a trail for him first. I entered a competition to get free wrestling training. I had to force you to enter it as well. I was always more passionate, more keen, he's saying.
It's very Nathan Fraser, isn't it?
No.
It's very Nathan Fraser.
It's not like Nathan
He even lied in the States. He said Christian was game to team with me until I actually came to AEW. Liar. Don't believe him.
Yeah.
Nah, I do believe him. It was an earnest promo.
It was.
Wonderful man.
He says he doesn't even want the TNT title because he won't fight Christian. But then he knows that when Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus leave Christian, Adam will be there to pick up the pieces.
It feels like they've set up a storyline here where Edge is going to turn Christian babyface by showing him the right way.
I don't want that.
Exactly.
I want the
Christian
other opposite.
Exactly. I want Adam
Yeah.
to turn heel with
Yeah.
Christian. Because at the moment it feels a bit like Undertaker and Kane. I won't fight me, brother, said the Undertaker all the way back then.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like that. And now Adam won't fight Christian, but yeah, I hope it doesn't end up like that.
I'm the dead man.
I'm the dead man. Rest in peace there, pal. So yeah.
Yes.
What did you two think about the promo?
I liked it. He's good at promos, isn't he? But with Edge, with Adam Copeland, it's the most dramatic and the most sincere all the time. And I'd like a bit of levity now and then, just a bit of whoo.
I really enjoy
Get the kazoo back out.
Whenever Adam Copeland's mentioned on Collision, Nigel says the same line every time. Adam Copeland takes 5 minutes to say what Christian says in one line or something like that. He says it every time.
It's too true, though. That's too on the nose. It's not. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I think maybe I'm in the minority at this table because I'm just sort of I'm enthralled by everything he does. I just really I like listening to him speak, and I think he does come across as sincere. And sometimes it can be a little bit paint by numbers, but generally speaking, I liked it for what it was, and I think it's
He can sell a feud, definitely.
yeah, for sure.
Ryan Nemeth tries to attack Wardlow during his entrance, but Wardlow easily deals with him, winning a short match. Wardlow is interviewed afterwards and just holds up his wrist tape, which has MJF written on it, and he knocks Tony Schiavone over.
It's like when Gorilla Monsoon was taken out by Vader.
Yeah.
This is just like
They
that.
were similar big boys.
But Ryan Nemeth is officially the softest wrestler in the world.
Well, why?
One Wardlow powerbomb to get KO'd.
That's Wardlow.
One. He takes 6 to beat everybody else.
No, that's an option. He just likes using
It
6.
never ends in KO though, does it?
Yeah, that's true.
Nemeth is soft. He needs his brother to save him.
Oh.
I don't know why I've said that.
Okay.
I like the referee stoppage thing. I think it's good, but it's way less impactful than if they were sort of doing that from the start. Like he's been there. He was super hot at one point.
Yeah.
That died off largely due to circumstances out of his control,
Yeah.
and he's come back, and it feels like they're doing this sort of Goldbergian squash thing, but they don't really know where they're going with it. I hope there's an end game here, and obviously MJF on the
MJF will beat him. Everyone will want MJF to win. He's Wardlow's a heel
as well. Yeah, the timing's all wrong, isn't it?
It should have been early in MJF's title run because Wardlow beat him so so easily. It's always a lingering question and everything. Yeah. Anyway, Kenny Omega is interviewed ahead of his match with Kyle Fletcher. MJF interrupts and tells Kenny he's always been a big fan before whispering 13 days, bitch, until he becomes the longest reigning AEW champion.
Ah, is that what that was?
Yeah.
fair.
So I think they'll have a match on the eve of, or like whenever it's going to eclipse the record.
And he'll do it.
Oh, we'll do it.
It'll have to be on next week's Collision then, right?
Oh, that's not very long to say.
13 days
Oh,
is a day less
yeah.
than 2 weeks, so they can't do it on the...
Or just a casual MJF Kenny Omega match that they've not built
Yeah,
up to.
right.
That's weird, yeah.
Or is there a weird Tuesday Dynamite again soon?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, this segment. Adam Cole's still stuck at Roddy Strong's house making him coffee, but he finally loses it with Roddy when he insults his famous PB&J sandwiches, which he makes passionately. And he storms out to finally get his surgery. Roddy tells the Kingdom that in order to get his best friend back, he'll have to be nice to that scumbag MJF.
I'm glad these are changing because this was one too far for me. Just
Yeah.
it got a little bit painful seeing Cole. I know he's injured, so you can't do too much, but I think there's a better way to use him when he is injured than having him be a hostage and making sandwiches.
I know that Cole has literally. It sounds like you've made that's a joke sentence, but it's not. That's
No.
literally what's happened.
He cut the grass 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What did he do last week again? I can't remember what it was now.
Cutting the grass and just stuff.
Yeah.
I like how babyface Cole. He's a bit goofy. That's fine, but they've made him too much of a clown. He was like the coolest heel in NXT for ages.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't understand.
How rough does American Jam look? My input here. It looked like pickle.
Big
It's
lumps,
the
isn't it?
consistency of it. Yeah, it's not good. It's meant to be a spread.
Yeah.
Come on, America. Also, you call it jelly, but jelly's what do they call jelly? Gelatin.
Jello. No, that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
brand
they
name
call
though,
it-
isn't it? But I think it's like
Ubiquitous. Yeah.
yeah,
But jelly
tannoy.
is their jam.
Yeah.
But jam's jam.
I did enjoy Mike Bennett singing Neck Strong to the tune of Headstrong
Oh, the bongos.
from the noughties, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
not
fantastic.
I know you, Matthew, enjoying it. I'm not finding the neck stuff that funny. The giraffe and that.
I like, not necessarily the giraffe, but yeah, the stuff about, neck care and what was it, Neck National Protect Your Neck Month or something
All right.
a little while ago.
fair enough.
It was fine for them, but when, because they're not main eventers, are they? With all due respect to,
Oh, Roddy Strong was one of the hottest indie talents of the 2010s.
I know, but like in AEW,
Yeah.
he could get there with this gimmick, to be fair, I reckon.
He's very good at being a little
Bitch.
arsehole, yeah. Don Callis and this was good. Don Callis and Powerhouse Hobbs revealed that at a wrestling show in 1998, Jericho insulted Hobbs and his grandmother. Told her to shut up and him to sit down, or the other way around.
That was Hobbs' hero in 1998, by the way.
Yeah.
my little
In
bottle.
98.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he was a smart.
He was a heel, wasn't he, Jericho, back then?
He was a funny heel in WCW.
It's the Festus days, wasn't it?
Oh, well, I mean,
Ralphus.
Ralphus.
oh, Festus.
Festus, my God.
Kind of, I see what you mean.
Biscuits and gravy.
Callis then blames Carl Fletcher for the stable's only loss when he teamed with Takeshita a couple of weeks ago. Fletcher says he did that match as a favour to Will Ospreay because he heard that Callis was on his knees begging for a replacement. And tonight he'll prove that he doesn't need anyone's help to beat Kenny Omega. Callis says, all right, if you win, maybe we'll talk. Kenny wins. Kenny wins. But it's a competitive match.
It's another one where it's Tony Khan fancies Kyle Fletcher because he got all of his moves in here. It was a very even match with the yardstick. What do you call himself? The measuring stick earlier, Kenny Omega. There was a lovely Kurt Angle kick out from Kyle after a teabag pinfall from Kenny Omega after a V-trigger. Then I like Kyle once again using the Dragon Sleeper after his match with Danielson in mind still. And then that one V-trigger on the run. Oof.
Now you say that maybe Tony fancies Kyle, but these wrestlers must all fancy him because maybe he's just good. They're like, oh, we'll give him all this stuff.
Yeah. It's good. They must have big plans for him to have all these long matches against these established names.
It is because he's a great wrestler, but everyone's a great wrestler. It is because he's good looking, isn't it?
I think I know who his girlfriend is as well.
It's Emo Sky Blue. I think
they dating?
I think they got engaged recently.
Oh.
I might have got that wrong.
Are you okay?
I think I saw. Yeah, I'm fine.
Callis was, well, to nobody's surprise, just amazing on commentary.
Yeah.
When he lost, this kid is a miserable disappointment. Quit the business, Taz. That's what he should do. It's so good.
He's
so
unbelievable.
good.
He reminds me of like your distant uncle or like charismatic older relative. You're like, your jokes are a bit off color, but how are you so funny when you're a kid? And he's like that. He's like an uncle.
Yeah.
Funny uncle. That sounds creepy. Like, shouldn't have.
Funny uncle.
Funny uncle
Watch
Don
out for him.
Callis.
That's not a funny uncle.
We get another Danhausen vignette. It's the same as the one from Collision. Lance Archer beats up Barrett Brown on the way to their match.
That was Matt Jackson, actually, not Barrett Brown.
Wins the match and then leaves.
He did. And
Good
it's
to see him.
another case of like, yeah, this is good, but where's it going?
Yep.
Because I don't know if he'll be on the show next week. Do you know when his last Dynamite match was?
Oh my God. Was it this year?
No.
Wow.
The 22nd of June, 2022. Tanahashi and Moxley defeat Chris Jericho and Lance Archer.
I have no memory of that match at all.
He's been hurt for a bit, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't explain.
He also moans a lot on social media of like not being used, which is fair because it's Lance Archer and he's very good.
Yeah, he is good.
So yeah, but again, like where's it going to go? We'll have to wait and see.
Prince Nana he's my favourite. Is excited about the release of Swerve Strickland's new music video. Where are they? Where would you say they were in this vignette? Like
I reckon they're in that warehouse where they had Dustin Rhodes attacked by the goons.
Yeah, they do hang out there.
French and
Trench
and French, yeah.
and Parker Boudreaux. Swerve isn't happy though because he should be TNT champion right now, but Hangman ruined it. And I was like, but he didn't have a match for that. But it was a number one contenders match, wasn't it? Yeah. Now that means now it's personal. Now I didn't think they needed to elongate this feud with Hangman. Swerve beat him, and it wasn't a clean win, but it was an amazing match, and that's all it needed.
Well, they've brought the Elite into it now. Because Swerve says it's not always you who pays for your actions. So who's Hangman aligned with? It's Matt and Nick.
Is this going to be another
Swerve's
case?
going to get beat by Matt and Nick.
It's going to be another case of my friends are in danger. Oh no! Oh, I'm so...
It was a good line though from Swerve where it's like nobody cares less about life than Swerve. I was like, oof, you menacing man, you.
I find him so creepy, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So when he does the whole whose house thing, he stopped going like whose house. He goes like whose house. He's like quite weird with it. Yep. I'm on board with that. Did you just check to see how long's left?
No, I've not got a watch on.
I thought you were like looking at the script. Tony Schiavone interviews Sting in the ring. He talks about his career and all the great names he's worked with, but finally comes to the topic of retirement. Sting says that his first AEW match was at Revolution 2021, actually later than I thought in the history of AEW.
Yeah.
So his last ever match will be at Revolution 2024. But he says that's all the info for now.
So good. Everybody was really respectful,
Yeah.
weren't they? Everybody just like in silence. It was a really great promo, really unexpected as well. I assume they put a graphic up saying we'll hear from Sting or whatever they do. But I think the timing's probably right. He is slowing down a bit, I think, since his AEW, but understandably so. But it was really poignant. And
Nice
I know
it was
you're not a
Tony.
massive Sting fan or anything like this. No, I thought it was really well done.
No. Now he's jumping off balconies. I'm, yeah, it's nice that it was Tony as well, Schiavone. And Fraser knows who his opponent's going to be.
Derby, right?
Yeah. But Fraser gave it in a very confident Fraser Porter way. Went, be Derby, right?
That's what I just did. I just did that without the Scottish accent.
Ross knows what Fraser does.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, Sting will be 65 in March after February's Revolution.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah.
God.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? I really hope they go into that match with them both being face.
Yeah.
Oh, they
will
should
do.
do.
Should do. And it should be Derby. 100%. I can't think of anyone.
Winning?
No, like who face and winning. but
Oh,
who
yeah,
faces him.
yeah, for sure. That'd be so nice, though, if we get all the way there and, like, Derby hasn't turned on him after all this time.
Oh, it would be good.
It's been there, like, from the start of Sting's run in AEW.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really special moment, that.
I
And
hope so.
what a rub.
Yes. RJ City interviews Tony Storm, who presents her newest silent film for the picture-in-picture, Gone with the Storm.
It wasn't as good
As the last one.
as the last ones. Yeah, it felt like they
Well, that's
rushed
just
it.
the life of an actor, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, but it was like the other ones felt like they had a lot more effort put into them, and I was excited to see this. I saw it like it was coming up and everything, and I was like, "Oh, that's going to be good." But it was like, "Oh God, we've got that thing to do tonight."
It's probably funnier for Americans.
This one had word
didn't
cards
look
and everything. Our
Yeah.
production values were heightened this week.
Oh. Adam preferred her earlier, simpler work. You're more. Yeah.
We had RJ like giving all these gifts and whatnot, and then
Yeah.
threatens her with a pearl necklace, which brought me back to school because my mom's middle name and the name she goes by is Pearl.
Oh, that's her middle name.
Yeah.
I thought that was just. Oh, she's like Jack Atkins. He's.
Is he a middle name?
He's
as well?
called like R.J. Atkins or something.
Oh yeah, Raj.
Robert.
Yeah, R.A.J.
R.A.J. Atkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Wow.
third name.
Astonishing, eh? But I pearl necklaces. But it's jarring watching it on Fight TV's feed because this takes over full screen and you get a little bit of piano in the background.
Yeah.
I would much rather watch it in picture.
I think so as well. I want the adverts. Christian Cage interrupts the sit-down interview with Nick Wayne and his mum. He tells Nick to come with him, come home. And Mrs. Wayne slaps her own son. He says she's dead to him and leaves with Christian. Darby then ambushes them once they've gone out the door and brawls with Nick down the ramp. Nick gets thrown into, I think, like a spotlight and loses his tooth. Luchasaurus and Christian try to beat Darby down, but Sting makes the save. Do you want to talk about the sit-down interview?
It was just the worst.
Why?
It was all. I felt so sorry for the editor because you can see that they pieced it together, given the awful material that they were handed. It was absolutely awful.
It's very nasty.
No, it's not. They advertised the thing, I guess, without checking if she could do the job, didn't they? And then they got to do it. JR looked miserable. I know JR.
That's every segment now.
No, I know, but it was
could be
especially.
it could be the most electrifying interview ever, and JR would not care.
You know, I've seen that meme that went around a couple of I don't know how long ago it was now when Omega's getting attacked. in the build at the Daly's place.
And the other camera angle.
Yeah, and then Jim's just sort of stood there like,
yep, doesn't care.
He looked fed up because he'd obviously been dicked about a bunch because they had to refilm so much. He's really fed up of it, and I reckon that probably took about 4 hours to shoot to get 2 minutes of some of the worst television in AEW's recent history.
God.
You like it?
it was fantastic. Nick Wayne's mum's performance, where she's like, "Why, Nick? Why?" Giving it all that. That's what I'm here for in wrestling.
They should get Tony Storm to play Nick Wayne's mum. That would be brilliant. She'd ham it up properly.
But yeah, then Nigel's line came to life here because Christian walks in the shot and he's like, "Are you ready to come home, son?"
Yeah.
And immediately just steals everything straight away. Nick even shouting, "You're dead to me," to his own mum. I mean, that's disgusting. That is.
Bad.
And then Christian again making everyone laugh, saying, "What?"
Bad, isn't it?
That is bad.
That is bad. That is terrible. And then Christian again stealing the show once again, saying, "You should have picked up the phone to Nick Wayne's mum." And none of this will happen.
Christian really saved the day on this whole.
Christian's
monstrosity.
unbelievable. Yeah. Led to that brawl afterwards.
What would Edge have said if he was in Christian's role there?
No, I can't monologue.
Instead of just going, "Are you ready to come home, son?" What would Edge have done? Sorry, Adam
There's a
Copeland have done.
cabin atop a mountain with the name Copeland on the door. Journey with me through the valleys. Anyway, in a backstage interview with Chris Statlander and the Best Friends, Statlander reveals that her next TBS title match will be against Willow Nightingale because she respects her. But I think she's walking into a dangerous situation because of the poison in the mist.
She's walking into a House of Black. I reckon there should be a title change there.
Yes,
I think
me too.
Willow is a House of Black member.
Although even though earlier I said I like babyface Willow, so no, I changed my mind. I disagree. Orange Cassidy says he's got unfinished business with his title, and on Saturday he'll have something to prove. What does that mean?
I don't know, because the number one contenders match for Orange's title is John Silver versus Brother Zay versus Kip Sabian.
Brother Zay?
Isaiah Cassidy, that's his name now.
Yeah.
That's the three. That's what Orange Cassidy has to prove something against.
Kip
It's one of
Sabian-
those, yeah.
Kip Sabian poisons people. That's hard to overcome.
But like, why? It's
It's got to be John Silver.
I don't know.
I don't know. It could be any of
those
them.
Dark Order promos have gone quiet the past couple of weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, they disappeared. They were being like the old Dark Order again, like join us. and
That's a
we-
prime example there. Just like they've done something, they've started something, and now it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
There's too much to jam onto the even like 4 hours of TV
Yeah.
and YouTube. The Battle Royal main event comes down to Juice Robinson and Max Caster. I've left out a lot of stuff, but I'm sure we can like highlight certain things. MJF is attacked on commentary by Jay White and they brawl on the stage. This distracts Caster, allowing Juice to pick up the win. I think he used the ring as well in the finishing stretch.
He did. I liked MJF paying off Dustin to have a go at Juice in the midst of this storyline
Yeah.
that's going on right now.
$50, I believe.
50. Whoa. I thought Garcia was maybe the man of the match here. Just all the attention was on him for that middle portion of the match.
I started to want him to win, even though it
Yeah.
made no sense in the storyline.
And then once he got eliminated, Garcia had a little bit of a scuffle with Daddy Magic on the outside. So I assume Garcia might go off on his own and join the Callis family with Sammy. I don't know. That's where it was looking like it was going once upon a time.
Do you think he'd still stay heel? Yeah, join
Yeah.
the Palace family. Even with
Potentially. It'd be interesting to see him as a babyface do that gimmick. 'Cause it's all right when you're a arsehole heel, isn't it?
The chair made a horrible noise when I was doing that. It was like
I didn't hear it. What did it?
Horrible. Dirty.
Caster and Juice being the final two was obviously, I thought, the obvious way to go, and they went that way, so that was good.
Yeah.
And then Juice using his ring. Right winner. But imagine if Juice wins next week against MJF and then goes on to take on Jay to become the leader of Bullet Club. Imagine that. Imagine that world.
MJF's got to beat him. He's got
I know.
to.
But imagine if
He
Juice did
said
that.
on commentary, he said, "I'll kill that man. I swear on my brown-eyed mother's life." I was like, all right.
I think that's the way it's got to go after last week, especially with the
Oh yeah.
prop
But
that
it's
was
wise
used.
that they dropped it. Probably.
Yeah.
Have you got any thoughts on it?
No, not really. It was a bit of
We've
an
covered
average
quite a
battle
lot of it.
royal. I feel
Yeah.
like there was a lot of getting to the final two, and it was obviously who the final two was going to be. So I wasn't especially entertained until we got to the closing stages. It didn't really stand out, did it?
No,
So
that's
it was
fair.
a weird choice. I think the placement on it might have hurt it. I wouldn't have had
Main
that in
event?
the main. Yeah.
It's
know
become
it-
like an annual thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But yeah. Well.
That's the first one MJF hasn't won. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh yeah, he's got to defend the ring. Yeah.
If Wardlow's that keen, right, on facing MJF, why didn't he put himself in the battle royal?
Maybe he
If
wants to-
anyone could go in it, the state of some of those people in there, Wardlow could have been in there, but I guess they don't want it. But
State of
he
you.
would sort of have to win given what he's doing, wouldn't he?
Yeah. What a weekend. How does Matthew wrap these up?
I thought he just goes, what?
That was
a lovely girthy. Scrummy. Week of the wrestling. Now we'll go to the mailbag.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
Yes, this is the mailbag. This is scary. I've not read any of these yet.
Oh, it's a shoot mailbag for you.
Yep. How are you doing, lads? A few weeks have passed since Wrestle Dream, where Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. became instantly one of my favourite matches ever, for two main reasons. One, I love me some technical wrestling, and I mean, who better at it than those two? And two, Sabre Jr. is one of my favourite wrestlers. However, I don't watch a lot of him. I don't really follow New Japan, so I only watch him when he shows up in AEW or in the Cruiserweight Classic back in the day. So my question is, do you have a wrestler that you love but don't actually watch regularly? I hope you're all doing great. I've been following you guys since the Name Redacted days, so the fact that we're past 300 episodes of the podcast is kind of mind-blowing, you're telling me. Not complaining though, here is to 300 more. All the best. Former Newcastle midfielder Clarence Acuna, aka Joaquin Valencia from Santiago, Chile.
Santiago, Chile.
Thank you very much, Joaquin.
How does he understand me and Matthew especially?
So a wrestler that, like him with Zack Sabre Jr., that you think's amazing, but you don't see much of them.
Luthez. No, you know who it is.
Pop the boy.
It doesn't quite apply to right now because I am watching all of his stuff, but it's going to be LA Knight.
Oh,
Really
right.
like his stuff, but I can't imagine me going back in like 5 years and thinking, I need to watch that LA Knight match again.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
If we had this question was asked like however long ago it was since Collision became a thing, I would have said Juice Robinson, but now I'd watch Juice every week. I don't know what my answer would be.
That's a good answer as well, though.
Yeah.
I'd say I've got two, I think. One is Tyne in CMLL, because I've only watched him like maybe 3 or 4 times, but every match I've been like, oh, he's really good. And same for one of the Stardom wrestlers called Suzu Suzuki, I think she's really, really good. She's just won their 5-star Grand Prix, which is like their version of the G1 Climax. So hopefully she's in line for a big push.
Big Bill Montana got me a t-shirt with her on.
Yeah, Montana Billy. He assigned us all different Stardom wrestlers.
Oh,
I
right.
can't remember mine off the top of my head, but
And that was you.
That was
got
me,
the good one.
Suzuki, yeah.
What's she about?
I think I was Mayu Iwatani maybe. What, sorry?
Okay. What's her gimmick?
I don't really know. It's more of her in-ring stuff.
Okay.
But at the minute she's in some sort of storyline where she's like teaming with rivals and it's all a bit embroiled in. I think there was injuries they had to work around, but I think her character's like good wrestler, hard lady.
Right. Like Ross.
Like
Yes.
Ross.
Hard lady.
You know what? Another one thinking about it is and there are exceptions. I don't go back and watch much Mick Foley stuff just because some of it's like, oh man, the state he's in now.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Next question. In the style of Tony Schiavone, it's Jack King. How did he know it was gonna be me?
I don't know.
Unless you wanted Matthew to do it. Hello, all you Malcolm in the Diddlers. I hope Malcolm in the Diddles. Yes. I hope all is well with you and yours. Like most people, I'm enjoying Gunter's record-breaking IC title reign, and I'm looking forward to seeing who will take it from him. I want to ask you, who do you think should beat him? Oh, I answered this earlier. And also, how should Gunter lose? I personally don't think someone like Chad Gable should be beating Gunter by pinfall. Chad is an incredible wrestler, but has always been eventually overpowered by him in their previous encounters. If Chad is the man to do it, I feel like he has to make Gunter submit, or possibly even pass out in a submission. I think this will keep safe the mystique of Gunter's dominance while showing how high of a technical ability Chad has. Gunter should only be losing by pinfall to powerhouse wrestlers like Lesnar, Strowman, etc. Would love to get your thoughts. I know it's a week late, but congrats on 300 episodes. Hopefully we can get to 11 more. Cultaholic is like an ugly twink. It can't be topped. All the best, former Sunderland and Ireland defender Gary Breen, a.k.a. Joe from Wexford, Ireland. Thank you, Joe.
I hope they don't do the pass out spot with Gunter. Because like it would. I don't think you need to protect Gunter. He's had such a dominant reign.
Yeah.
So I think I disagree on that. And I wouldn't be anti Chad Gable beating him via pinfall. He just needs to do something really spectacular to get there. I don't think he needs to make him tap out necessarily. To me, it's between Gable and Dragunov.
Oh, Dragunov.
Yeah, still. There's loads to play with there. But with him being NXT champion, and I don't think he'll be dropping that belt anytime soon.
Surely not.
How long will the Gunter reign go on until Ilya comes up?
Yeah. That's a
Terry
good answer.
Spunk is the answer.
No, that's not correct. That's incorrect.
Von
answer.
Wagner, when he gets to the main roster finally, putting Gunter through a table.
You've just been table.
You be table Gunter. That would be. I remember pitching for a pitches video, Gunter sort of like declaring himself like maybe not above the IC title, but like he's held it for that long, he just sort of gives it up and then like, oh you must earn your right between yourselves to become the new champion. So. Because I'm trying to think of a name who isn't Chad Gable, and I can't think of one.
No,
personally.
yeah. Dragunov was a good shout though, because of their history in Dub X Dub, which is Matthew's favorite promotion, and
NXT UK.
He's got kind of the right. Oh yeah, they had that excellent empty arena match, wasn't it? Yeah, and they mesh really well together because Gunter's all like dominant and stuff, but then Dragunov fires up like nobody else. Excuse me, I'll stick with my Gable answer. But I agree with you. If he submits him, I think just have him tap out. It's fine. Yeah. Triple H has tapped out in the main event of. If it's a big enough deal, you can have him tap out. But also, I don't think it's out of the question for Gable to pin Gunter, because pinning someone doesn't necessarily have to be that you've beaten them down so much that they can't get up. He could like cleverly. He's an Olympic level wrestler. He could like tie his legs or something, do like a mousetrap kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe that would work as well. I don't know. But then, is that just kind of saying that he's not beating him comprehensively? He just caught him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true as well. But if he does something really clever that you never see on WWE TV, that could be amazing. It's like he's outsmarted him there.
Yeah,
he's got one up on him.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Matthew, Jack Ross, and Joel, and Adam Pacitti.
All right.
It's a week late, but happy 300 episodes of the podcast. Been proudly watching the podcast since day one. Loved every minute of it. I have it on every Friday and always end up laughing so much, especially during the NXT review. Yes. My question is, what is one thing you've learned about yourself from doing the podcast? Cheers for the laughs and good times. I've said this many times, but the podcast has helped me learn to continue to laugh and smile to get out of the dark times. It's truly appreciated. All the love. Sincerely, insert name of legend footballer here. It's Stephen Scodays.
Oh.
That's a deep question though, Stephen. And thank you for the kind words as well.
About yourself? I don't do it enough. Go on.
Oh, man. That's hard, that.
I've learned nothing. Maybe a tremendous patience.
Tremendous. a tremendous patience.
I have a tremendous patience about my character.
Which one of us, me or Matthew, would you say has taught you?
No, just to sit through all of the wrestling every week.
Oh, right.
Because it is sometimes laborious, isn't it? Which is a horrible thing to say when this is our job, but we've been doing it that long now. I've said it before.
Anything becomes a job if you do it long enough.
You become a bit numb to certain things in wrestling when you watch everything every week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you have to, when you have to try and find something to talk about when what essentially, it's meant to be easy consumed television, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's meant to just sort of like react to the moments. You can't really react to the moments because you're thinking, oh, how do I translate that to words for the podcast? I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know, Stephen. I've got no answer for you. I'm very sorry.
I've got a bit of an answer, and it's quite, as Cody would say, apropos. Given that it, don't cringe at me.
I cringe at Cody when he does that.
He means appropriate. It's quite appropriate that it's when it's the 300 episode recently and everything. But when we that Christmas went back and watched episode 1, it's taught me that if you really do work at something and do it long enough, it does improve. Because it's not the best podcast in the world, but it's not. It's not. But it's not what it was back then.
Get that on a t-shirt.
Let's do that. It's not the best podcast in the world, but it's all right. But it's not as bad as it once was, or something like that.
It couldn't get any worse from what it once was.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
we never spoke about this on camera, have we? Were you? What was your memories of that episode 1?
Because you were filming it all handheld.
Yeah, we had the multicam setup, didn't we? And then a lav mic taped to the table.
We're all stood around the table.
Yeah, which is how they did it at What Culture as well.
Standing up?
Yeah, me.
Oh, yeah, but
Kenny
they weren't
and
like
Alan.
5 hours long. Yeah.
No, for sure.
They weren't back then either. I think it was a tight hour, wasn't it, at the start?
Hello.
It was. I mean, obviously, it's come on leaps and bounds. I always really struggle doing these because you guys have such tremendous chemistry now.
Oh, God.
After what's that? 6 years.
Not quite.
That came in around the episode 270 mark. No, it's the conditioning on display. This sounds really daft, right? I'm brain dead after an hour and a half.
Right.
I really admire the fact that you're able to keep the energy up for 20 hours
Well,
or however long these go now.
I think it's why it gets so stupid. Just
Yeah.
delirium. Yeah.
Because being on for that amount of time is...
No, you live stream on all the time.
Yeah, I've got interaction with the chat
Right.
to keep
okay,
that
yeah.
going.
We've just got each other. God.
No, it is really impressive.
Cheers, Adam.
That's all right. What was the question?
Well, so the podcast to tell you about yourself, but you're not a regular.
I need to watch
We'll
more
ask
wrestling.
Matthew next week if you remember.
I'm totally out of my depth here,
Don't
as the viewers will have noticed.
No, I think you've done all right.
Thank you.
You said it's your second one in quick succession. You've caught up a bit with the wrestling recently.
Ish.
Oh,
I can't do like the in-depth analysis that you and Ross are just so good at because you know what happened 7 weeks ago. I don't have that reference, do I? That makes it really, really difficult. The one thing I've learned overall, and this isn't just doing the podcast, is I don't really, I don't want to say mince my words. I don't care anymore about, I don't. I used to, at What Culture especially, I would say what I thought people wanted to hear.
Oh.
And I don't really do that anymore. I don't care if people don't like what I'm saying, then fine. That's all right. And I think like people get on board with that a little bit more if it comes across as
authentic.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good answer as well. If we remember,
I'll take his answer.
And I joke about the stuff that I actually find funny now,
Yeah.
rather than the stuff that I think the viewers will like.
I'm not
Probably a bad idea. Sorry.
If we remember to ask Matthew, I think he probably have good insight as well next week. But thank you very much for those lovely questions in the mailbag. You can submit them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. Wrist piss, as Matthew would say. This one Ross has put here is from the vault of Reese's Pieces that we saved for a rainy day. And it looks like a weird one. Hi, lads. Loved the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory chat last week.
How long ago was that?
Oh, could be a year. Could be 6 months. Could be last week.
I feel like it was this year.
It was this year.
Yeah.
It must be to do with Charlie Dempsey. Because he looks
Yeah,
like
he
Willy
looks
Wonka,
like
doesn't
him,
he?
yeah. It might have been did he die this year?
Charlie Dempsey.
Gene Wild.
It was fairly recently, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to make a reboot made up of only WWE wrestlers, the Charlie and Chocolate Factory reboot, who would you cast? Could be a wrist piss, could be a question. Who knows? Anything could happen in the WWF. This is from Jack Coyle, by the way. Thank you, Jack Coyle.
Thank you, Jack Cole.
Cast for the following, and we'll go fastest thought first. Adam, then Ross, then myself. Who would play Charlie?
Underdog, Daniel Bryan.
I've got blonde hair in my mind, so Ilya Dragunov.
I'll go for Darby Allin was the first one there, I think. Willy Wonka, brackets, I got a detention in year 7 for calling him a Willy Wanker.
I saw the musical quite recently, and the guy playing Willy Wonka was very sort of Tim Minchin-y. So I'm going to go Cameron Grimes on that. I think Cameron Grimes could do a really good job there.
Dirty Chocolate Factory. Howdy, y'all.
It's actually just mud they're selling. I'll go for Charlie Dempsey. He looks like Gene Wilder.
And I'm going to go for Reggie or Script. Imagine him doing that roll down the steps. Oh. Grandpa Joe.
Oh,
Lazy Grandpa
evil
Joe.
person. Grizzly Smith. Dick Murdoch. Savile again. He was a wrestler-ish.
Wow.
Bollocks because he's awful.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Trying to think if there's been a storyline sort of similar where someone has like feigned being knackered
yeah.
and then something's come up and then it'd be like,
Elton Prince this week.
Who?
Elton Prince
Oh,
this
yeah,
week.
Elton Prince, of course. But not in a likable, jovial way. Oh, God. Linda McMahon.
Yes. I've got Roddy Strong because he's kind of doing that now with Adam Cole. Mrs. Bucket. That's
Miss Elizabeth.
Charlie's mum. Oh, she looks a bit
Yeah.
bit more of a working class Miss Elizabeth, and that's all right.
Yeah, she'd have to tone it down a bit.
Becky Lynch.
Oh,
She was like quite a humble, well, before the man phase, obviously.
but now she is a mother as well.
Yeah.
I'll say Stephanie McMahon because everyone backstage used to say, like, didn't they? Like, oh,
She's a nice woman.
Yeah. Augustus. Here we go. We're getting into it now. Augustus Gloop.
Gunter.
Yes.
Got to be on
That
that.
was my
Otis.
Yes. If you could somehow merge the two. Oh, I can't get better than that.
Just Gunter 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a very nasty thing to say. I'll say, earthquake. I don't know.
Just a big lad. Fair.
Just splashing into the
Rikishi,
chocolate river. Yeah. Mike TV.
Oh, Shane McMahon all day.
Yeah, he is Mike
all
TV.
day.
Really good. I'll go Hangman. He's a cowboy.
He's not an arsehole, though.
No, yeah, that's true. Mike TV is.
Miz?
Yeah, Miz works. I'll go Kurt Angle then when he gets that little hat off Austin. He goes, children love me. Oh, wait, he's got the hat. Mike TV is the most boring of all the children, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, you like cowboys? What's his thing? Oh, no, he's obsessed with
with
telly.
TV, yeah.
Violet Beauregard.
Which one was that?
Though she chews the gum and turns into a blueberry or whatever.
She's very gobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Chelsea Green?
Oh, that's a good one.
shout.
Yeah, I'll say Chelsea Green. Can't say, but just a gobby lady.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go for that Jada woman from the Breakout tournament this week. Veruca Salt, the iconic Veruca Salt. Daddy.
Snobby. Yeah. Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh! He doesn't care what he says anymore. Stephanie McMahon for me.
Oh, very good. I'll go Tiffany Stratton. The Oompa Loompas.
Oh, yeah, because Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy. I saw a little short comedy sketch on YouTube the other day, and it was like two blokes improvising. It was like, what if men called each other Daddy instead of dude? And it's like, hey, Daddy, what's up? It's just really funny. Anyway, the Oompa Loompas.
Oh, God.
Retribution.
Retribution. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Spirit Squad?
Damn it, that was my one.
Was it?
Yeah, I'll go for. Oh man, I don't know. Los Boricuas. I don't know where that came from. Try to think of like a really serious faction and like Slugworth. Isn't he?
It's a bit like the Demon Headmaster.
Yeah, evil. But
he's
nice
not,
at the
he's
end,
not,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Saint.
He might have played him. We don't know.
Someone who you think's evil and turns out to be quite nice. Oh, Danhausen then, obviously.
Oh,
I've said
very
evil and
very
nice in the same
evil.
one.
I'm not going to get better than that. Mr. What was he called from the ITV World of Sport?
Mr. Benson. Or
The
whatever.
authority figure from, yeah. And for fun, who would win the factory at the end?
Charlie. What?
Oh, of the people we've picked to
that
play.
lot.
Who? Go go.
I'd love to see Ilya Dragunov as Charlie.
This really sinister image in my head of slaughtering Oompa Loompas.
Who would win? I can't even remember who I've said now.
No,
the Miz, that's the one that I remember. Danny Bright, yeah, I'd say Danny.
I'll go Brian as well, yeah. Thank you very much for the question. That was from Jack Coyle. And if you want to submit a Reese's Pieces, either wait until we pick yours from the vault or submit a new one, which is probably the more likely way of...
I should say the vault's only utilised when there's multiple per week. So some weeks
Yeah.
there's 2 or 3. I save a couple for a
we
rainy
don't just-
week.
Yeah. But there's always hope. If yours hasn't been read out for, or maybe years, if we could still...
There's a couple that's been in there since 2021. I'm literally just picking the one that's on top of the pile at the moment. So there's ones at the bottom, yeah.
There'll be people listed who've died now and stuff.
Do you think CM Punk should come back to wrestling?
But yeah, if you want to submit them, you can do at mailbag@cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
Right, time for the final segment. But before that, just a quick shout out to our lovely producers. Jason Goddard, he's a god.
And he's hard.
We're trying and give a gimmick now to each other.
Oh, okay, cool.
Damien Smith, the devil, Damien Smith.
Yeah, son of Grizzly. He said he was the devil.
My favourite one coming up, Reno 2200. He's from the future.
He is from the future. All those double digits, baby.
And finally, last but not least, Noah Anderson.
Anderson.
You never heard us do this?
This is the thing. I really like that. That's good.
I always point out that Reno's from the future because I imagine that's the year he was born, 2200. Right, cheers, lads. Producers. And now there's only one thing left to determine, and that is the big question. I think we're going to go with favourite Sting moments because he announced that he will be retiring early next year on this week's Dynamite. We don't yet know his opponent, but I feel like that's a bit of a redundant who will be, because it's probably going to be Darby. So instead, we're probably going to talk about our favorite Sting moments. There's a lot to, there's TNA, WC. Why did I start with TNA? There's WCW. He was probably in the early NW, like the late, before it, when it was Jim Crockett still. Then WCW, TNA, WWE for a bit. And he's really reinvented himself with his AEW career. Yes, I've answered the question before. Who do you think is the most overrated wrestler? I've just never clicked with Sting.
Yeah,
so this is going to be tricky.
I've got that with Flair.
Yeah.
Ric Flair. And the retirement made me feel things.
24.
Yeah, because it's an old man getting kicked in the face.
Yeah.
But he just never did it for me.
Fair enough. So, who wants to start with our favourite Sting moments of all time?
Go ahead.
Well, he was the part of the reason I started watching wrestling, because my man bought me the VHS Superstar Series WCW.
You started as a WCW fan?
I only had Channel 5.
What?
I was a worldwide kid on a Friday night.
Actually, yeah.
Fought by Hard, worldwide, and something else that I can't. No, it's just those two.
Positively Canyon. He's dressing as DDP.
Exactly. But that Superstar Series VHS was looking at the career of Goldberg up until about 99, and then the career of Sting up until 99-ish. For me, it was just of that period of time. That's when I was getting into wrestling, obviously. The build of Starrcade 97, the promo package specifically, where Sting's like in the, it's raining and he's in the dark warehouse sort of thing, and he jumps on the picture of Hogan. I know the match wasn't very good, and the finish was ballsed up because of Hogan's politics on the day, as I've learned from Eric Bischoff, but that's Hulk Hogan for you. But that build, it was like a year or whatever it was, 18 months of Sting just being silent, then taking the title off Hogan in whatever circumstances. That was probably Sting at his peak.
That's a really good point, because I remember saying this to Chris from back at What Culture, and because he was a WCW kid in the 90s and stuff, and I was like, I just never got it. I never got Sting. And he explained it to me really well. He went, when you're a kid and the NWO are running wild and being awful, and you just want someone to save the day, and then Sting comes down from the right, it's like the most exciting possible thing for that target audience at that time, especially when you're young as well. So that's a good shout.
Yeah, I was 8 when I got that VHS, so oof. Watching Goldberg spear people and then Sting batter people with a bat.
It's all good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They were so horrible as well. New World Order. I remember.
They were really nasty.
It was the spray painting stuff.
So
that
degraded,
really
isn't
got
it?
to me.
Yeah, same.
And it wasn't the NWO on the back. It was the yellow streak.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wait, what? A yellow streak on the back? In the yellow belly?
Yeah.
It's either or, isn't it? I think, yeah.
So I'm going to go with...
I bet I'm shocked the Bucks have never done that.
What, the spray paint?
Yeah. Tony Storm and them did, though. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
People might want to talk about Surfer Sting, Crow Sting.
I'd love
Joker
to talk
Sting.
about Surfer Sting, but I've not seen enough of Surfer Sting.
I'm going to talk
you have a feud with Vader that was meant to be really good? Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to talk about Statue Sting.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, it was just such a brilliant thing. And obviously, massively underwhelming and disappointing for multiple reasons, WWE run. That reveal was absolutely sensational, because I don't think anybody saw it coming.
Yeah.
It was so good. Seth Rollins in there being horrible, and then that comes up. And he didn't notice him for a little bit.
He didn't move.
Just stood there. It was so good. That's why probably my favourite recent Sting memory. Anyway,
his face paint peeling off because it was so hot under the cover. We sort of came out. His forehead was exposed.
I'll go for when he jumped to Triple H. No, I that's probably one of the biggest missteps ever in WWE.
But no, it proved they won the war about 13, 14 years after the war ended. Yeah. That was the moment where we knew that WWE won.
I think the peak of his WWE run was what Adam said, and also when he saved Ziggler and helped.
Oh, his debut.
The debut. Got to mention the debut.
The debut was good.
I've mentioned before that I wasn't really watching at the time. I didn't click with Sting at the time and everything. But so I'll mention his late run, his AEW run. I thought that some of those wild all arena brawls he's had alongside Darby, especially when you don't, because they had that early one against Team Taz
in the house,
and it was all like cinematic and pre-produced, and I was like, well, it's cool, but if only they'd do it and then they just started doing real matches, and he fair play to him, like he doesn't need at all to go as hard as he does in AEW.
No.
He could get away with not even wrestling, just being a manager and hitting someone with the bat. And the fact that he decided it, well, you were saying that he's in mid-60s now?
65 in March, yeah.
And he did a balcony one at Wembley, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Jumping off balconies and having real involvement in these matches.
Did he?
He jumped up, like, I'm sure he did something crazy, probably.
Probably, yeah, I can't remember.
He's done it, if not, he's done it recently anyway. And just the fact that he's done that at such an advanced age is unbelievable. And I hope that his retirement match ultimately, like, does him justice somehow.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult.
But Tony Khan's got a gift from next week. That was a segment promoted on this week's AEW.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What could that be?
I don't know.
New bat?
For some reason, my brain went a life-size chocolate Darby Allin. There you go, mate. Breaks a bit off.
Now, what could it actually be?
I
Like
don't
a
know.
title or something? Or
Hey, some sort of trophy to commemorate.
Yeah.
You know, and then the heel.
a bouquet of
It
flowers?
might not be Darby. If a heel breaks his gift from Tony, building
Oh, yeah.
it should be, though.
Wait, is Revolution next
Oh, yeah,
year?
they've got months.
February, yeah. Normally, isn't it? February?
Yeah. That's fair enough. Any TNA Sting moments?
Wasn't really watching too
Ah,
much.
fair
Then
enough.
I watched the earlier stuff.
I think he went for it. He wasn't half-arsing it like Hogan was. And stuff. He was Joker Sting in TNA.
Yeah.
There was the bit where it's not one of his greatest moments ever, but the bit where he got his crow to guard Bischoff in the room. he's intimidating Bischoff in a room and goes, right, you stay there. I'm going to go and sort this out. And he storms off, and his bird's just sat there watching Bischoff. He was like, it's so good. But no,
the mask stuff that he does all the time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
That's
mask,
highlight
isn't it?
TNA in it.
Yeah. But they did that in AEW as well, didn't they? Didn't they do the
It's
Yeah.
the
mask
perfect
spot in
disguise for
that?
Sting, like, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
The stuff with Vampiro's got to get a mention.
That's
The
my
bloodbath,
childhood.
that was terrifying,
The
that.
Inferno match.
He gets thrown. Well, someone got
Sting
thrown
gets
off
thrown
the. There's stuff in the graveyard as well.
That scared me as a kid.
Yeah, the
That was
bloodbath. That
terrifying.
visual where Sting gets bloodbathed and then it's just dangling there. Oh,
WCW always felt more scary than like more unhinged. Anything can happen. As a
I don't know.
child.
Undertaker and Kane were there.
Oh,
Used to
yeah,
give me
that's
sleepless nights. I used to be at swimming club when the Undertaker was below me when I was doing backstroke, because I couldn't see the bottom of the pool.
What, he's
Legitimate
going to
fear.
grab your leg and drag you down?
You know, you're just looking at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Can't see what's below you. Just always used to picture like, drag me
Right.
down to the bottom of the pool.
Oh my god!
I had a
that's
traumatic
terrifying.
childhood, me.
Have you ever watched any of his stuff with Ultimate Warrior back when they were teaming?
Blade and
No,
thingy.
no,
No.
Yeah. No, I've not seen. I've seen clips here and there from
Yeah.
the documentaries.
Fair enough.
That VHS had a lot of like
Ah.
surface thing when he was fighting Jake the Snake and whatnot, and
Yeah.
Ric Flair obviously when he wins the title. Then when he batters he has his niece. He's climbing a cage or something, and someone hits him with a bat, and then he does his cruciate or something. I forget what injury it was, but that was to fight back from that as well and still be going at his age he is now.
Yeah, I'm worried we haven't really done him justice there. But you first mentioned straight away Crow Sting and everything.
Oh
so,
yeah, And especially when you don't know about Crow the film and you just see him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still not
'cause-
seen it.
Yeah, I
Is
didn't
it
have
even
a.
that good?
I don't know.
Right, my brother loved it.
Oh,
Dark and moody.
Just
Okay.
know the fella died, didn't he, in the making of it, and they had to
Oh yes,
post-produce
of
him
course.
in.
Yeah, that's
Bruce
quite-
Lee's son,
Yeah.
Is that right?
Jimmy
Yeah.
Lee. Aye, big Jimmy Lee. I don't know what his name is.
Didn't he? Did he,
Brandon Lee.
did he die in a really eerily similar way to Bruce Lee?
It was on the set of that film because they had to like Jimmy in his likeness towards the end of the film for the final
You
few
must know
scenes.
that, Joel.
Come on, film man, Joel.
I think he got shot, didn't he, on the set of The Crow?
By a
Is that
prop
what it
gun,
was?
yeah.
by a
But didn't
prop
Bruce Lee also die that way?
I have no idea. I don't know how he died.
Huh. That's crazy if true.
The highlights of Sting's career
I
there.
thought Bruce Lee had a heart attack. I don't know. What, I'm not sure. I'm not 100%.
No, wait, we can't
my
end
my
the
dad's
podcast.
a massive Bruce Lee fan. I'm sure
Is
he
he?
said something about a heart attack.
We can't end the podcast without
Surely
knowing.
Bruce Lee didn't have a heart attack.
I don't think he got shot, though, did he?
Bruce Lee was a Hong Kong American martial artist. Blah, 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 blah. We can't end this until death. Oh yeah, he collapsed. Yeah, not as good, is it?
What's your favourite Bruce Lee moment?
I don't think I've seen a single Bruce Lee film.
Saw it Enter the Dragon a long time ago.
That was
Is it Enter the
that was
Dragon?
really Brent. So
Was-
end.
Sorry, I didn't mean it to.
So
Let's play the
Enter the
SNES
Dragon.
game as well.
Do you remember we
Hell
had
of a
that punishment on the top of a ladder at the start of Cultaholic? I remember doing an intro for WTF where there's a
Oh,
Bruce
yes.
Lee fight scene with a ladder, and it's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
Does he use the ladder?
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
What, like a Terry Funk?
But better.
But he's doing
Under his
cartwheels
armpits
with it and all
stuff.
sorts,
Right.
yeah.
Sting, greatest moments. Sting's career. And thus ends a really good edition of the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. Thank you to everybody who messaged in and got involved with the Hall of Fame voting and everything. If you want to vote for the Hall of Fame, you can do at patreon.com/cultaholic. If you want to email in with a mailbag question or a Reese's Pieces, you can do at mailbag@cultaholic.com. Have you got anything you want to plug?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Hold and give.
Hold and give.
Live stream that happened last night, but other live streams happened.
Someone on our Twitch stream with Owen the other day said that he got screwed in a game you were playing.
I got screwed.
No, Owen got screwed.
Owen got screwed.
Yeah.
In a game we were. Oh yeah, because Owen keeps betting. Because I keep being like behind in the fun club. We'll call it on a Friday. Owen keeps getting a little bit ahead. Or it happened once. Owen once, and then Dan the second time. And I was like, oh, do you want to wager the last point for several points? So it's like winner takes all.
They shouldn't.
And then they lose, don't
That's their
they?
fault. Yeah.
So I've got the little left.
Well, he didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Sneaky boy. My Matches of the Month podcast is out at the moment. You can find it wherever you find Cultaholic audio feed stuff. Or it's the pin tweet on my Twitter currently at Jolly Jobber. And that's about
Up the Impact Wrestling as well. We got our sponsored match today through, I think.
Impact Wrestling's UK tour is starting next week.
Yeah, next week.
Wow. So they've got Glasgow, Newcastle, and 2 nights in Coventry, I believe.
Yep. Tickets still available.
Yeah, although I think the first night of Coventry might have sold out.
Oh, cool.
But the Newcastle one will be Turning Point, which we're very excited for. Several matches have now been announced, including Ospreay versus Eddie Edwards, I believe, and many, many more great matches as well. So do check it out. Come along if you're nearby, and I'm sure you can find all the info online. Like, just should we put in the description or something?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah. Joel, can you pop that in the? Thank you. Sorry, I've added on another. And that's all. I think. What do we do and what do we say when we point at the
I don't know.
this
It's
time?
you get a.
Who?
Sting.
All right.
Oh,
I don't want to do this.
You got to do it on 3, aren't you?
yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, how does Matthew have like a sign-off line? And thank
He
you,
does a lot of
thank you,
other-
lovely
Pedro,
people for
yeah.
watching. Now, at the count of 3, point at the screen and say 3, 2, 1. Ow! Oh, excellent stuff.